They fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Podcast,
Don't listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18,
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and up.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
We're back again.
Let's go.
Episode 28 or something like that. Holy shit.
That's right.
Starting to lose track, huh?
It's weird.
That's right.
I spend more time with you guys than I do my own family.
It's actually pretty cool because we have, I think, 28 hours now of content.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
You know what I
solid.
mean? Pretty cool.
I know.
I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys sticking with us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Through and through.
Okay, so we are doing something. We're doing. This is O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, okay, let's just put it out there.
Welcome to the episode on O.J. Simpson.
Orenthal James Simpson.
That's right. Look at you already. Okay, so the reason why we're doing OJ, because somebody asked me, they're like, why are you doing OJ? It's not really like a conspiracy.
I mean, really?
And I was like, okay, well, the reason why I wanted to do OJ is because at one point I was on Instagram and somebody sent me a video and it's fucking OJ sipping like a beer.
Like a cognac.
Yeah. And this was like a month ago. It wasn't, this isn't like in the 90s.
Yeah.
He's literally like having a BLT and a beer, living his best life.
And I've seen the video. He's like happy.
Yeah.
He's happy as fuck.
And so I was just kind of like
What the fuck?
a little bit enraged because I don't know.
We need to shed the light on it. Like because it is
Exactly.
It is a conspiracy because the motherfucker is free.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And
make us
free.
free.
What defines a conspiracy? A
It is
conspiracy
one. It's like one or more.
Yeah, two or more people.
Two or more people conspiring to commit a crime. In
That's
essence.
it.
Yeah, or to do something illegal or nefarious.
Yeah, that's it. Or to hide something
Yes.
or whatever, right? And so, this person was acquitted for the murder of 2 people.
Yes.
So here we are, and what we know today is that if he didn't do it, who did? We still don't know if he did not do it.
It is still a mystery.
Yeah,
Big if.
exactly.
Well, there's no other suspects. I mean, yeah, he just.
Yeah,
Exactly. Which we're going to
I know.
get into.
I know.
I feel like that happens. The cops are like, "Well, I'm gonna put this one in the cold case files."
So here you go. So we're gonna go through this. This happened in the early 90s.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that some people actually don't know the thorough story.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of
There's a
people
lot of
do,
people.
especially
Yeah.
most of the younger crowd probably.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is like they know, the cliff notes.
Yeah, exactly. So my sister was born in 90. And so she was 4 years old when this happened. So
Yeah.
does she know about it? I don't know.
Is she an avid
You know?
football follower? Probably
Yeah,
not.
Exactly. But now she's over 30, and you know what I mean? So that's
And it's like you were saying, a lot of people hear the cliff notes or, the gist of it or whatever.
Or they
but-
watch the show on FX and they're like, oh, this is everything you need to know.
John Travolta.
And then what's his name? Fucking
Cuba?
no, from Friends, Schwimmer, David Schwimmer.
Yeah. I thought it was a good show.
It was good. It wasn't
riveting.
bad.
Yeah,
It
it was
wasn't
good.
bad.
I thought Cuba did good.
I thought he did great. I thought he did really very believable.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, here we go. We're going to dive in. Here we go. So, and just so you know where a lot of this research came from, I did read a couple of the books. I even read OJ's book. I was telling Sean about it before the show.
Riveting.
Disaster of a book. Anyways, and, you know, a lot of the documentaries that are out and you know, the ESPN did a great one, 30 for 30.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that too.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. So anyways, here we go. OJ, the Juice, was born.
Juice.
What was his name?
Orenthal James.
Orenthal James Simpson on July 9th, 1947. And he was born in Potrero Hill, which is a neighborhood in San Francisco. Okay. His father left him when he was like 2 or 3, and his mom worked at a hospital to support the 4 children.
Damn.
Yeah. So when he was a toddler, he developed something called rickets. Have you ever heard of rickets?
I don't know what it is. I heard of it.
I
don't know what the fuck
haven't
it
even
is.
heard of that.
In short, rickets is like a soft bone problem
Oh, like
where your bones are just soft.
like Unbreakable, like Samuel Jackson's.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Mr. Glass.
and not quite the same as Forrest Gump, but similar where the bones are this and they're crooked and they usually develop something called like if you got on a horse.
The bow leg?
Like a bow
okay.
kind of walking
Yeah.
scenario. Yeah. So
Kind of like a penguin.
yeah, so he actually it left him pigeon-toed and bow-legged. Yeah, and he was not able to afford the surgery to get it done, so he kind of got bullied as a kid, called like pencil pins because of his legs.
What?
And until he was 5,
Kids had lame ass jokes back in the day. Fucking pencil pins.
until he was 5, he actually wore braces
Oh, yeah?
on the legs. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
to try to fix it.
Trying to like
Forrest Gump style.
straighten it out. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a little similar, you know, not
I
really
was
similar.
running.
Just
Run,
kept on
OJ.
running.
Run, OJ, run.
Sights taken.
Can't sit here, pencil pins.
So his early interest in sports was encouraged by his mom. His dad was named Jimmy Lee Simpson. He, you know, his is a weird story because they couldn't really tell what he did really. There's not a lot of info of what he did. He worked at a bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Robbing it? Or?
I don't know, you know. And later, this came out later, but it turned out that he was gay and that he was a well-known drag queen in downtown San
Oh,
Francisco.
so that's why he dipped? He was like, I'm going to live my best life.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of info, basically, but he, you know, wasn't really a big part of his life. And then in 1986, he died of AIDS. So
Okay.
there you go.
See our AIDS episode.
They did, they did reconcile later, like when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, but for the most part, he wasn't there. You know, and
All
he
right.
was
Wait, when did he get inducted to the Hall of Fame?
80.
like 85,
84,
84,
Really?
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean, he's really good at football, so.
Yeah, but I thought it was in the 90s for some reason. But anyways,
yeah,
Go ahead.
no, that was when he ran.
Yeah.
So stupid.
In the
There's so
Bronco?
many- So Simpson's maternal grandparents were from Louisiana. They named him Orenthal, which she said it was based on a French actor, but he was called OJ from
I was
birth.
like, Orenthal? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't make it French.
Yeah. So
we got some in common. My mom named me after a novella character.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The heartthrob of the novella. I'm pretty sure he was a brain surgeon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I said, he grew up in San Francisco and he grew up in the projects. So, in his teenage years, he joined a gang called the Persian Warriors.
Fuck.
He for robbery or theft, I guess. Like as a minor, it's not really called robbery.
It's called like,
it's like stealing candy or stealing whatever bikes
it's
and
like,
stealing. It's theft.
Petty theft?
Petty theft,
petty
yeah,
theft, like
yeah.
larceny? I don't know.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. But he was incarcerated at the San Francisco Youth Guidance Center. So he did do some shit and he did go
He did some hard time.
well, it was like a juvie. Yeah, he went to juvie. Yeah. So then in high school, it was a place called Galileo High School. That's when he first started playing football. He graduated that high school in 1965.
I was like, damn, I'm good as fuck at this.
Yeah. Later on, you're going to hear about a guy named AC. AC was the guy who was driving the Bronco.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I thought OJ was driving.
No,
the Bronco.
he was in the back seat.
Oh, just chilling?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He's like looking at
Yeah.
fucking Instagram.
So there's a guy named AC, and AC was in high school with OJ. and they were in the gang together.
Oh, they were
caught
like part of his
stealing.
posse.
So that's just to give you an idea of how long he's known AC.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
like blood brothers.
So then something happened where he was in juvie, and Willie Mays came to visit him, and apparently Willie Mays gave him an inspiring speech of "Get your shit together, you can accomplish your goals," and apparently that's what got him out of it.
I see.
Willie Mays showed up at the prison, gave some sort of inspirational speech, said, "You could do it."
Don't do drugs.
Yes, exactly. And so apparently, per reports and OJ, that it was a moment of time where he changed in front of, like, from being in a gang to going, okay, let's focus
do
on sport.
football.
I think it's pretty cool though to think like
Yeah.
those things like work. Like Willie Mays wasn't thinking he was going to make a difference. Okay, this is a part of my PR campaign. I'm going to do it, whatever. But like you changed,
Yeah,
a portion of a kid's life.
yeah.
A portion.
Yeah. I heard Willie Mays is cool.
For a little bit.
I mean, I bet
For a few years.
A couple years on straight and narrow.
Can you imagine asking Willie Mays what he thinks about OJ now?
He's like, no comment.
Yeah.
He's like, who's that? I don't know who that is.
Did he pass? Willie?
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Dude, if he didn't, he's like ancient.
Yeah, I think he's pretty old.
103.
Yeah.
I know, like, my God.
Well, he was also Barry Bonds' godfather.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 92.
He's still alive. He's going. Go
Dude,
Willie.
Still killing the game.
Go Willie. All right. All right. Right on. All right. So Simpson and AC, they were named all city team in high school. So they were the star players of the high school football team.
Nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Simpson didn't have good grades. And
Fancy
so,
that.
so he didn't go immediately to like a
College.
Yeah. He went to a city college in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. I see.
In City College, he was doing 9.3 yards a carry.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he
Like,
scored 54 touchdowns in high school.
How many years, though, did he start?
4. I mean,
Okay.
High school.
you know what I mean?
I know, it's high school. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
like
like,
12 a year, 13 a year.
It's not
You know
bad.
what I mean?
It's decent.
It's like one a game.
it's decent.
So yeah. Anyways,
Seem better.
from Ohio.
Dude, just like anywhere
yeah.
from any state.
50 colleges tried to recruit him after his sophomore year in high school because he was killing.
Maybe it was like, that was like the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Because like now it's,
Yeah.
you get kids have, quarterbacks with like 7,000 fucking passing yards and like,
it's true.
89
It's true.
touchdowns in 1 year. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
So he chose the University of South California. So USC.
It's actually University of Southern California, Eric. It's not South California.
In high school, he met somebody named Marguerite, and Marguerite ended up being his first wife. So they met in high school, and as he became a star, she was with him.
She was latched
Yeah,
on.
she was with him. Yeah.
He's not going nowhere.
Okay, so then he goes to USC. Right?
Bitches aplenty.
At USC, he was a 2-time All-American. In 1968, he won the Heisman.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Crazy. But I see what you're saying. He won the
Scratch
Heisman.
that.
He won the
Yeah,
But he-
like
the
was-
most prestigious award in college football.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, you're the best.
You're the chosen one.
So he was selected number 1 in the 1969 draft.
By the Bills.
By the Bills, by the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Okay, so his career in Buffalo, right? He played for 11 years in Buffalo. 1978 and 1979, which is his last 2 years, he played for the Niners. Okay. Total, he rushed for 11,000 yards. He had an average kickoff return of 30 yards,
That's amazing.
Incredible.
It's so good. So good.
That's crazy.
76 touchdowns.
That's great.
The first 2 years, he actually wasn't a big success. Like, he wasn't in the Rookie of the Year running or anything.
This is a dude. He was like average.
Yeah, and then his a coach took over, Lou Saban. For you Bills fans, you probably know him. He became the coach in 72, and he was like a run-first guy. You know what I mean? And so they drafted linemen. They got it.
The fucking ball off.
Yes. So they were like,
Beat
give
him.
him the rock, right? So immediately when Lou Saban took over, he became
The shit.
a superstar, right?
Doing commercials.
1973. So 1973, he became the first running back to rush over 2,000 yards
In a season.
in a season.
It's so hard.
First
to do.
ever?
First ever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's so
Not
hard
to
do.
mention, it was the 14-game season then.
Oh, wow.
Guys can't even do it in a 17-game
Yes.
season now. It's like,
And that's why it was such a big
A 14 game
14 game
He played
season.
3 games and
Yeah.
rushed for 2,000 yards. Like,
Yeah.
what the-
They didn't think he was going to make it. His 14th game, he rushed 200 yards, and he got 2,003 yards.
Yeah, back in the day, they're probably like paying off the defense. Like, give me 10 grand.
So
Just trip.
Two,
Just
two
trip
years
before you-
later,
I want to
2
get that
years
guy on
later,
my fantasy league.
and it wasn't like he didn't keep going. Like he just kept being the best for years. And so 2 years later, he did 1,800 yards.
Which is, I mean, this, yeah, I want them. That's like
Yeah.
fantasy. That's like Derrick Henry's best year.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
That'd be your number one. Yeah.
then that year, he
Yeah.
broke the record for number of touchdowns in a year.
Jesus.
Wow.
So 14 games, he scored 23 touchdowns.
Just slang. So he
lot.
scored fucking 1.75 touchdowns a game.
So he was the league rusher in 72, 73, 75, and 76. So
Wow.
he had 4 years of number
dominating.
One, number one. Yeah. Yeah. He was selected NFL Player of the Year 72, 73, and 75.
Jesus.
He played in 6 Pro Bowls. You know, he was the fastest player to gain 1,000 yards in a season. So he got 1,000 yards in the first 7 games.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
nuts.
crazy. It's like I'm
Where's the
averaging.
defense
I'm
back
I
then?
know, it's like I'm averaging 150 yards a game.
There's no defense.
Yeah. In 1973, his average game was 143. 143 yards per game for the whole season.
Yeah, I'd be winning all my fantasy
Wow.
leagues
Yeah.
if it was on like guaranteed.
So anyway, so that's his in a nutshell.
I
mean,
knew he
you
was
know.
good, but I didn't know like
Yeah.
the stats. I didn't
Yeah.
actually know like
Some
the
of his
stats.
highlights are really good, especially even in college. He has got some fucking great highlights. I think it's the Rose Bowl or one of the bowls. They were down and they were like, "Oh, we need 80 yards," and it's like a minute, or not even a minute, and he just ran it the whole way.
So give him the ball.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest.
trust
I think it was the game. It was called the big game. It was USC against UCLA. You know, the rivalry.
The
yeah,
battle
yeah.
of the battle of
exactly.
California.
Okay, so during this time, he also became a celebrity.
Yeah, of course. He's in movies.
Yeah, so he started doing movies. He was in Dragnet. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dragnet. It's like a cop show.
Yeah, perfect cop show. No wonder we got all those inside intel here.
So he also, one of his biggest roles is a spokesperson for Hertz.
Yeah.
And so Hertz, his commercial was, OJ's got to run. And it was this commercial of, what are you going to do? And OJ's jumping over a bag and he's like, I got to go to Hertz and get my car real fast. And he's running through the airport because he's running.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The person who scripted this.
What are you gonna do?
I need a rental car because
Yeah.
I'm super rich
Yeah.
and famous. I need to go to Hertz.
And so everybody knew him as the Hertz guy. So he did some movies. He did something called Back to the Beach. And then he did 3 Naked Gun movies. Remember Naked Gun?
That's what I've seen those.
Yeah. Oh,
They're so
he's
good.
actually
Hilarious.
I don't want to say he's good in it, but because he's a bad.
But it's perfect.
But it's actually a funny.
It's the perfect movie for
I
him to
think
be
it's
in
pretty
because
funny.
like the whole
There's
point
no
is like
lines.
you're not acting.
Yeah, Nordberg. His name is Nordberg.
Oh yeah.
Really, Leslie Nielsen's
Obviously
the king.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
go.
Have
Have you ever seen the interview? He goes on Letterman and he's talking. He's very serious, and he had a fart machine, and he just starts. It's so funny.
It's like,
It's so, like-
it seems
didn't
like
see
he's
that.
actually ripping ass.
Yeah, and he's just deadpan.
And that's like back when like comedy was
I
so
know,
slapstick. It was
yes.
so ridiculous.
Yeah, like airplane time period.
Yeah, like
yeah.
literally, it's so good.
Airplane.
He also was slated to play Terminator.
Oh really?
Yeah. And at the time, James Cameron was going to have Schwarzenegger play Kyle Reese, which was the other guy. You remember Terminator 1?
No way.
Yeah. And so
So Kyle Reese is the guy who comes back from.
yeah, and he's human.
Yeah. But
he comes back.
Kyle Reese is actually John Connor's father.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, but that just didn't work out. And
know, I
he
mean-
casted Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
It'd be so funny
And
to
then,
see, like,
you know, yeah.
like if he actually does it in Terminator 3, and it's just it's really kind of sloppy looking like black dude, you know? And they're like, really? No, that's not going to work.
So then he retired. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame, College Hall of Fame, and NFL Hall of Fame.
And then you can't be taken out of that.
This is
And
in
so-
the 80s.
Yeah,
Something
in the
like
80s.
that, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he started what all people do is a commentator on
Of course.
NBC.
It's the only thing you
You know
know.
what I mean?
So and
Yeah.
like you're a household name. So
Yep.
you're like, oh yeah, I'll
He
trust
was
him.
with like Mike Ditka and a couple
wow.
other guys that
Coach?
you know. Yeah. From the 80s to the 90s, he did 37 appearances in movies and TV.
It's a lot.
So he was doing some stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
the
mean?
agent was working.
Yeah, he was doing stuff. He was making a lot of money.
I bet he
Making a
was.
lot of money.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
you
I think
gotta
in the
make a lot of money
70s
to live in
way
Brentwood.
more than-
He was living in Brentwood, bro.
Yeah.
So I think in the 70s, 80s, though, the NFL contracts were not
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, they
what
were
they're now.
Oh
Nowhere
God,
near.
no.
No.
I think the highest paid player back then was getting like
Yeah.
$1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like now, Patrick Mahomes makes that in 80 minutes. It's like fucking ridiculous.
So true. Okay, so moving out of his football life, right? And now he became just I'll touch on it, and it's not anything I have written down really, but he grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Okay, he grew up in the projects. He grew up in that life, and in the black community, in the projects of San Francisco,
With the Persian Knights.
Yeah,
whatever
the
the fuck they
Persian
were.
warriors.
Yeah.
So what you noticed when you were studying, I guess, his life is that when he became famous, he became more interested in getting out of that life.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Understandably.
Some,
No, understandably.
Well, some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
some people want to go back and they're like, oh yeah, I'll still live in the hood, and that's me and my homies are all rich, but we still live in like the shitholes.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do
But
that.
like growing up, so his first wife was a black woman that he grew up in the projects.
oh, and then he,
Marguerite?
Marguerite.
and then he married like the
So-
whitest possible.
So
woman.
in the 80s, in the 80s, he started to now move to Brentwood. His friends
Oh, he's
no
like, how do I
longer.
diversify
I'm
myself?
out of the ghetto now.
And one of his best friends was, Kardashian, a white lawyer. You know what I mean? And it just became, he met Nicole, a white blonde woman, and it just, I know that sound. I don't want to say I'm like nitpicking it, but it visually you can see it.
How it's
all
like-
his friends then became white, wealthy people,
Yep.
and
He like changed his whole like he's like I'm like almost like
He just didn't want it
I don't want to
anymore.
be from there anymore.
Yeah,
like,
he just didn't want
my
it.
life sucked.
Yeah.
My dad left me as drag queen.
It's almost like what does it need to look like so that I'm not looking like I'm from
Yeah.
from this.
And I'm not
hood,
saying
yeah.
I'm not saying he's wrong or anything, right?
Trust me.
I'm just telling you what I saw, what visually.
Right.
you
No,
could see.
obviously it's very transparent when it's like that. But
Yeah.
like like if I get super rich and famous, I will. It won't necessarily be the color. It will just be like.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with you guys. And everyone else can just fuck off. Like I'll be like, who are you?
Well, that's
I only shop at Whole Foods.
Talk to my
Fuck off.
assistant. Talk to my, please.
I know, it's Whole Foods only. Like, yeah, I'll pay the premium.
yeah.
Don't even tell me how much it is. Just
For the air. Yeah, it's
Right.
like, did I ask you for the receipt? Throw that shit away, peasants.
I'm not a peasant.
I'm not a peasant.
So he had a couple kids with Marguerite, right? He had 3 children: Arnell, Jason, and Aaron. And a sad part of this, in 1979, which was the year he was retiring, and he was playing for the Niners, his kid was 2 at the same house that in Brentwood. And drowned accidentally in the pool.
Really?
Yeah, one of those those incidents where
Dude, that
the
just-
kid just ran and
That just happened
nobody
to
was-
one of the
yeah.
linebackers on the
players,
box,
yeah,
dude.
so, yeah.
2-year-old.
really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting.
Don't fuck around with that pool
No,
stuff, man.
God, no.
Get the gate.
Get the gate and
Yeah.
make sure the gate is actually secure.
Yeah, I just had to put up a gate recently because
yeah.
my daughter's a year and a half.
I saw you. I saw the gate.
Yeah.
yeah. When we let
It's so
out
annoying.
captain.
It's so annoying, but
so
hey,
annoying, isn't
but
it?
you need it for sure.
So that's a
Really
super
sad story.
Yeah, that's a sad part of that story. So, but that was in 1979. So we're fast forwarding a little bit. So in 1977, OJ met Nicole. Nicole was a waitress at a nightclub called the Daisy. He was still married to his first wife,
Of course. Classic.
but they were. So he knew her for 2 years, and it's questionable.
From the club.
No. So per OJ's book that he wrote called "If I Did It,"
It's so bad.
he says that they didn't do anything.
Ah, come on. Per OJ is very credible source.
Didn't OJ also say he didn't do it?
Yeah. I didn't do it.
So
Come on.
they started dating, and then
And then he got divorced
OJ and
8
Marguerite
years later.
OJ and Marguerite divorced in 79. So they met in 77. Nicole.
When they start dating.
don't know.
Undetermined.
You know?
Okay, so
They
that's
didn't have sex until marriage.
Exactly.
so OJ retired, got divorced, and then
Got
5 years later, married Nicole.
But they were together for that time.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
For the 5 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Nicole and OJ had 2 kids named Brooke and Justin. 1985, 1988. Okay. So now we're going to fast forward. Now, I know we have a disclaimer at the beginning of this show, every disclaimer that we have, right?
Yeah, this is not for children's.
But this is where we're going to get a little bit, we're going to try to keep
Little
it light.
rough and tumble.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep it light, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not light.
It's not a light.
No.
I don't know what to
Not
tell
a-
you. Yeah.
We're bringing you the facts.
Yeah, okay. So
True stayer.
I put this in here because these are journals that were found after the trial
Yes.
of Nicole.
Just be prepared.
So these are handwritten by Nicole, and I've seen them. It's in her handwriting. She wrote this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. OJ was abusive. So that's
That.
that's the start.
That's her
of this.
words.
That's her.
So
Okay.
she describes how her husband allegedly threw her against walls and onto the floor. Nicole says, handwritten, OJ beat me for hours.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
The first time OJ beat her was in 1978, right? So
So he was still married at the time. Wait, right?
they were dating.
But he didn't get divorced till 79.
I know, right?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
There you go.
She
There
says,
you go.
Or his credibility.
she
We were not
says,
dating.
and this is what she says. She says that he battered her while they were having sex
Oh, God.
and pummeled her for hours, ripping her clothes off and smashing her car with a baseball bat. Entry details how OJ once screamed at her and he said, "I have a gun in my hand, get the fuck out of here."
Damn.
Her sister Tanya said of the beatings that perhaps Nicole knew of her death because she kept saying he was going to kill me. In her journals, he said, "I think he's going to kill me."
She's probably trying to document this, like,
Yeah.
arrest him.
Yeah. So the diaries were found in a safety deposit box alongside photographs that she took of herself being beaten.
This is fucking madness. The fact that
the
like she
fuck?
literally did all the work for them,
Yes.
and they fucked it up anyways. Like, dude.
It's enraging.
Oh
Keep
my
going.
God.
So in 2016, a documentary revisited some of the entries, and she says that he just kept hitting me while we fucked.
Stop fucking him, Jesus Christ.
The newer documentary reveals how one passage described that he beat her for hours after an anniversary party in 1978. The first time he beat me up after Louis and Nanny Mary's anniversary party. It started on the street corner of NYC 5th Ave at about 9. He threw me on the floor, hit me, kicked me. We went to the hotel where he continued to beat me for hours, and I continued crawling for the door.
Damn.
Another entry says he smashed her Mercedes with a baseball bat after coming home late. And she said she was in the car. I was too afraid to get out of the car.
So would I. I would not get out of the car.
So at one point, she claims that he beat her while she was pregnant and how he ripped her clothes off after having lots of drinks. Nicole went to the hospital, but told the hospital that she got into a bike accident.
God.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
this is what it's life like in the 80s, I guess, because that shit happens now. They could have like looked at her wrong and be like fucking in jail, like 2023.
Nicole
Straight up.
wrote in her diary, she says, OJ was drunk. He never let up. Get the fuck out of my house, you fat ass liar.
She's pregnant, bro.
I
What
packed
the
a few things together for you. 1985, she filed for divorce.
Thank God.
Citing your, differences.
Yeah, well, citing this incessant beatings.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So this is a quote from an officer of the LAPD, and he responded to one of the 911 calls of her getting beat. He said, when you have a call come out and the 911 operator puts you out on the call and the operator can hear the woman being beaten in the background, you know it's serious, you need to get there. When he arrived, she's wearing nothing but a bra and sweatpants and she was covered in mud and she kept yelling, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me. She was so wet and cold that you can feel her shivering to her bones. And I said, well, who's going to kill you? And she said, OJ. She said, you guys have been up here 8 times now. All you do is talk to him and you never do anything.
Fuck this. It's it.
Damn, man.
Her family should have sued the LAPD.
So when
Get into
So
it.
when
We'll
they
get
were
into
still
it.
married, there were several more incidents of domestic abuse where she was hospitalized. According to the New York Times, a New Year's party in 1989, police reported stating that Simpson beat Nicole so severely she needed to go to the hospital. The police report at the hospital said Nicole had a cut lip, a swollen and blackened left eye and cheek, and a handprint on her neck.
Holy shit.
And I saw the photos, and because they took, it's like a rape kit, not a rape kit, but like an abuse thing.
They gotta
do the
document
photos,
that, yeah.
And she's got a full black eye. You know what I mean? It's like swollen, and I mean, unless she was crazy and did it to herself, I don't know.
No, I highly doubt she did
That's not a
that to
bike.
herself.
That's not a bike accident.
Yeah, exactly. So
I fell into a fist.
Another bike. Yeah, like, come on. Now.
So since we're talking about this, so later on we'll talk about how after he was acquitted, he had a civil trial where the family sued him.
Oh, and they won
for,
that.
Yes, they sued him, and so you have to do more. Like it's not a criminal trial. So
Yeah, he
it's
can't
just
go to prison, but like you get money.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I definitely think that. I mean, Jesus Christ, the LAPD had to be some sort of complicit in
Yes.
this 8 times,
Part of
and
the
that was just at that
conspiracy.
moment.
Well,
He didn't
part
do
of it
shit.
too is there was a bit of a starstruck thing.
Oh my God,
Right.
it's OJ.
OJ, I love OJ.
He played for my Niners, baby.
Oh, the juice. You know, that whole thing. There's got to be that.
Oh, 100%.
Got to
Yeah,
be.
100%.
Yeah. According to videotapes of Simpson during the civil trial, he initially denied that altercation on New Year's happened.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
I was just talking about.
So when he was shown the photos of her being beaten or of her pulped face, he testified that they could have actually been makeup from a movie they were working on together.
Oh my God.
So then he was asked.
That's not funny. I'm just saying, like,
I know.
it's so stupid.
I know.
It's so
it's
insane.
stupid that you got to laugh about it.
So
They're like, what about this handprint on her neck?
Yeah.
Fucking makeup.
So then
What,
he
what
was
about your
asked,
fingerprint? Make it.
So then he was asked straight. They asked him, "Have you ever hurt your wife?"
Ever.
And he says, "I hurt my wife, yes." And then they asked, well, then he said, "I never punched her in the face, though. I could have touched her neck, yes."
I could have touched
her neck
He testified
with a handprint.
He testified that he never struck, slapped, hit, kick, or beat Nicole in any way.
He's like, but I need her in the face.
Is that from the
civil trial
Okay,
later.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So what did you hit her with a pillow? Did
I
you give
know
her a
he's
fucking black eye?
strangely good at going, I'm responsible for her being beaten,
But not.
But I didn't hit her.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm responsible for it.
He probably hit her with other things, and that way he's like, I never touched her.
Like he hit her with like a pan.
Yeah,
And he's
it's
like,
like-
the pan hit her.
My hand never
the
touched
pan
her.
hit
I know,
her.
you should arrest the pan.
Yeah, my hand was on the pan.
I know. My hand's never touched her face. Oh, what a piece of
Enraging.
fucking
Enraging.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's eating the fucking BLT.
Another.
Yeah. Drinking a beer in
I know,
Orlando.
right? So just one more incident that happened, which is Nicole came out after the police came, and she ran out of the bushes, and she screamed, "He's going to kill me! He's going to kill me!" And Simpson had punched and kicked his wife and pulled her hair and screamed, "I'll kill you!" According to the documents, he had slapped her so hard that the police officer said that's where the handprint left on her neck.
Oh, he slapped her in the neck?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured
And that
it
was the ninth.
From a choke.
That was the 9th time.
The ninth time.
That was the 9th time. So he then was arrested.
Thank God.
Finally.
He was arrested, and he pleaded no contest to a charge of spousal abuse and was sentenced to 120 hours of community service
Cool. So nothing happens.
and 2 years probation. But I don't
Slap
know
on the wrist.
I don't know what probation
Slap on the
is.
hand.
And
You know what I mean?
I guarantee he did not do that community service.
Right.
Guaranteed.
I know. Actually, I think I'd have to check on the notes, but I think he did a fundraiser.
And he,
Oh
and
my
he accumulated
God.
all the
Like
people's
where you-
hours together
yes.
until 120
Yes.
hours.
And he like spoke about his rushing accolades. you know? Yeah.
When I was running hella fast.
Yeah.
I was so good. You should be like me and just be better than yourself.
Okay,
Good night.
so in 1992, they filed for divorce, or Nicole did.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the strange part. In 93, they attempted to reconcile.
Stupid move. I don't know why she would do that.
According to a friend, Sheila Weller, they were a dramatic, mutually obsessed couple before they were married, after they were married, after they were divorced, and after they tried to reconcile. So they're like strangely into it, I guess. That's what they're
I know.
saying.
There's like these two roller coasters. Like
Yeah.
fucking,
I love you. I hate you. Punch me. Oh, do me. Oh, like a whole thing. Like a whole thing.
The whole thing.
you punch me, do me.
So fucking outrageous. I know. But I just don't understand. and I don't want to be insensitive, but after the 4th time, don't you check out?
I mean, after the 8th time, isn't it like?
No, but I mean, okay,
Well,
we're at 9
statistically,
times. But so how do you get to the,
How do
let's
you get
say
to
the
how do
4th
you get to
time?
10? Yeah.
Yeah.
the first time, shit.
I know.
But,
Yeah, the first time it seems like.
but it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not fucking expert or anything, but I just
know,
hear,
it's
you
an
know, you
abuse
just hear about these abuse.
And then they keep coming back.
Victims, and then they can't get away. You feel trapped, or
maybe it's like,
you also feel fearful. You can't, get away, whatever.
and they had shit kids.
Yeah,
That's
so
true,
maybe
but
it's
kids
like,
together. And
still.
money.
I know he's got the power because he had the money, but then I think
And
it's.
fame.
I think once you let it happen the first time, then you start to justify it to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he doesn't mean he
Right,
loves me.
right.
And then it's now you're at 8 times, and you're like, fuck it, I can't leave now. I've already taken so much. It would be, whatever. You just trick yourself into believing that.
I
It's like,
love
okay.
him. He's so passionate.
I know.
You know,
He always makes up.
sorry.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I don't
know.
understand
He's
it. This is the part about Nicole I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
I
Especially
don't.
what like her family was. I mean, her sister is clearly not.
Yeah,
on board.
not on board
with,
at
like,
all.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I am. Okay, so now we move to June 12th. June 12th, 1993. This is the night.
The night.
The night, right?
The night.
Okay, so at this point, they're separated,
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
But they're in the reconciliation period though.
kind of.
Yeah.
So we're at June 12th now. This is,
The
they're
infamous.
divorced. He's dating somebody named Paula. She's like a model. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
sure.
Yeah, she's a gorgeous woman. She has the kids. They have kind of like joint custody. And they're kind of, per his book, I hate quoting his book.
It's almost like using Wikipedia as a source
Yes.
for like a college paper, and they're like, this is not a valid source.
No, way worse than Wikipedia. Way worse. He says that she was trying to get back with him.
I didn't want. She wanted
During
me.
this
I
time.
don't want it.
Yeah, during
She
this
asked
time.
me to hit her.
Yeah, I don't
what
know.
she wanted.
And he's, I was really in love with my girl, Paula, and blah, 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 Anyways, but here we are, June 12th.
I wonder if they have that on
So
audiobook.
Nicole Brown, Simpson, and OJ, they go to a dance recital for their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 6:00. They leave separately. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole goes to dinner with her family and friends at a place called Mezzaluna, which is a restaurant. Okay. There's somebody who's a waiter there named Ron Goldman. Okay. Ron Goldman, I don't know if you don't know, he's the other victim.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he was a waiter at this restaurant. Nicole's mom leaves behind her eyeglasses at the restaurant. Okay. So Ron knew Nicole and they kind of became friends. They would do like workouts and yoga and stuff like that. They swear that there was no thing. I don't know if there was a thing or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't really matter. I mean, she's
It doesn't matter.
fucking
It doesn't matter.
divorce.
She's single. It doesn't matter. She can do whatever she
wants.
wants. Yeah, she can do whatever she wants. The manager of Mezzaluna recounted that Brown's mother telephoned the restaurant at 9:37 p.m. about a pair of lost eyeglasses. The manager found the glasses, put them in a white envelope, which Ron Goldman then took with him as he left the restaurant, and at the end of his shift at 9:50 p.m. and said, "I'll drop them off at her house on the way home."
Damn. Nice guys. Finish last again.
Horrible,
God
right?
damn it.
Damn.
Honestly, the saddest part of this whole story is actually Ron.
Because he was like, he had nothing,
just-
he had nothing to do with anything.
Got caught in the
Anything.
crossfire.
Honestly,
Yeah.
just in the wrong place, the wrong time, and
Fuck.
just a really, really sad story about him. So, meanwhile, Simpson got takeout food from McDonald's,
Classic.
right?
Fucking.
And there was this guy, I don't know if you remember, but there was this guy named Kato Kalin.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Kato?
Yeah.
Kato had long blonde hair.
I remember the name.
And he was like a failed actor.
Okay.
And he was friends with Nicole.
Yeah, wouldn't he would just
So-
live there, just
Yes.
be at the house?
So there was a
Just
cottage.
fucking at the house.
There was a cottage in the back, and he was staying at the cottage free of charge.
Yeah, just chilling.
to help with the kids and Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. So OJ went to McDonald's with Kato.
Hey, brother, let's get some McDonald's.
Yeah.
This is
So
before
he-
Uber Eats, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
So here's now this part is a rumor.
Yeah.
Rumors were circulating that Simpson had been on drugs that night. The New York Post, Cindy Adams, said that the pair had actually gone to a Burger King where a known drug dealer named JR had admitted to selling them meth.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah.
why would you be like something like
That's
he's rich now. Like, why are you smoking meth? Jesus.
Going back to
But that's-
hood roots.
Yeah.
Now that's-
Crack roots, baby.
now, if
Crack.
you-
Give me some crack.
Jesus. If you're wondering where that's from the New York Post, Cindy Adams. Yeah.
Cindy.
Okay.
I believe her over OJ.
Okay.
100%.
So at 10:15, Nicole Simpson's neighbor. So Nicole lives down the street.
Oh.
She doesn't live with OJ.
I know, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was just
It's
like
not the same place.
Yeah. Okay.
It's down the street. Okay. Nicole's neighbor hears a dog wailing at 10:15. Okay. 10:40, 2 miles from Nicole's home, so 2 miles away at OJ's home, Cato goes outside to investigate a thumping on the side of the wall. He has no idea. He says and I quote, he said, it felt like an earthquake. And he's got a guest house, and so there was a path that led behind the guest house to the main house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so he like, you know what I mean? So he's like, what is this fucking
this
thing? So he
sound?
goes outside, right? Okay, good. So 10:50 p.m., a neighbor walking their dog near Nicole's condo encounters a big white dog, unattended with bloody paws. Okay?
fucking red flag.
Right?
Yeah.
Literally.
So around 10:55, okay, the Akita, that's the type of dog.
Oh, they're huge. Yeah.
Huge
Makita,
dog.
Yeah.
The Akita, the legs were covered in blood, followed the man home. He tried to
They
walk
have
the
a lot of
dog.
fur too.
Yeah, he tried to walk the dog back, but the dog resisted. Later,
It's like I don't want to fucking be
Yeah,
there.
yeah, fuck that. I'm out of there.
so about 45 minutes later, he decided to take the dog back to where he found it, right, and see if what was going on. So around midnight, they reached the area where they found the dog. The dog stopped outside of Nicole's condo, and the couple saw Nicole lying outside the house. The police were then called. Okay, so this is midnight.
Yeah, they didn't know anything was going on until they saw the body.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Okay, and so I'm gonna just run through this because this is
What about Cato?
Cato is at OJ's house.
Yeah, but he heard the thumping, or that's all we got.
That's all we got so
This is
far.
all there.
That's all we got so
Wait,
far.
wait. Be patient.
Okay, so this is per the cops. Okay, so this is per the cops. The front door to Nicole's condo was open when the bodies were found. There were no signs that anyone had entered the building by breaking in or otherwise. Brown's body was laying face down. She was barefoot and at the bottom of the stairs leading to the door. The walkway leading to the stairs was covered in blood, but the soles of her feet were clean.
Okay, so she didn't walk through it.
Based on this evidence, investigators concluded that she was the first person to be killed, and she was the intended target. She had been stabbed multiple times in the head and the neck, but there were very few defensive wounds on her hands, implying a short struggle and just instant death, basically. Yeah? The final wound inflicted ran deep into her neck, severing her carotid artery. A large bruise in the center of her upper back with a corresponding footprint on her clothing indicated that after killing Ron Goldman, the assailant returned to Brown's body, stood on her back, pulled her head back by her hair, and slit her throat.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Her larynx could be seen through the wound.
That's so overkill.
Damn.
That sounds like a meth rage to me.
Yeah.
Her vertebrae, C3, was cut.
Jesus. So you
Her
gotta be
vertebrae
it's like
Holy
strong as
shit.
fuck.
from
Yeah.
all the way. When the police found her, her head was barely attached to her body.
Oh my god. So you pretty much decapitated her. That takes a lot of force. It's not like
Yeah.
it's an easy fucking
That's
task.
insane,
right.
isn't it? It's insane. So Ron, his body was nearby, and it was close to a tree and the fence. He had been stabbed 33 times.
It's so many times. It's such an unnecessary amount of times.
There were a few wounds on his hand, but not a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he struggled a little bit, but not a lot. Forensic evidence from the LA County coroner alleged that the assailant stabbed Goldman with one hand while holding him in a chokehold.
Oh, so it's got him. It's like
Stab. Yeah.
prison style.
Near Ron's body was a blue knit cap and a left-hand extra-large isotoner light leather glove. And the envelope, the white envelope, had the glasses in them. That was right next to the body. Detectives determined that Ron came to Nicole's house in the middle of the killing.
Oh, shit. He's like, hey, got your glasses. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Never mind. Oh.
And that the killer killed him simply
Just
as
to-
a witness
yeah,
and
he's
like, who the fuck are you? And killed him because of that.
Yeah.
there was a trail of bloody shoe prints that ran through the back gate. So there was a back way,
Yeah.
right? There's a back gate
Little path.
that led through a path to go through a tennis court of OJ's to his house.
Okay, so he literally, it's like, he just waltzed on over.
So there was a trail of bloody shoe prints that ran through the back gate.
Like, literally ran into OJ's bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
To the left of some of the prints were drops of blood that were not Ron and Nicole's.
To the
Did
left.
they not run the DNA? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. So investigators concluded that it was blood dripping from the left hand or the left side, right? And they measured the distance between the blood and the shoe prints, and it looked like the assailant was walking, meaning the strides were in certain, so it was just
Okay. You can
he was
like,
just walking away,
calmly getting away.
calmly getting away.
He was actually skipping.
Yeah. Okay, so 11 p.m., Simpson comes out of his house. So we don't know the gap.
Oh, the time. Like, we don't know. Yeah.
We don't know what happened from here.
Yeah.
Right? But here's what we do know. At 11:01 p.m., OJ comes out of his house to meet his limo driver to take him to Chicago for some business thing.
Convenient.
The limo driver said he had been waiting since 10:25. So he'd been waiting 45 minutes.
Damn.
At 11:15, Simpson leaves in the limo for LA International. At 11:45, his plane departs on his way to Chicago.
This is perfect timing, you know? It's like, get out of Dodge.
At 4 a.m., OJ checks into the O'Hare Plaza Hotel in Chicago. Okay, 4:30 a.m. Police go to OJ's home because they find the body of his ex-wife, and they go, "Oh!"
Hey.
And so a guy named Mark Furman goes, "Oh, I know OJ. I've been to his house on domestic calls. I've seen him around. I know where he lives. I'm gonna go notify the next of kin." So they go to OJ's house. Okay, police go to OJ's home, intending to inform him of the death. They discover a trail of blood from his white Bronco to the front door.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
They also find down the side of the house, they find another bloody glove matching one that was next to Ron.
I mean it's
Come on
a
now,
slam
like,
dunk case right here.
Seriously.
Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
That is a conspiracy. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It's like they find OJ standing over her body.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 6:30 in the morning, he's in Chicago and he gets a phone call from one of the detectives and they say Nicole's dead. She's been killed. And he doesn't
Just zero reaction.
he said that, "Oh, she's been killed." Wait, what? Killed? And something that they brought up later in the trial was that he didn't say how she died. He just said, "Okay, I'm going to come back from Chicago." Meaning, if you got notified that your wife
I'd be like, how the
Yeah.
fuck she get killed? What happened?
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck
exactly.
happened?
So he just said, she got killed? Okay, I'm coming home.
He's like, I gotta call my lawyer.
Yeah.
Fucker.
So at 10:45 a.m., the police obtain a search warrant for OJ's property where they found more blood in his Bronco and in and around the mansion. At noon, OJ arrived back in LA and back at his house. He was handcuffed briefly, and then he was questioned for 3.5 hours by the police without an attorney. Now, this is where they started fucking up, the cops.
Yeah.
They like
They
jumped the
didn't,
gun.
yeah, they didn't press him, and he had a cut on his hand, and they were, "Where'd you get that cut?" And he was, "I don't know, Chicago, here, there, I don't know, And it was just vague answers, and he just didn't really answer anything.
But they probably weren't. But when did it happen? Fucking tell
they
us
didn't.
now,
Yeah,
right?
they weren't a good. It wasn't a good interrogation.
They were probably like,
basically.
"Can we get an autograph?"
Mr. Simpson.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, so at that point, Robert Shapiro, then became his lawyer. June 16th, which is like 2 days later, he went to Nicole's funeral, and there's video of him attending the funeral and that sort of thing, and very awkward.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super awkward.
You know what I mean? The next day, which is June 17th, he was charged with 2 counts of murder, and the prosecutor said they would think about seeking the death penalty.
So, yeah.
So he was supposed to surrender to the police. Shapiro then told the police, the DA, don't worry, we're going to bring him in at 11 a.m. So for some reason, the police were like, okay,
cool.
This guy who's arrested for murder,
Stabbing, like
he could come in.
70 stab wounds.
He could come in at his own leisure.
You're like, 9's too early for us. Like, I think like 11:30.
11, yeah.
So he did not show up.
Nope.
He did not show up. And he was, quote unquote, in hiding at Kardashian's home. Yeah. So he failed to surrender as promised, and he was then declared a fugitive. He then snuck out of the back of the home, and he jumped into the white Bronco with AC. Yeah. And that's where we're going to end this episode. Everybody knows the Bronco chase. So he got into the Bronco, and he disappeared.
That's right.
Whew. So that's leading up to
Part two.
Yeah, part
obviously,
two.
part two is going to be about the trial and the Bronco chase and that sort of thing. So there we go. What do you guys think so far?
I mean, probably not good to ask me what I think. I ruined the moment.
So far about the same thing when we started.
Yeah, I know.
It's also, it's like, I watch every night before bed, my wife watch like either Forensic Files or like CSI.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know obviously it's like a show. I mean, there's enough evidence for me to like fucking
I could convict him.
It's like,
crazy, yeah.
I have no legal training, and I'd be like, easy peasy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evidence against him.
A lot, like a crazy
lot.
amount.
It's crazy how they fucked this up, but
Yeah.
that's what we're going to get into in our next
That's right.
episode.
It is a conspiracy. It made us think we're talking about crime. This is a fucking conspiracy.
I know.
Yeah.
So we'll get into, I mean, there's the argument of the police planting it.
There is.
There's the Mark Furman, the racist police officer. There's all sorts of stuff. So
tune in. Obviously, we want to hear your thoughts on what you think. Also, what any other information that we might have like skipped over. Something we should add in. We can make a little addendum. We love doing that.
Yep.
We listen to you.
We always put up a poll also on Spotify. So if you guys want to jump over there and give us your thoughts.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
Part 2
Of
OJ.
Orenthal James Simpson.
OJ. So in the first episode, we talked about his history, his football legend, his
Coming out of the ghetto.
rise
and-
to fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then leading up to the murders of Ron Goldman and Nicole.
Yes.
So we left you off with he got into a Bronco. Yeah, he got into the Bronco and he disappeared into the night. Not the night, but
The
the
morning.
day. Yeah,
Whatever. He disappeared into traffic.
that's right.
I
So
just kind
he,
of picture like the Bronco, that scene, and
I know,
on the
right?
freeways.
I
That's kinda like how
Do you
we
remember that?
The,
Left it
the
off.
helicopters. Like
Yeah.
fucking,
do you remember that?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
How old were you in 94? This is mid
14?
14, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 12.
Yeah.
Sean was 1.
I wasn't. I was like 6.
Yeah. I remember our school stopped
Yeah.
what we were doing and like pulled the TV in and all that stuff. It
And you
was
just
crazy.
watched the car drive as they followed it.
I think I just watched it at night or something. I don't remember
It
exactly.
was long. It was not. It was
Yeah,
hours.
so it was still going on, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was hours.
And then didn't it stop? He just like ran out of gas or something. They didn't deploy spike strips. They didn't do anything. It was
There's
just
a
like,
note in here where one of the news helicopters ran out of gas because it took so
it
long.
took so long to like shit. We had to turn back.
Yeah. Okay, he was about to be arrested for murder. He was supposed to turn himself in. He didn't. He was at Kardashian's home, Robert Kardashian's home, and he slipped out the back with, remember, AC.
Yes.
And AC and him.
Childhood friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, and of course, he only hits up AC in this type of situation. So, okay, come to my house in Brentwood. He's like, I need you to drive.
AC, you might ride or die or what?
I know. I haven't talked to you in 15 years. What are you talking about?
You ride.
You ride or you die.
So per some reports, when OJ was at the house and getting ready to be arrested or go turn himself in, he was losing his mind. He was losing his mind. He's about to go in and he was,
Coming down on the meth highs wearing off.
Coming off of the meth.
So he actually wrote a letter, and this letter was, a lot of people thought it was his suicide note.
Oh, it's not worth
Done.
it.
Yeah, and so Kardashian read it at a press conference at 5:00 that day. And he says, first, everyone understand I had nothing to do with Nicole's murder. He described the fights with Brown and their decision not to reconcile and asked the media as his last wish not to bother his children. He wrote to his then girlfriend, Paula, remember the model?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're not going to have our chance. As I leave, you'll be in my thoughts. He said, I can't go on.
Definitely
he apologized.
sounds very suicide-y.
Oh, yeah.
He apologized to the Goldman family.
Ooh.
At the end of it, he said, don't feel sorry for me. I've had a great life, great friends. Please think of the real OJ and not this lost person.
See, it almost seems like it's like an admittance.
Yeah. It's
Like, he's like admitting
half
it.
suicide,
So
half confession.
Here's the super part that got me really annoyed. He signed it OJ Simpson, and in the O, he did a smiley face.
What the fuck?
Why?
So
what does that
unnecessary.
mean? I don't get it. Why did he do that?
It pretty much is that's what the smiley face is like.
like a-
Fuck. It's like fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
like fuck yeah.
All right, I just don't understand why he would put a smiley face at the end of that. It just it drove me crazy. It's almost like a weird.
I think it's telling. It's telling. It's I'm so sorry. Oh, after I'm
Everything's
gone.
fine.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So everybody thought it was a suicide note, right? So much so that Kardashian went and told the kids and the mom he's going to kill himself. That's what's happening.
And when the lawyer read it, was the chase still going on? Right?
Just started.
Oh,
It just
okay.
disappeared. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So news helicopters searched the LA highway system for the white Bronco at 5:51, so 51 minutes later. Apparently, OJ called 911, and the call was traced to Santa Ana Freeway. At around 6:20, a motorist notified the California Highway Patrol seeing somebody on the I-5 heading
Imagine
north.
being that guy.
Yeah.
I fucking found the Bronco.
At 6:45, Ruth Dixon was a police officer, saw the Bronco heading on the 405. She caught up to it. AC yelled out that Simpson was in the back seat pointing a gun to his own head and that he was going to kill himself. The officer backed off, but followed the vehicle at 35 miles an hour.
I know they're going so slow.
Eventually, 20 police cars came and was following him at 35 miles an hour on the freeway.
Oh my god.
And the
So
freeway,
what
and the
you were
freeway's like
talking about.
empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about, where it was just super. It wasn't even really a chase. It was like a slow
It was just like it was just more
crawl. Yeah.
A little trot, a little
Yeah.
follow.
trot. The police trot.
So this created a frenzy in America. This created a insane
Action
frenzy.
news
Yes.
reporting.
9 helicopters showed up.
So many.
It was everywhere. And then all of a sudden people started going, okay, he's going up the 405. So then thousands of people were going and meeting and hanging out on the bridges, making signs and going, go OJ, go. And like just all sorts of craziness.
I just never understood people who do that type of thing.
I know.
You have nothing else to do.
They want 5 seconds of
Like,
fame.
I just wanna-
Maybe I come out in a chopper news camera.
Yeah, if I'm in a chopper, okay, I'll do that. But yeah, just sit on the side of the freeway for 1 second and be like, yeah, go AJ, go. All right, let's go home. He passed us. Like
Insane.
idiots. People are dumb.
Insane. So what's crazy too is going on at the same time was the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah.
And it was the Knicks against the
last-
Rockets. Yeah, the Knicks
is-
against the Rockets.
This really dates
it was
this.
Like, it was
in
like,
the finals.
I know, right?
It was Patrick Ewing and I forget who else in the Rockets. Whoever else was on the Rockets. Also playing his last round of his entire career was Arnold Palmer. So this was hot. Sports was on, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They changed it.
We cut to this break.
Okay, so the NBA
we bring you
finals.
breaking news.
The NBA finals were on, and they
That
didn't
is
know what to
crazy.
do.
That is
so they
crazy.
put a box. They
Oh, like,
changed it.
like picture in picture.
Yeah, so they changed it to the main screen was OJ
and they
running.
had the finals
and
looking
the
at-
finals was in the little square at the bottom.
I'd be so pissed.
It was insane.
Wow.
Reports came in that 95 million people watched the chase.
It's like ratings. That's why maybe about the conspiracies all set up. We're gonna need you to do a chase,
Yes.
and it's gonna need to
And
last for 7 hours.
Just so
we
you,
need ratings.
just
so
so you know-
bring in the chase.
just so you know, the Super Bowl that year was 90 million.
Oh my god,
Isn't that crazy?
that's crazy.
That's then like a Mentos commercial comes on. Like,
yeah.
Mentos freshness.
Yeah.
What if a Hertz commercial with OJ in it comes out?
insurance commercial.
Probably did. I wouldn't be
Like,
surprised.
He's like, I gotta run.
Hurts. I'm gonna need to capitalize on this
I
right
know.
now.
They're like, play it now.
So it became like a festival, like a circus.
Yeah.
Like it was just thousands of people everywhere. It's insane.
The best time of my life.
Anyways, people were yelling, "Go OJ, go!" And
See, they fuck these people. They didn't know what was going on. They're just
I
like,
know
yeah.
it's the crazy part. It would be kind of like, I don't know. Give an example. Maybe I don't want to say Brady, but maybe no, not quite Brady.
It'd be crazy.
Maybe
It'd be mad. There'd be
But who else is that famous?
a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Brady's up there.
Superstar football
Yeah,
player,
yeah.
retired.
I just can't see Brady. Like,
No, I know, but that's what everybody thought.
Killing
I can't.
Giselle.
Everybody
That's true.
thought at the time.
That's true. They're like, no, it
No,
can't
he
be.
didn't.
That's true.
This is not happening right now. It would actually.
I think that was part of the persona that he built when he got out of the hood. And he was
Right, right.
trustworthy, to beat my wife at night and was a fucking stand-up guy there in the day.
Oh my god.
So Simpson reportedly demanded that he be allowed to speak to his mom before he surrendered.
Okay.
So eventually they made their way back to the house, and then they parked in the driveway of the house. And they sat there for 45 minutes, just sitting in the driveway. Yeah.
When did he call his mom?
He said he was going to go inside.
And they were like, nah,
Yeah,
that's not gonna
be a big
fucking
no.
fly, bro.
There were 27 SWAT members there just chilling, waiting. He walked out of the car at 8:50 p.m. with a family photo, went inside for about an hour.
He did. They let him inside.
What?
They let him inside. He went inside for an hour, and a cop said that he spoke to his mom and he asked for a glass of orange juice as a joke.
He's making fucking jokes.
Yeah. And when he walked in, he said, "I'm sorry" to all the cops, and he said, I didn't want you to get anybody to get hurt. This was all for me. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Anyone to get hurt? Who the fuck got hurt besides his
No,
murder?
meaning, I don't know. He's just trying to apologize. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just-
My
he's
thing is,
just
how would they
never-ending.
let him in his
let
own
him
house
do
for an
so
hour?
many
They just let him do
things.
anything he wants to.
Honestly, if you were being chased,
they would have fucking
would've
shot
you.
me through the
Yes.
fucking. They would have sniped me off one of the bridges instantly. Just put me
first
down.
off, they would take your tires out and they would put their car in front of yours
I know.
and then shoot you.
and then shoot me to death.
Yeah.
And then they'd have been, the gun that he was pointing at his own head, they was pointing at me. That's why I had to kill him.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, but if we're chasing Sean, we're not going to be on national TV with 90 million people watching.
I don't know. You could maybe 40 million.
Maybe I could pull 40. No, but that's part of it. They're not gonna, they're not gonna do
know.
anything while everybody's watching. So
That was
it's
the
like
thing-
they
that-
want to diffuse the situation.
That's what I kept noticing is that a lot of the cops were, I'm not going to shoot O.J. Simpson
I know.
Yeah,
they're like
that's
my
the other
career's
thing.
over.
live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that probably contributed to probably a lot of the fuck ups.
Yep.
Like they
Yep.
they didn't know what to do. They'd never been in a situation where there was someone so high profile.
Yeah.
There's so many cameras. Everyone's afraid to do it. You're afraid to make a mistake, so mistakes just happen because
Right.
you're too afraid to
Yeah,
make a mistake.
Yeah,
Right. Well, in the Bronco, this is what they found. The Chase Bronco. Yeah. $8,000 in cash.
Just cause.
Okay. A change of clothing, a loaded .357 Magnum, his passport, family photos, and a fake goatee and a fake mustache.
Because that's really gonna hide. But his passport says orange all
Obviously, he wasn't going to kill himself with a fake
No.
mustache on.
Yes.
I don't
What
want my
is he
family to see
doing?
my family.
The juice was running.
It's running.
He wasn't trying to kill himself. Come on.
The juice was running.
Juice is running, man. Let's be honest.
The juice was running.
Okay, so he was then arrested finally. Finally arrested and booked.
Book him, Dano.
Also, AC was booked on suspicion of harboring a fugitive.
I mean, it wasn't really suspicion. It was.
Yeah, I know.
You were.
Not that suspicious.
Before we jump into the trial now, because now
Okay.
he's arrested, et cetera, right? I wanted to touch on something that I thought was important, which is 3 years earlier, there was a guy, and his name was Rodney King.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so
the
3
fucking-
years earlier in LA, yeah?
Right.
At 1 a.m, Rodney King stopped his car after leading the police on a kind of semi-quasi chase for about 8 miles. It wasn't really a chase.
It wasn't like an OJ
but
chase.
it was like, yeah. I mean, 8 miles is still a distance.
That's fuck yeah. It is.
It's like when you hear the you're not going
I'm
8
going
miles.
like 80 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a place to pull over. Like,
You're not going to go, I'm going to go to 8 miles. I'm going to go to St. Pete real quick.
yeah.
So he gets pulled over. His name's Rodney King, right? And he was a parolee for being charged for robbery. Okay? He was drunk.
Probably.
No, he was.
it's
Like he was a drunk. That was why he was pulled over for drunk driving, right? Okay. He refused to pull over. The LAPD cruisers and police helicopter joined the pursuit, and he was finally stopped. Several police cars descended on his car. Okay. A group of LAPD officers led by Sergeant Kuhn ordered King and his other two
What a name.
occupants. I know.
It's the irony. It's
I know,
like
I
so
know.
it's out of control.
So they said, get out of the car. King himself was slow to respond. He got on his hands and knees rather than lying flat. You know how they say, lie flat. He got on his hands and knees. Officers Powell, Wind, Solano, they tried to force him down, but he resisted. So he was in that mode, I'm not getting on the floor. And he's just bent, but he's kind of on the floor. You know what I mean?
It's already like on the floor.
Yeah, and you're, all right, there's 5 white cops right above me. You should get on the floor. Anyways, yeah. So they tased him. Okay, with an electric stun gun, 50,000 volts, right? They tase him down. He gets down. Okay, at this moment, a civilian named George Holliday started filming from his balcony.
Dude, I've seen the
You've
film.
seen it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's disturbing.
In the first few seconds of what was an 89-second famous video, King is seen rising after the tase shots and running in the direction of one of the officers. The officers allege that King was charging him, but King himself later claimed he was told that we were going to kill you.
N-word.
There you go.
Well, I could say it, but
He tried to flee. All the arresting officers were white, all of them but one. With the helicopter above, you couldn't hear anything on the video.
yeah.
So he just started getting beat.
Dude, they beat the fucking shit out of him, dude.
They just
With-
kept beating him.
with the
Batons.
sticks,
with the
right?
batons,
Nightsticks.
dude.
Yeah,
They were
nightsticks.
batoning his
Yeah.
ass.
Hitting him on the side of the head, knocking him to the ground, all on video.
I mean, the only thing I've seen that's on par like with that is I don't know if you saw the videos in that what happened in Baltimore or whatever, like with those cops. Granted,
Yeah.
like all those cops were black
On the
cops.
neck. On the neck. He died?
Yeah, he died. So it was a task force. I think it was in Baltimore or something like that, right? I think so. They were like holding him. He's standing up with his arms
Yeah.
on his back, and then dude just comes up, haymakers him, and then
I saw
boom.
this one.
And they
Yes.
fucked, and he died.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I mean, granted, it's different. Like all those cops are black, and there's a black guy, but dude, it was so
Still,
brutal.
it
It was
was-
so
it was-
fucking brutal.
It was
Yeah,
heavy,
because one-
heavy brutality.
It was
yeah.
super brutal.
Definitely, and I don't know if you're going to get into this, but very racist, and whereas the other one's just police brutality.
Yeah, that was
like-
just like, in general,
Yeah.
and then this
Yeah.
one was
This is 12 white dudes
Yes.
beating a black guy. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, there's a lot here.
So I mean, I see the relevance.
Repeated blows. He was hit. He was hit so many times. He was hit 56 times.
That's some.
God damn.
How did?
I mean, so
That's obviously way
It's like
past
so
resistant
I
arrest.
know,
This is
it's like
fucking-
50 times. Jesus. There's the resistance is over.
Yeah.
Like
an ambulance was called and King was taken to the hospital. He suffered fractured leg, facial fractures, bruises, contusions. They had no idea that it was being filmed, so the cops downplayed it. Saying it was a minor nature.
Just a few
Dude, like,
scratches.
a couple. I whipped the baton. I was like, "Don't make me do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little tap tap. He was good.
Yeah, it was a normal pullover.
Little traffic stop.
Traffic stop, a little infration, little
Gave him a
citation. Little citation.
Little citation.
I mean, he resisted a little bit, but I told him,
It's
hey,
LA.
don't do that.
I was like, listen, I'm trying to get home.
Yeah.
I know you trying to get home.
So bad. So George Holliday, he sold his video of the beating to a TV station.
For like $60.
And then it
Before
was
TMZ.
and then they sold it to CNN and CNN broadcast it, and that's when things got out of control.
Yeah, oh yeah, she
And,
went fucking real. Like,
He was released without charges, Rodney King, right? So then the officers, when the video came out, they were indicted.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So they were indicted and then they went to court, etc. All 4 of the officers, the main ones, were charged with assault with a deadly weapon and excessive use of force.
And what happened?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It fucking enrages me. Like,
So on April 29th, 1992, the 12-person jury issued its verdict, not guilty on all accounts.
yeah.
Like, just look at the video, bro. I mean, come on.
Anybody
Like,
can see that video.
That was bad.
It's
And
so
fucking
bad.
come up with the same answer. They are
That was
guilty.
bad.
I mean,
Yeah, that was
they
bad.
did not have to do that.
Any charge?
Like, none.
Nothing.
What do you get? Like a bad conduct at work? Low performance?
You get
They're
written
like, that wasn't assault.
Yes.
Do you think that was not?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's not assault.
Okay, so Sergeant Kuhn, your performance this quarter was less than par.
No,
Nothing.
They're like, no, exemplary.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
exemplary.
Yeah. So those acquittals, that started the LA riots.
That's when it all started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So arson, looting,
Started burning down the city, man, for
60
days.
people were killed
Yeah.
over 3 days.
Wow.
See, I never understood
Which
the
one was worse? That riot or riots?
That riot.
That was
LA
worse.
riots, way worse.
I don't know, dude. Half of Wisconsin got burnt to the ground.
What? No.
Yeah.
LA
What do you
riots
know?
were
Are you kidding me?
60 people died.
How many people died during these?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go?
You want to put some money on it?
Yep.
Okay, so you think that
The 2020 riots.
it was less deaths?
Yeah. Okay, so let me just run you through it real
Okay,
quick, right?
okay.
So in 3 days of violence, more than 60 people were killed, 2,000 injuries, $1 billion in property damage. In 1992, $1 billion, which is like 28 billion now.
Plus inflation.
Thanks to
$14
fucking-
trillion
yes.
worth of damage.
On May 1st, George H. W. He had to call in the military to quell the,
The unrest.
the unrest. So it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Still, I think it was.
For what? The quote unquote riots in 2020.
It's like
Yeah.
all that kind of
It
stuff.
wasn't because-
happened.
you're right, it wasn't-
Nationwide is madness.
That's what I'm saying. Nationwide.
Nationwide.
So
Dude,
it was
multiple-
like different
If you take
cities.
all the cities, combine them
Yes.
into a pool,
no, dude. There's
then add it all together.
There's hundreds of billions of dollars a day. Like there's buildings. If you look, there's actually. I saw this guy do this thing. He pretty much took like Google Earth images of a lot of these places in these major cities, and then the today thing now, 3 years later, and those businesses are done.
Yeah.
And the businesses are toast. It just ruined Minneapolis. Fucked. Fucking Wisconsin. I forget which city it was in Wisconsin. Dude, fucked. And nobody wants to do business there. So it actually ruined the economy of a lot of these cities.
That's
like,
true.
and they'll never recover.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's worse because like LA recovered and LA, well, there's too many people for it not to recover. It has to. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
Portland was another huge one.
oh yeah, Portland, yeah.
Well, I think maybe I guess the main point is that it was in a condensed area, so
It's-
it looked
yeah,
like a war.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
It
it
was
was
bad.
all of it condensed into.
I would not want to be.
know what I mean?
I am not dark enough to be walking on the street and that shit. They totally. This thing I was like a tan, like just a
Mexican.
No, yeah, me and Jorge, they were like
Yeah.
fucking get it.
So anyway, so I bring that story up because LA was kind of at a boiling point.
Oh,
and
dude,
it,
100%.
this happened,
Very
and this is
racially
their this is
tension
Charged.
yeah, this is one of their
charge, yeah.
black. This is a black hero.
Who?
Yeah.
OJ.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I
see.
mean? And
I
it's
thought you were
like-
talking about like Rodney King. I'm like, pretty sure no one knew who he was.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No, and I just thought
Poor
it was.
Rodney.
I thought it was strange because, at the beginning of the trial, there were so many people who were saying that he's being abused by the cops.
he's got the
And-
royal
right?
treatment.
And that's what confused me because there's so much evidence that he was actually treated
Better than any other
he
criminal
was-
ever.
Yeah, exactly. So it just is strange and a strange element.
I
And
think
so,
I think it just the fact that it was just automatically assumed that he was.
yeah.
And I think that probably had a lot to do with, especially at that time, with all
Right.
this, I guarantee that had a sway with the jurors. That's in your
Right.
mind. That's in the back of your
Right.
head. Hey, I don't agree with fucking this racist shit. He seems like a nice guy to me. I'm not trying to say I'm not going to be the one to say this black dude's
Right.
murdering
Yeah.
people. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll dive into more, especially when he brings on Cochran, Johnny, and he was
yeah.
he was the lawyer. He was famous for going against police brutality towards black and
Yeah.
minorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's
very, very well known
yeah,
for that.
Yeah. So okay, so July 8th, 1994. Yeah. There's a preliminary hearing, and it ends with the judge, Kathleen Kennedy, ruling that there is sufficient evidence to prosecute OJ and he must stand trial for first-degree murder. Okay. July 22nd, OJ stands in front of the judge and it says, absolutely 100% not guilty.
Smiley face.
Yes.
Fucking dick.
Why, OJ?
so
Why? Why did you do it? Okay, so at that time, the judge is assigned to the case. Judge Lance Ito. Do you remember Judge Lance Ito?
Yeah. I remember the name.
Yes, yeah. By September, the DA files to sequester the jury. So if you don't know what sequestering a jury is it means they are removed from society.
They have no contact with the outside world.
That's right. So
they don't get like swayed by media.
Yeah. It was such a media-driven trial that they were, okay, the only way to keep this as fair as we can is to sequester the jury.
So they basically live in a hotel, right?
Right.
Everybody stays together. Everybody goes to trial. Then
they're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to talk to their peeps about it. Or at least they can call home and talk to their family, but they can't talk about the case.
They're not allowed to talk about the case?
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine, like, the frenzy with the Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah.
And like that.
Oh, yeah.
Even I watched that shit, dude.
Yes.
But imagine that on crack.
I know.
Just
and a murder.
And it's murder.
Next
racism.
Just imagine, the entire planet's, I gotta see.
I know.
Shit.
Yes. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
So November 3rd, the jury panel was selected, and it was selected 8 black people, 1 white person, 1 Hispanic, and 2 mixed.
Then I thought it was supposed to be even Stevens.
Well, the trial was held in downtown LA. So the pool there is
Supposed to be even Stevens. No. It's just whoever
It's
they
the
pick.
selection too.
Yeah.
So the county that you're in, if you're 50% black, the odds are you're going to get more black people.
Yeah. The odds are, sure.
So,
I think
so the
it's
county is heavily.
but there's no law or stipulation that says it has
No.
to be a certain amount
No.
or whatever.
I don't know. I just expect.
No.
I just was thinking
They-
like.
they
would
then
think.
I was thinking like racially charged thing. Like maybe they.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of bias. I don't know.
So
I'm
what's
just
interesting is
trying to
they
be
do.
fair.
So they do a process where the prosecution can select and cancel.
Yeah, they can
certain
they
jurors.
can veto jurors.
Yeah, and so they go, okay, I have the choice between Jorge and Sean. Okay, I have a black man from Ohio or a Mexican from Texas and Mexico. Okay, the case is against a black man. Okay, I'm
Jorge
probably
it is.
no, like you know what I mean. And then you can decide, and they go, okay, well, I can only or Eric, the white guy.
Yeah.
So if you have 1 veto, who do you get rid of out of us
Eric.
3?
Yeah.
100% vetoing.
Probably
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
For sure.
So then you have to deal with whatever. But what's interesting is the prosecution was thinking that black men were actually a deterrent.
What do you mean?
Well, because they thought that OJ was not
Because
representing them anymore.
Oh, because he was like, "Oh, I'm out. Fuck you guys.
Yes.
I'm Brentwood.
Yes.
I'm
rich.
Yes.
Look at my white woman, bitch."
So
Yeah.
they got rid of a lot of black jurors, men, black
see.
men jurors. So a majority of these are women, black women.
and you would think the women might be more sympathetic to
I know. I think so. Anyways, it's just
vicious murder of a woman.
yeah. So anyways, it is what it is. Whether whoever was right or wrong, I don't know. You know,
I
is what
totally
it
think
is.
that
It's a strategy. I don't know.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think it honestly shouldn't matter. But I was only brought it up just because at that time with
Yeah.
what was going on with the
Yeah.
Rodney King thing, I can imagine it being really
Right.
everyone's on edge. This is going to be definitely come into play.
right.
Okay, let's talk about Mark Furman.
Yes.
We have a lot more here to go over. Mark Furman. I'll have Sean do it.
Yeah.
So Mark Furman is
Yeah.
a police officer.
Yep.
Mark Furman was a police officer in LAPD, and he was one of the first people on the scene of the murder.
Wasn't he the one that's
He was one- I know him. I'm
I
gonna
know
go-
him. I
Yes,
know the
that's
next
right.
of kin or
That's
whatever.
right.
I'm gonna
That's
go.
right.
Yeah.
He's also the one who found the gloves.
Right.
Damn it. That was our first mistake.
Okay. Yeah. So a big, huge thing that blew up in the trial was that Mark Furman was a
Scathing racist.
vehement, dirty racism, like bad. So at the beginning of the actual trial, the prosecution and the defense were arguing over whether it had anything to do with the trial. Just
Like, if it
because
wasn't,
a
like,
guy
relevant, yeah.
says
The N-word.
yes, does it mean that he didn't find the glove?
True. But I guess they'd be worried, like,
did he
well, he
plant
plant it. Yeah.
There you go, right? So the judge ultimately decided to allow it.
But see, the only thing about that, I don't, because one of the gloves was in the crime scene.
That's right.
Which he didn't find.
Yeah, he did.
He found both gloves?
Yeah.
Oh, both.
He found both gloves.
Okay. If he didn't find the first one and then he found the second one, how did he?
Well, I mean,
I just happen to have the exact.
Yeah, how did I plant it?
But here's the thing. I don't want to say he found it. So if you arrive with three detectives.
Okay, he was. It wasn't him alone.
Yeah.
But him alone found the
other
second one. That's
right.
That's my point.
That's right. Correct.
How would he have? He's unless he killed her. Then he's like, I just
Right.
so happen to have this other glove handed down. Like,
Extra large isotoner.
I know, it's another glove with blood on it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, so January 24th, 95, they deliver their opening statements. Johnny Cochran delivers his opening statement. February, the jurors take a field trip and they go to OJ's home.
Take a fucking field trip.
Yeah, and what's
Get on the
funny?
bus.
What's funny is in other documentaries, the prosecution says that Johnny Cochran, and the defense, they changed his house to make him look more black.
And they put up like
Oh, yeah?
So he had all these pictures of him with
his mom and
Don Daly and white guys and
know.
white people and white
the president.
George Bush.
I know,
and,
exactly.
yeah, and blonde chicks and spring break. All that shit, right? And so then when they went and did the tour, it was, African leopard prints. And you know what I mean?
Like,
I don't know.
And it's like drums and shit.
Yeah.
Instead of the golf pictures, all basketball.
Yes. And I don't mean to. I'm not being insensitive. I'm saying it was extreme.
No, yeah, they did it.
was
They did it on
extreme.
purpose,
Yes, there was a woman with African earrings, and you know what I mean. It was extreme.
When we all know like that shit was
Yes.
not. He had to probably a fucking
not there.
piano.
Yes.
Yes,
All this,
yes,
like weird
yes.
shit.
But in essence, it was trying to make him more black.
See, isn't that weird? And
they were playing the race card
like
and,
tampering with tampering with a potential crime scene. I don't know.
Or at least the imagery of a person, right? And who they really were.
No, I mean obviously
Well,
it's
that's
like.
not tampering.
But that's
No,
not
but
the crime scene. The crime scene is Nicole's house.
I understand, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it does seem like manipulation. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
It is.
for example, so let's say I'm a vehement drug addict, and let's say that's a part of this crime and whatever, and let's say for somebody that has something to do with it, but before they come and see my house, they clean it up and they put a bunch of pictures of the kids and they make it all
I
tidy,
see.
as opposed to fucking crack pipes and shit on the floor.
I see.
Yeah, it's like, look at
It's-
this derelict how he lives.
I know it's
yeah.
just
Right.
painting. It just seems like
It's manipulation,
It's
for
manipulation.
sure. Yeah.
It's not illegal, but it's
It's not tampering.
manipulation.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not
It
illegal.
changes the character of the person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just how you view them.
If anything, it's fucking smart on the,
I mean, honestly,
on the
that's
lawyer's
Johnny
part.
Cochran.
Yeah, I know, right?
The ballin'. So on March 15th, 1995, Detective Mark Furman, cross-examined by defense attorney F. Lee Bailey, denies using the word nigger at any time in the previous 10 years. So on the May 10th, the DNA testimony begins. June 15th, Simpson tries on the bloody gloves, the classic moment. They seem not to fit. And that's what I
So let's
always...
talk about the gloves for a second.
Yeah, please, because
Let's talk about the goddamn
I
gloves.
always fucking had to think
Goddamn
about this.
gloves.
I know.
Okay. So first off, why did they have... First off, I think it was a fuck up that the prosecution even had him try the gloves on.
Yeah.
Why do you even need to have the guy try
It
the
doesn't
gloves
matter.
on?
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Second, they're covered in blood for a year.
I know, like shrinkage.
Have you ever put gloves
In water?
Okay, here's a great example. I don't know if you guys golf much, but my golf gloves, after 1 year of use, they turn into a
Like a
shriveled-
raisin?
Literally, I can't even put my fingers in them anymore. And it's from sweat.
Yeah.
Just imagine blood.
Yeah,
Thick.
same shit. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just from being wet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another point. He's wearing latex underneath.
Yeah.
Latex. It makes your hands fatter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's also like the glove actually. Well, it's not. He physically couldn't get his hand in the glove. It's the glove was on, and it's like, oh, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Just doesn't fit real nice.
It's a little bit too tight.
I'm not saying he's a good one, but he's an actor.
But it's also who cares? I only murder people in gloves that fit perfectly. It's such an
I
unnecessary.
know.
Well, if the glove didn't fit, like
I thought it was retarded.
it's so
Yeah.
it's such a stupid.
I know.
Like it'd be different if like the glove physically couldn't get on his hand.
Right.
If it was like this and he's I can't doesn't go on.
Or if you can fake it, you can be you can put something on and go, don't fit. I
I'm
can't get it.
trying.
And your hands are like this.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm really trying.
I heard somebody said that he was on arthritic medication from playing football.
I'll probably made
And
him
so
like
and so for a couple days before it, he stopped taking it.
Oh, so
it's
he was all like
His
swole
hands
up.
are swollen up.
It's like
He's super smart.
He's taking.
Yeah,
He's
I'd be
taking.
like, yeah,
he's
you're gonna
like,
try on the gloves on Friday.
Yeah.
he's
let
actually.
me prep
Yeah.
He's taking inflammatories.
Yeah.
He's like starting to like.
instead of anti.
I would just stop taking the medication, eat a bunch of cottage cheese. OJ looks fat.
Looks fat as fuck.
all bloated.
All right, anyways, that's
I know. I always hated the glove. I
hated
just thought
the
it was.
gloves.
It's.
I know.
It's the most piece of evidence that literally that needs no. There's no proof.
Yeah, but it was just visually. It's because it's all filmed, and everybody's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
doesn't fit." But it's not. But his DNA is in the gloves.
I know.
Doesn't matter. They don't fit. It's like, what the fuck? So then August 15th. So July 6th, the prosecution rests. August 15th, the controversy over possible conflict of interest concerning Judge Ito. Marcia Clark asked Ito to recuse himself from the Simpson trial. Did they say why he had to recuse himself?
Yeah, so he was strange. He wanted to be on Letterman. He wanted to
he's
be
like-
on
he's
this.
trying to be
He
in
wanted
the-
to be on that. His girlfriend at the time also knew Mark Furman, and he didn't disclose it ahead of time.
Oh, I see.
Honestly, though, she was a police officer, so it's not
Of
like
course,
you don't know
she
them.
knows another police
Yeah,
officer.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of reasons. He was a little bit loose. He wanted cameras. He wanted all these different things. And it just kind of fucked the whole trial up.
He wanted to be a celebrity.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
wanted.
like, I'm trying to be famous.
Yeah.
So then August 16th, Clark changes her mind on the Ito recusal.
Mm.
So Furman was the detective who found a bloody glove on Simpson's estate.
Yep.
This glove was later determined to be the mate of another glove found at the Marlevis. The mate. The mate of another glove
heard it like
found
that.
at I know, like they were in love. Found at the scene. It was soaked in the blood of both victims. That's a good thing. Soaked.
Yeah.
It was soaked in the blood.
Dude, you know how she got fucking cut.
Yeah.
Dude, I
That-
didn't
there would be
realize that.
blood
I didn't realize
so
that
much.
her head was almost cut off. That's fucked up. So Simpson's defense team argued that Furman planted the glove on Simpson's estate following the murder. To bolster their excerpts of the tapes were admitted as evidence. Outside the presence, I'm assuming these are tapes regarding Furman.
Yeah.
Outside the presence of the jury, Furman was questioned by the defense team invoking his Fifth Amendment right on all questions, including the question, did you plant or manufacture any evidence in the case? Why would you plead the Fifth on that?
Yeah, this is the part that everybody hated.
You could
Well,
just be
because-
like,
because
I
I
was
think-
no,
No,
I
because
did it.
Because I think once you plead the fifth,
Once you
have
plead
to,
it, you got to keep.
No,
you don't
you
have
don't-
to.
you don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to.
You don't have to, but you
I
just
thought for
chose
some reason
to.
you have
No,
to.
most people don't.
Okay.
Most people don't really know what the Fifth Amendment is. The Fifth Amendment is your right to not say anything that will incriminate you in a crime. So that's why if you're testifying,
Yeah.
you have the right to not incriminate yourself in another crime.
Right.
So therefore, you plead the Fifth. So by pleading the Fifth is almost like, why don't you just say no?
Yeah.
I didn't. And then it's like-
I know. Well, once keep going, and then you'll see. What,
So earlier in the trial, Furman testified that he had not used the word nigger. I'm allowed to say that. African descent. Just saying. Within the last 10 years. It's such a loose question. I love that.
I know.
The last 10
I
years,
know,
Furman.
right? So remember, that was at the beginning. At the
Yeah.
beginning, they said, "Did you do this in the last
And he,
10
and he
years?"
said no.
No.
He said no to that. Why did you say no to tampering with the
Yeah,
evidence? What the fuck? He's like, they'll never know what I said. Idiots. Which proved later to be perjured testimony with the admission of the tapes. His recorded words, as well as his denial, was a major blow to the prosecution's case. So he was probably at some like backyard barbecue, just like dropping N-bombs all over the place. Like. So on August 29th, Furman tapes played in court with the jury absent.
Yeah.
Who were the fucking played to then?
Yeah.
To the judge and
Oh,
just, you know what I mean? So that they can hear all the tapes. It was
I
like
see.
14 hours of tapes.
I got you.
And he was being interviewed.
What are these tapes from, by the way? Like,
There's just an interview of years earlier of somebody was writing a script for a movie, and they were interviewing police officers about how they treat
what a
people.
fucking
So
idiot!
he,
This guy's
honestly, it was dark racism. Like it was.
Oh,
like,
it was like he felt it.
yeah,
Like,
no,
it's like-
and
Like
he
you
was
could tell.
like I hate, like
Yeah.
I hate him.
It wasn't a joke thing.
Yeah, like
like
he's
a
like
deep.
yeah,
you know?
deep, like the real deal.
Klansman.
The real. You have to wrangle the animals, and he's talking about
Yeah,
black people
yeah.
and
Wow,
you
what
know,
a Furman, real solid.
But he says it.
stand-up guy.
I think there's a number, and I think he said it like 50 times.
Throughout the interview,
interviews.
50 times.
Yeah.
So wait, was Furman giving testimony for like a Quentin Tarantino movie?
No, it wasn't even testimony. It was like for a screenplay.
Yeah.
It was like a bullshit screenplay.
Well, anyways, so yeah, those tapes
Yeah.
came out. What a tard. You knew you did.
I know.
Like, I haven't said anything. So then Judge Ito rules that the jury will hear 2 excerpts of controversial tapes.
Okay,
That's
so
on the 31st
yeah,
of
so
August.
out of all of those tapes, he ruled that they're gonna play 2 excerpts, and they essentially just showed him perjuring himself and saying the N-word, and then you know what I mean, and that was it.
Yeah,
Basically.
God, this guy
Yeah.
was an idiot.
Yeah. So then Mark Furman appears on the stand and he refuses to answer any question. He
Plead
cited
the
all
fifth
the
for
fifth.
everything.
Everything.
Oh, well, yeah, at that point,
Everything. Yeah.
I'm not going to make the same mistake and say,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
ruin my own reputation.
So September 7th, the defense announced that Simpson will not testify on his own behalf. And September 11th.
I think that was probably a smart play by
Yes.
his
Super
by
smart
his
play.
lawyers. They were, don't you fucking dare.
Don't you dare speak.
Don't you
no
shut
speaking.
your mouth. He probably wanted to too. So, no, let me. I trust me. I got this.
So the defense rests September 11th, 1995.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
I think not.
Yeah. So both defense and prosecution rest their cases. In a statement to judge waiving his right to testify, OJ said, "I did not, could not, and would not have committed this crime."
I mean, could not. I mean, he had the means. He was in the area.
September 26th, Marsha Clark and Darden deliver their prosecution closing arguments. The next day, Johnny Cochran deliver his defense, the closing arguments. And Cochran, I watched his closing arguments, and he goes hard. Yeah, he goes hard on
Furman.
Furman and the police. He compares Furman to Adolf Hitler in his closing speech.
Shit.
I mean, that's a little much because Adolf Hitler murdered 6 million
I had the same
people.
thing. I like your speech, and then he said that, and what the fuck?
I mean, you could have like
real?
He's like the fucking Klansman back in the that's a more
That would
suitable.
have been, yeah.
I didn't like it, but
Because Hitler is the only piece of shit who's that big of a piece of shit. Like, come on, let's be real.
so then his famous words are in there, and some people say this is what resonated in the minds of the jury, and it was, "If it doesn't fit, you must
Let's
acquit."
acquit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Famous words.
Famous words.
But it's the worst piece of evidence.
I know.
I know,
I
but
know.
it's just
the lousiest piece of
It's a nice
evidence.
jingle, though.
Yeah, and it just starts
Yeah.
carrying weight. It
You know?
starts taking a
know.
life
Yeah.
of its own.
Like, damn,
Sunday.
that shit fucking rhymed.
Yeah.
That was the original. That was the first
Yeah.
rap lyric.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. She leave.
If it don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah,
I know it's true. It's like the jingle.
it's a jingle.
Yeah, it's
a
fucking
jingle.
like O'Reilly.
Why do we know that? You know, we know that.
I've never forgotten that shit.
Okay,
never,
so
never will.
So September 29th, 1995, the case then goes to the jury to deliberate.
I wonder
Okay.
how long did it take him to deliver
So
this shit.
the trial was 8 months. So
Imagine getting paid minimum wage.
everybody thought
sequestered.
everybody thought they were gonna go and they were gonna at least take a couple days.
Yeah.
So they went on vacation. They went to Catalina Island. They
Catalina wine
They went
mixer.
all these different places, and 4 hours. They deliberated for 4 hours.
Really?
See, that's ridiculous.
I would have
4
thought,
hours.
I thought you were going to say 4 weeks.
Me too.
You can't even go over if you were in the jury and you were
I
like,
can't even discuss
We
all
can't
the
even
information.
finish this podcast in 4 hours.
you can't.
That's 3 hours with the podcast.
Yeah, that is the best point I've ever heard. So
How long it takes us to get 1 hour of content is mind blowing.
So literally the next day, the jury comes out, and you guys have all seen it. You've seen the end where it's we the jury find Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of
But the thing is, like,
murder.
fucking 4 hours. That's absurdly
Isn't that
fast.
crazy?
No.
Why?
That's absurdly
Why?
fast.
I saw one interview with.
were
Actually,
pro-
I saw 2 interviews. Not a lot of the jurors spoke later, like about.
I bet not. They probably felt guilty. They're like,
But 2 of them did, and one of them said that it's not that they didn't believe that he didn't do it. They didn't believe the prosecution proved it. That was the quote from one of the jurors. Because you have to be 100% in a criminal murder trial.
Right,
you have to
right.
be all 12
Beyond
of
a
those
reasonable
guys.
doubt.
Beyond a reasonable, all 12 of them have to say yes.
Yep.
I just think that
that
and
was
that's why I
one.
thought it would have taken so long. It's like
No,
everybody needs to be
at
on,
least one person would be like, let's take dinner.
Like,
Let's
let me
take
just,
dinner.
I gotta poop. and then we're gonna reconvene, and then we'll discuss this.
Think about this. No.
Yeah. Hector, let's get some coffee. I don't know, Hector. Sorry.
It's probably
So
guy
then
actually
the other person who interviewed said that they believed that it was revenge for Rodney King,
believe what was revenge for Rodney King?
That they let him off.
letting him off.
Revenge to the cops for
Yeah.
what happened to Rodney King.
Oh,
The cops got acquitted.
the other juror.
Right,
said
right.
The
that?
black man now got acquitted.
That's right.
The little thing about that is Rodney King didn't die.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Rodney King did get decapitated
Yeah.
and stabbed 50 fucking times.
Yeah, but remember, it was
Can't we
3
all
years
just get
before.
along?
It was 3 years right before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And there was still so much tension going on. So that could be a thing. That could
2
be a
years,
thing.
actually.
Oh, okay.
2 years, yeah.
I just-
yeah, I know your
See,
point.
that's why I'm telling you. At 4 hours, that's ridiculous. With the amount of evidence
No,
against him,
that's
it is
ridiculous.
I know, that's
fucking
ridiculous.
impossible.
I
4
agree.
hours. The trial took
I
fucking 8
agree.
months.
I agree.
Fucking 4 hours
I agree.
later.
At least grant them the time to consider it.
Yeah.
Even think of Nicole and Ron. Maybe we should take the weekend, jurors.
No, they don't give a
You know
shit
what I
about.
mean?
No one gives
they're
a shit about
yeah.
them.
They're like, we want to go.
I know. That's,
Yeah, they were probably
We're
like,
out.
"It's
My
been 8
thing is like,
months."
I guarantee
Get me
they were
outta
like
here.
they were so over it. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, he's innocent. Let's get the fuck out of here. And what's even probably more fucked up is they were probably just like, let's flip a coin. 50-50. Let fate decide. Fate will decide. Oh, and tell James.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty atrocious, and they should be ashamed of themselves, honestly, the
It's
jurors.
just like, yeah, even just as imagine being the family members of Nicole and
know.
and the other guy.
Ron?
Really,
I know.
like you could have.
Even Ron wasn't even part of it.
He was just a waiter.
know.
He was being a good
Like,
Samaritan.
just-
Here's your glasses.
Oh, God, the worst.
Fuck.
So there you go. So he was acquitted, and when it happened, there was celebration in the streets, and it was this roar of
I don't remember
justice.
that. Wow. okay.
Yeah, justice for OJ, and you know what I mean?
Well,
like
see,
it was
this
like
is-
a whole thing.
I think this is where this type of stuff it starts to overshadow basic humanity.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm in no way condoning like what happened to Rodney King. It was fucking bullshit. They should have, and those guys getting off is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like the classic adage: two wrongs don't make it right. Oh, it's not some sort of victory that you quit OJ.
Yeah,
he's on
no,
trial
it's just-
he's on trial for murder. Try him as
Yeah.
Try him as a human who's on trial for murder.
Yeah.
Who's a fuck if he's black or white or brown or
Right.
Indian? Who gives a shit?
Right.
Handle things as they are. Handle that LAPD problem as its own situation.
Right.
Those guys should go to jail. But I don't know, I feel like this is
The riots were enough to get their revenge.
to me, it's like political warfare. This political warfare shit, and it keeps happening. It keeps fucking happening.
And it's wild to me that the prosecution fucked up so bad.
It's
Wild.
crazy.
Right? Okay, I'm just going to do a quick recap here.
All the fuck ups.
You have a ex-husband who was charged with abuse.
Yep.
Called 9 times.
9 times.
9 times for abuse.
Pictures of her battered to shit.
in the hospital, pregnant.
Right? Okay. Big man.
And the 9th time, it was documented by the
Yeah,
LAPD,
that's right.
right? That
That's
she
right.
was saying he's going to kill me.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no alibi.
Nope.
None.
Yep.
Can't account for his whereabouts. Right?
His blood in his
Rage.
Bronco.
Yeah.
There's blood everywhere.
He's got a cut on his hand.
Homie
his-
was stabbed 70 fucking times.
There's blood in his Bronco. There's blood leading to his steps.
to his house, yeah.
Blood in the seat, the bottom of his car, right? And it's Nicole's blood and Ron's blood and his blood.
His blood's at the scene. His blood's at the murder scene.
The glove is at his house,
Yep.
Literally
2 miles away.
covered in blood.
Soaked in blood.
Soaked. It's soaked.
In his house, he has blood on his socks in his room.
It's like,
Okay, we're not even done. Then he writes a suicide note because he can't deal with it anymore.
yeah. With
Smiley
smiley
face.
face. Then proceeds to
Christ.
not show up to when he's supposed to remand himself to court.
Then he runs.
Yeah.
He runs. And he says he's going to kill himself or whatever. But in reality, he's got cash, passports, disguises,
It's disguises.
and he's got a getaway driver.
He's got disguises. I know the best part. I forgot about the fake mustache.
The fake goatee.
Who is he supposed to be? Hello. I know. My name is Juan.
Then we haven't even gotten
Norbert.
into it, and this is next. This is next episode. He wrote a book called "If I Did It."
Yeah, but that was after. We're still
I
talking.
know,
right now,
but
we're
I'm
still
just
talking about
that's
how
true.
the hell can
That's
this
true.
jury?
That's true. At that moment,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It
true.
just- it's-
There's just so much evidence.
It's just such a
That's
slam
just so
dunk.
much evidence.
It's just such a. I think the biggest mistake is allowing Furman to be.
Furman fucked it up,
Furman
right?
fucked it hard.
They
if
just
Furman
fucked it up. That's
because
if Fur-
he's the guy who found the
If
glove.
Furman wasn't
and
involved,
so-
I don't think. I
You don't
think
think it would've happened?
I think they would have had a much harder time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
So is that just bad luck? Is that just bad luck that Furman happened to be the guy who found the glove?
No, I think it's that's why I think the LAPD was so fucked at the time.
Yeah, they were
if it
all-
wasn't Furman, it would have been some other piece of shit guy.
Yeah, that's
and then
true. That's
they,
a good point.
They look into their background, and then you just can't believe.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
but somebody else wouldn't have been on tape for hours talking about dropping the N bomb.
black
Sergeant Coons. You know?
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
You know what to do with them blacks? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Crazy.
How did you not remember you did that?
He knew.
And then it's just
You said
please-
the N word the last time. Of course not.
Yeah.
Have you tampered with evidence? I plead the fifth.
And then what did he have, like 4 hours of dropping the N-bomb on tape?
It's like, oh my god.
and then
wasn't
it's
like
the
he just
fifth, and then it's the
randomly-
fifth straight from there,
Yeah.
so it makes you look even
He's
worse.
like, yes.
And
They just messed it up. They
messed
fucked
it
it
up.
up.
I do
man.
think,
they
like-
fucked it up. And I think the jury, basically like what they said, is they didn't prove it. Okay, fine.
I've actually formulated some new
That being
opinions
said, if
that
I
we'll
was
talk
part of
about
that jury,
episode
I would
three.
still be no.
Let's talk about it for more than 4 hours.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend. Let's just make him seem like it's like a legit.
What if?
You can't even watch Lord of the Rings in 4 hours.
You can watch 1.2 movies of Lord of the Rings.
Insane. Anyways. All right, well, that's...
Let's end up part
part
two.
two.
Part three is
So part three. Part three, we're going to go into If I Did It. It's the book that he wrote about his quote-unquote, if he did do it, this is how he would have done it.
it is the most brazen shit.
It's so retarded.
It's so ridiculous.
It was one of the hardest books I've ever gotten through. Not because of how riveting it is and how horrible it is, but how much bullshit it is.
It's just such bullshit.
Then we also have his other trial, his civil trial, and his robbery trial that he went to jail for.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
And then
he like robbed himself.
yeah, and then actually, and then the conspiracies.
Yes.
So thanks, guys.
Yes.
Make sure to tune in on the next one.
Yes. Please tune in. Leave your comments. Love to hear your thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Conspiracy Podcast. We are doing part 3
Tres.
of our OJ saga, or what do you
Yeah,
call it?
O.J. Simpson saga.
I think it's
yeah.
a saga. 'Cause anything more than the trilogy is a saga.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And it's lasted 30 years. Jesus.
The epic.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, we're happy you're here.
We've gotten a lot of good feedback on the last couple episodes.
Yeah, appreciate the
So,
listens.
you know, should be good.
Get my
Got some
mom-
press too.
Get my
Got some press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple news stations picked it up, and
Maybe ABC
I'll
Columbia, holla back.
Couple of small towns.
Yeah.
You know,
Columbia's not that small.
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina,
Yeah. All right. All right.
It's all right.
That's all right.
It's no New York, but you know.
We're about to lose all our Columbia listeners.
I know, they're like, I fucking hate these guys.
Okay, so what did we cover in part 2? So that was the trial, right? That
Yeah.
was that was...
We went over, obviously, the
glove didn't fit.
The glove,
Yeah.
Cochran.
Furman.
Oh, yeah, Furman. God,
Furman.
idiot.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying the N word. Not one time.
And the jury, the 4-hour
Oh,
deliberation.
4 hours. I still can't get over that. I thought about that for like a long time after we finished. I was like, 4 hours? You know what?
I would have been insulted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even finished a conversation with my wife over 4 hours. Like,
I'm still in an argument for 4 hours.
like, seriously. 4 hours.
4 days.
What'd you say,
4 years.
what'd you say last time?
What?
We can't even get through a
Lord of the Rings.
podcast.
Yeah.
No, a podcast
Podcast
episode.
episode.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
But-
so he got acquitted.
Yeah.
So celebration in the streets.
That's another thing.
You know.
Celebration in the streets.
Well, we were
the
going
fuck
over that
outta
in the
here.
last episode because it was so close to the
Oh, the LA riots.
yeah, the LA riots but what was it was the LA riots, but what is it? It was because of that.
Oh,
What's his name?
Rodney King.
Rodney King, yeah.
So everything was still fresh there, and
But it'd be a little bit different if it was for something really good for African American people.
That's
Right.
what they,
You know,
that's
like
what it
something
was
like
thought, though, right?
well,
like,
it was like
we
it's-
won gold in the Olympics.
No, but it was justice. Finally, I don't know.
Yeah.
but the irony is
That
not
it's not
justice.
justice
I
at
know,
all.
right?
It's anti-justice.
The system failed.
Do you think it was a step back?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
totally think anything where you're glorifying the murder of a person and the person gets off and you're only happy just because it was a black person that got off or a white person or a Mexican or an Asian.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what any time. I think that in and of itself is weird.
Yeah.
So after the verdict, polling was done, and it showed that 75% of white Americans thought he was guilty, while 70% of African Americans thought he was innocent.
Really?
So
This is at the time of the verdict.
it's a pretty thick divide there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So 75% of white Americans thought he was guilty. 70% of African Americans thought he was not guilty.
That's crazy.
I would have not guessed
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So at the end of this episode, I will read you what today's poll is.
Today's, and I wonder how many people they actually
crazy,
poll,
right?
like especially
Yeah.
when they do these polls. Like,
Oh, that's
you
a
know,
good
they're-
point. That's
They're
a good
only
point.
taking like
Yeah.
a sample size, maybe like 1,000, 10,000 max. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to see how they're. I love how they generalize
Like
1,000 white people,
Yeah.
90% of white people, and that's
You know, that's why they get the election polls so wrong.
I know they're so wild.
Because they go, oh, yeah, okay, I was in Baton Rouge and I did 100 surveys.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like
okay,
this
well,
neighborhood, one neighborhood.
Yeah,
That's why statistics can be skewed so easily.
Yeah. So in 1996, after the criminal trial, in 1996, Fred Goldman and Sharon, the parents of Ron Goldman and Lou Brown, the father of Nicole Brown, they filed a civil suit against Simpson.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and so it was a wrongful death suit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
They had a different judge. It was a whole different trial,
Yeah.
right? The judge was named Hiroshi Fujisaki.
Yeah.
So, and the purpose of the trial is what? To get money? Because
civil suits are for money. Yeah.
You're not going to go to jail for this. Right?
Well, he
It's not-
can't.
It's
he
not a
can't.
criminal.
It's double jeopardy.
Exactly.
He cannot go to.
Yeah.
He cannot go to prison for the same crime.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Also, in the civil suit, you're suing the individual. You're not. It's not the state versus O.J. Simpson.
right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
true.
That's
Right?
very true. Yeah.
So it's
like
Ron.
it's the city prosecutor
Yes.
who's against that. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Fred and Sharon versus O.J. Simpson.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah. So in this, completely different than the trial before. So the judge didn't allow cameras.
It also took the jury 42 minutes.
The jury was not sequestered.
Oh, they
Right,
could just
so-
do whatever they
yeah,
want.
yeah.
No one cared.
It was in a different county. It was in Santa Monica, and they were not. The defense was not allowed to use the racism angle of the LAPD versus. You know what I mean?
I wonder how that works. Like, why not? That's part of their. It was part
Well,
of
I think-
their defense. I mean, it was part of what actually happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I just
I
wonder.
I agree, but I don't know.
that's the argument, right? Is does that prove innocence or guilt?
It's-
How you believe in things.
Right.
So if you're a kid, okay, I shoot him. I shoot Sean.
Yeah.
You're watching, right? Okay, I shoot him. You're watching. You're the star witness.
Okay.
Okay, so is it correct for me to dig into your entire life and see where you stand in your politics, for example?
If you're defending me, I would want you to do that. I would want
Okay.
my lawyer to do that.
well, no, obviously
Okay.
the whole point. The
The whole point
of
though
it-
is, did you see it though?
yeah. And see, the whole point
Yes,
is like,
yes.
So if you're a liberal, it doesn't mean you didn't see
Yeah, but-
someone get killed.
the murder.
Okay, that's true. Yes.
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah,
Jorge,
you're right.
Jorge, stop thinking as a defendant. Jorge's like, but I don't want to go to jail. Like, hell yeah, dig into his background. Like,
Yeah.
Put him on trial, dude.
exactly.
Put him on the stand.
Anyway, so that's just the differences. I know, it is debatable, and you're not wrong. There is that. You're right. I mean,
I could
like
see
for
the
example,
no cameras.
you're also doing the credibility of a witness. So like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's
So
part of it.
if you're a crack addict, you lie constantly, and you are just a bad person.
Yeah.
As a jury member, I might go, hey,
Maybe they're lying again.
maybe he's lying again.
Right.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
there-
there is that.
I agree.
But
I-
racism might not.
I do agree that that is an important factor, but I don't think it's weird that matters so much, but just the evidence. And I think they were,
Yeah.
And I think the reason that it was probably not used for this because obviously in the criminal trial they were going with the physical evidence that was there, and since he was the cop, they were trying to spin it as if he could have manipulated that
And
evidence.
planted it,
Right.
yeah.
So that's why I think probably why.
Yeah.
Like in the
Yeah.
civil case, or we don't care.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a thing as opposed to
Right.
in
The
there he's like
actual
he could have
physical
he could
evidence of-
technically he could have picked up the glove.
Yeah.
He could have moved it over there. He could have wiped a little blood on it.
Yeah, it's true. So it's weird. Also, you have to take into account the prosecution were different people then. In the criminal court or case, they were just different people and they had a different strategy. They did different things.
True.
They messed up.
Oh God.
They just messed up.
Monumental.
Right? So a couple things of note. You remember when we went over what they found in the Bronco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A cash.
Yeah,
the
the
mask,
disguise,
Colt
like,
45. Yeah,
disguise.
the
passport.
fake mustache.
The defense in the first trial didn't bring that as evidence.
Oh my God, are you kidding? The first thing I would
What?
say, he literally had 8 G's.
Yeah.
A fucking disguise.
This
his
is not
passport.
a person that's, this is a person that's trying to get away, yeah.
So strategically, they didn't. Do you see what I mean? So I don't know. It's like the coach tried a different thing there. Don't pass it to Steph. I don't know. They just didn't.
They just put stuff on the bench.
Yeah,
we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Look,
Steph, you're on D.
we're up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah.
Fuck it. This is rest of starters.
So I don't know. So a lot of different things were not put into it. The other thing was, so you remember the shoe print? They found a bloody shoe.
Yeah, it was like lead on the walkway.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the walkway to.
So they found in the criminal trial that it belonged to a Bruno Magli shoe, right? A type of shoe.
Sounds
And
like
they only made like 200 of these.
Sounds like a
shoes.
nice fucking shoe. Bruno Magli sounds deluxe.
They only made like 200 of these shoes, so it was very
a small list.
Specific.
And
Yeah.
OJ bought 42 pairs.
yeah, and he's a 6'3",
Giant
man, right? So it's not he's wearing 10 and a halves, right? Okay, so they found photos of him at a football game doing commentary wearing the shoes.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
The shoes.
The Bruno Maglis.
Yes. And he said in an interview, I would never wear those shoes because they're ugly ass shoes. I would never wear those shoes.
Unless I was on TV. And then I would wear
So
those
in the first court case, they never put the photo of him wearing the shoes.
We should
They sucked.
we should be
That's what it was.
we should be
You
prosecutors.
see, you see they just did the strategy and the whatever. They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so so this was then included in the civil trial,
I see.
Right.
right? Okay. Also, OJ took a polygraph test.
Which is not admissible in
You
court.
mean,
Yeah.
the second time or the first time?
He actually did it the first time,
Yeah.
but they didn't put it into the criminal case.
Because it's not admissible in court.
I know, but they did put it here
didn't know
as
Oh, just
just
fly.
to show.
Yeah.
Like he failed so as much as you could fail.
Like the whole time, it's like, it's like it's just going crazy. Is your name OJ? It's like, yes. And then it's like, did you kill your wife? Of course not.
So results from the polygraph test, the note says that Simpson had extreme deception.
So pretty much, he's without saying it, he's
100%
lying.
liar.
He's full of shit.
He was like
The technical
I
term.
could imagine he was,
Technical term, 100% liar.
100%.
but like you said,
It's not admissible in court because
Yes.
it's not a science.
it's not.
It's
they could have had
you
a
could be
stomach ache.
you could be
and-
nervous. Yeah, you get the
yes.
shits.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't really know, but I'm just taking the things that were included in the civil trial that were not included in the criminal trial.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
Furman did not testify.
Oh, fucking
Oh.
fancy that.
Yeah. So
Well, I plead the fifth.
I saw that one.
Plead the fifth.
They knew what he was going to say the whole time. Yeah.
I love black people.
So Simpson did testify.
Oh, really? On this one he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like have a couple fake tears in there? Ooh.
So it's kind of hard to know because they didn't film it.
Oh shit, that's right.
True.
So there's a lot of drawings and things like
Oh,
that. but-
like the caricatures.
yeah. Court artists.
Who gets that job? It's like,
Yeah.
That's when you know you've like hit rock bottom. You're like, I'm a court artist. So
They probably make bank, man.
oh,
Like,
they should probably do get paid. I'm talking shit and they like make
know,
more
right?
than I do.
Do you think they go from like Venice Beach
to like drawing
Santa
the
Monica
O.J.
Court?
Simpson
I was
trial.
thinking more like they go from Disney doing characters to like then do. Hey, that's a pretty good picture.
I
you got
think
there.
the Disney ones are the top, right? The artists.
No.
No, God no. They're doing caricatures, bro.
Yeah.
It's not like they're doing like
Whoa, are we talking about getting paid or skill? We're talking about getting
oh,
paid.
getting paid. Disney's probably they're probably getting paid. Everything at Disney is expensive.
True.
Have you gotten a water from Disney? Fucking $400. True. It's like retarded.
So in this trial, they also did these interviews with OJ, and they're kind of interesting to watch. Where he had to go and he had to get grilled by the attorney who actually knew how to interrogate somebody.
Oh wow, attorney who's actually good at his job.
Yeah. So compared to the detective who did it,
Yeah.
all
We know
that
you
time
did it.
ago.
Ah!
Yeah.
The detective and the freaking state
Prosecution.
the prosecution.
Yeah.
District attorney.
Yeah, they
So-
Jesus,
They
they
sucked.
fucked it up. But
Yeah.
anyways,
What?
He took the stand in his first trial, right?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I was
he
like,
didn't.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, how did I miss
Yeah,
that?
he didn't. So in this one he did, and the only thing we can take from it because we weren't there and we don't have the video is that it was similar to I was told it was. I wasn't fucking told anything.
I was told by my research.
First off, we're gonna delete that. I wasn't told a goddamn thing.
I talked to the judge.
Yeah,
It's like Morimoto, whatever his name was.
Judge Ito called me. And, no.
Okay.
So what I read was that it was very similar to his interviews that he'd done on camera that was right before the trial by the attorney. Right?
Right.
So in it, he's very much, and this is what we had talked about, where he's very loosey-goosey with how he replies. So
Smiley faces and shit.
yeah. So hey, how did you get that cut on your finger? I don't know, man. I was in Chicago.
I was traveling,
This and that. In golf, we don't know, man. You play golf, you get nicked up here and there.
Hey, I'm
when?
an athlete.
On the
I
golf-
play all kinds of sports all the time.
Yeah,
You get
I
a
don't
little
know.
scratch
You
here
get
and
a
there.
this
You
and
see how
that.
fast I am, brother, man? I could have been running to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you want an autograph?
The Jews don't know when he's nicked up. The Jews don't know.
He talks about himself in the third person as the juice.
Yeah, the Jews don't know.
When the juice gets cut, the juice don't worry about no cuts.
I love how we're progressing ghetto order. Jews don't know. Jews won't know. No, I'm not saying that.
When the juice slanging right, you know.
We squeeze the juice. It's all salty now.
That was like in the bayou. Like it's like fucking.
That was not racist.
No, it's- listen, we all
No offense.
70% of Americans
Yes.
believe that's not racist.
Yeah. So, but in it, so he just kept being this vague thing. And this is when he said, hey, I didn't hit my wife, but I'm responsible for what happened to her
Physically.
bruises.
And that's what I
Yeah.
never
Oh,
understood.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I didn't hit her, but her face. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hit her with a fucking pill. How did you beat the
'Cause
shit?
then-
Like,
then
she's-
the guy
I pushed
goes-
her, but I didn't hit her.
Then the guy goes, did you punch your wife? And he goes, I did not punch my wife. I'm responsible for the situation and the condition that she was in, but I did not punch her.
Did he hire someone to
God.
punch her?
And you're kind of like, it's like a kid.
yeah.
You're like, I watched you take
Yeah.
the candy. I
Yeah.
didn't take it.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
understand
hey, I told you not to take the iPad. I didn't take the iPad.
but I'm
I
responsible.
watched it.
I watched
it, I
the
didn't
iPad.
take it.
I watched it.
It's in my bed right now.
I was like, define take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened. The civil suit, the jury found Simpson liable for the murders and awarded the victims of the families $33.5 million in compensatory and punitive damages.
Oh, did he actually pay it though?
Oh, that's another thing. That's true.
See, it's,
So one thing is winning,
Yes.
and now the next thing is
collection.
Isn't
Yeah,
this,
actually
isn't this
getting paid.
interesting? Like how literally exactly the way he explains what happened with Nicole is exactly what happened in his trial. It's like literally, it's like they find him guilty. He's like, well, I didn't kill her, but I'm responsible
Right.
for her being dead.
Right.
Like
you
it's
got to
like,
pay 35 mil. Well, I got to pay, but like,
But-
you know,
Like,
that,
no,
that's not how we gonna do that.
I got a check hands and a save hands.
It's either way it works.
It counts. I don't know.
You guys are not wrong, actually, because over the next 2 decades, This has been
They've gotten like 60
never
bucks.
ending.
2 decades. Okay. So
this
still
is-
to this day.
This is 96.
shit.
So
like 20 years.
yeah,
Fuck.
literally. So what happens is right after this happened, he filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, there he goes. He's like, wipe my slate clean.
Okay. Then he eventually relocated to Florida, right?
Yeah.
And so Florida, the good thing and or the bad thing about Florida is they have the laws where it protects your pension and it protects your residence.
Oh, so they can't take your, like, you have to
right.
be able to live.
That's right.
Yeah.
And your pension.
Oh,
he
so
had
it's
a
like,
NFL
yeah,
Where
pension?
did he get his pension?
probably from the NFLPA.
NFL.
Yeah.
NFL
Yeah.
pension. So
Yeah.
how much is that?
I don't know.
It,
That's a good
it
question.
depends.
I think it's $100,000 a year for the rest of your life.
It might be something like that because the NFLPA, like they pretty much invest that money for you. So they,
Yeah.
So you have health, you have healthcare,
Yeah.
and you have money for the rest of your life.
That's right. So all of that was then protected, right, from this thing. So now he has. I mean, this is fast forward a little bit too because
Yeah.
he had to sell his
All of his
Brentwood.
all his
He had to sell all
memorabilia.
this stuff.
So,
Yes,
so did he pay
exactly.
some of it?
Okay, so here
Or
we
just
go,
not
right?
all-
So
any of it?
So his remaining assets were seized and auctioned off, with most being purchased by critics of the verdict trial to try to help the plaintiffs recoup the cost of litigation.
Oh wow! So it's like a bunch of rich people who hated him. Like fuck it, we'll buy it. Like,
Yeah. So also, like his Heisman Trophy was sold for $250,000 to
Damn.
an unknown buyer.
but see, who would want that though? Can you like etch off the name?
Yeah.
Just
I
like
know, right?
an undisclosed husband.
But it has been told that 1% was paid to the Goldmans.
1%.
1%.
So that's
300?
300
grand.
grand. Yeah, 300K.
Which the Heisman Trophy was $250,000.
What if? But okay. Really? But it's weird that only 1% was paid, but like just one item sold for almost the 1%.
You know, and what I'm
So
confused
the rest of the
by,
stuff is Facebook Marketplace price.
It's like $7
hell of a discounted. Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace pricing.
Like, all right. I got a 7-ton OJ statue, $9.99.
Pickup only.
Yeah,
Pick up OBO.
yeah. You ain't got Venmo. You don't need to reply.
right. And don't ask me if it's still available.
If the listing's up, it's available. But here's what's crazy, and I don't get it, and maybe one of our listeners who knows more can help us. But if he had to sell his Brentwood home, why did he only give 1% to?
You know what it probably is? Probably the bankruptcy.
So it just went into the pool of the bankruptcy.
So the
and then
bankruptcy,
Oh,
like,
true,
paid all debtors.
yeah, he filed bankruptcy, and then so they're like, oh well, you know, first things first, we're gonna take care of the debts, the debts that he
debts.
owes.
True.
And then he can only pay this remunerative thing out of what he's left with at the end,
Okay.
which is kind of bullshit. But the creditors don't care. They're like, fuck, pay us
yeah,
first.
give me
Fuck,
any-
they don't
yeah,
give a
give
shit.
me
They don't
anything,
give a shit
too.
about the families.
Yeah. Now it became a battle between really the Goldmans and OJ on finding his money and getting paid for it. Now,
Yeah.
the Goldmans did say, specifically the dad, Fred Goldman, specifically said that he didn't do the civil suit for money.
He probably just wanted to prove, like,
Yeah.
He said he was so crushed that nobody acknowledged from a court standpoint, nobody acknowledged that he was liable for the death. Like when it was the not guilty,
Good for
he
him,
was
man. I
so
would have done the same
crushed
shit.
that he's like, I
mean-
know this fucking guy killed my kid
Yes.
and Nicole. And so he's like, the next best thing I can do is get some court of law to say
Acknowledge it at least.
acknowledge it in some way.
I could see that, man. I would do the same thing.
I wouldn't have. I would have pulled a fucking.
Yeah, I would have been like,
I would have pulled a Samuel Jackson from.
Found him in an
what's that
alley, so-
movie? Oh my god, it's so.
Yeah, it's with Matt McConaughey.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
what I would have did. Like AR
Soon,
just
yeah.
in the courthouse. Sorry.
oh,
A
A Time to Kill?
A time to kill. Yeah.
yeah.
God, it's a
Sam
great movie,
Bean.
but it's so fucked up.
So fucked up.
yeah.
The girl's raped, anyways.
Yeah.
Basically, if you haven't watched
That's
the
exactly
movie,
what I would do.
Yeah.
Sam,
100%.
if you haven't watched the movie, Sam Jackson's daughter, who's like 11, gets
Yeah.
raped.
by these two dudes.
Yeah,
Right.
and then they're gonna get
Rednecks.
a lenient. They're gonna get a lenient trial because it's in a white community.
Yeah, and this is like back in
Louisiana
it's in
or
like
something
this
like
is
that?
like kind of back in the day
Mississippi
where it's
or-
yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Yeah,
you know
Mississippi. Yeah.
It was
blacks
like
are
in
still-
the 60s, 70s.
yeah, it's like I think it's like 60s. They're still really mistreated.
Yeah.
He went to like Nam or some shit.
Yeah.
And then he literally kills them in the courthouse.
Yeah, so he just takes it's a little Batman
when they
thing.
got off.
Yeah,
when they were not.
when they pretty much in essence got off. They didn't get off scot-free, but they got super lenient.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he kills him, and then McConaughey gets him off in the end.
Spoiler.
Well, look,
Still,
I'm not trying
I
to.
watched that again.
I'm not trying to leave him with the shitty cliffhanger. Oh, she's
know,
raped,
right?
and they get off. Like, oh, come on, it's a terrible story.
It's very true.
They're just okay. Next podcast. Just click this one off.
Okay, so next we're going to get into the book. And this is a book called If I Did It.
It's just like the worst.
So in 2006, 2007, OJ, some say it was OJ's daughter, but
Let's
it
be
was
real.
probably OJ's idea, which was to write a book called If I Did It. And it was essentially, from his standpoint, and this is what he says. He says, I wanted to tell the story, the real love story between myself and Nicole.
Bullshit.
And also have a slant on it of if it were something that I did do, how I would have done it the night of that I didn't do it.
And he just happened to need some money too.
I know. He's like, just so happened to hard. He's like, he's making a hard play to get that publisher to pay him up front.
Right.
So, because first what he does is he does this interview, and the interview is similar where it was called O.J. Simpson, The Lost Confession. And it was an interview of the hypothetical way that he would have done it if he did do it. Right. And so that's the start of the idea that happened. And so then he brought it to the table and he actually wrote this book with another writer.
Yeah, obviously he didn't physically write it.
Yes, exactly. And it was called If I Did It. And
I think-
so I'm going to go over a few of it because I did read the book. It was
Painstakingly.
it was very, very difficult to do. Also, I felt okay about it because the proceeds of the book purchase actually goes to the Goldmans.
Oh, thank God.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's part of this story. So I didn't really want to, I don't know.
You weren't supporting him. You're supporting the Goldmans.
Yeah. So, okay.
Not that we're biased on this podcast.
No. Listen, we're like a jury.
Very open.
We're like a
We're
jury.
just bringing you guys the facts.
Listen,
Yeah.
this is information.
Yeah. We're very Rogan open.
Yeah. All humans are equal in my mind.
story.
I have no predetermined decisions.
Okay, so the Goldmans found out that he was going to write this book. And the Goldmans were like, fuck this. We're going to stop this. We don't want this book coming out. This is retarded. He is going to make money off of, even if he didn't do it, he's writing a book about what maybe happened that night. Let's just say he didn't do it, right? Let's just say he didn't do it.
I can't even say that. But
I know. But I mean, if,
okay, go.
he was acquitted, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is, like who would write a book on? Well, I didn't do it, but here I think I'm gonna get into how I would do it.
All
Like,
the
what kind of
evidence,
sick
all
fuck
the
would
evidence
do that?
says I did it, but I didn't do it. But if I did,
But if I
do
did,
it,
I want to get into it deep. I'm gonna deep dive
Yeah.
into how I would have killed my wife
I'm gonna give you
and
some
this random
details
waiter.
that only I would know.
I know, right? So, dude, like, what the fuck? Inside the mind of a potential killer that didn't do it.
Damn. All right.
Sorry, continue.
Okay, so it was going to come out, and then Fox owns a lot of different things.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Fox owned the publishing house that was going to release the book. And then they got tons of backlash from people going,
I bet they did.
What the hell?
And a lot of people already
You're
hate
gonna-
the Murdochs.
Yeah, and so actually, though, Murdoch recognized this, and he stopped the book.
Oh, wow. Smart
So,
play.
smart
business sense.
little thumbs up on Murdoch's choice on that, right? Because I agree with that. Okay, good. So,
He was ready to make some money.
Granted,
Tell
he
everybody-
probably
no,
just saw-
originally he thought it was a good idea.
he saw
probably.
he saw the bottom line. He was like, he's a businessman. He's probably like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's squashed it, and then the Goldmans then took OJ to court, and OJ
Again.
yes, for the book rights.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then, also OJ created a shell company.
In the fucking Guam.
Yeah, no, and put his kids as the owners,
Ah.
who were publishing the book.
But it was him.
And so then the proceeds would go to the shell company.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So then the
it's not, so
Goldmans-
it's not his money.
That's right.
It's not my money. You can't
It's the
take it.
kids'
It's not
money.
it's not my money.
Yeah.
It's
The
the kids' money.
kids published the
That's right.
book.
So the Goldman sued him for the rights of the book and the proceeds for anything that it sells.
This guy is just the same game everywhere. I mean, I did it.
Didn't do it, but I did do it.
I did
Yeah.
it. I didn't do it, but I'm responsible.
Yeah.
For, like, it's always the same game.
I didn't make money, but I'm responsible for that money.
responsible for the money.
And I spend it, but it's not my money.
I spend it, but I didn't do it.
Oh, man.
Okay, so they won. They won the rights, and the judge determined that the shell company was a farce created by OJ.
Oh, of course it was.
So that was determined. Okay, so they won the rights. Then what happened is they decided to use it as a confession.
Oh, they were like,
So
great.
they
Now
were like-
everyone will know he's full of shit.
So what they did is they changed it from "if I did it,"
I did it.
and they had to and they had to keep it the same. They were told that it has to. It's this. That's what they won. Was the title was called "If I Did It," right?
They couldn't.
So on the book, it says "I did it" in like 200 font, and then "if" is in literally like 4 font.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go look at the book cover,
I gotta look this up.
yeah, it's so tiny.
that's legendary.
And all it says is "I did it," but per the law, it's "if I did
That's
it."
hilarious. With the ultimate troll, it's like they wrote "if" in like white font.
Oh yeah, dude.
Can't
The
even
dad
see
is
it.
like, "I am never gonna let you go."
Look at that.
It's not a joke. Yeah.
I did it.
Here, I'm gonna show this to the.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And it's Confessions of the Killer.
Yeah. so
Wow.
just, you know.
And it's like the killer
Yeah.
in yellow. Man, they really.
So
did
they
that.
decided to do that, and then in the book, I would say a big chunk of it is a forward by them, and it was telling the story of this and him hiding the money and the Shell Corporation and
Just
the
to
whole
show-
story.
yeah, they're painting the
what's
light of
happened.
the
Yeah,
shady,
exactly.
the shady
Exactly.
shenanigans.
And then there was a part 2 about the person who wrote it with OJ, where he was just saying, "Hey, I gave you dozens of times to change this, and this is what you wrote. So are you sure you want to write this?" Meaning, like, he gave him all the opportunities in the world, because OJ later came out and said, "I didn't really write this myself."
Oh my
know what
God.
I mean?
I'm responsible for it.
There we go again.
Oh
my God.
Exactly.
I didn't write it. He's got
Exactly.
plausible deniability for everything.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay, so one of the biggest changes from what we know as a story of it in the book is that he says there was another guy there.
Yeah.
And he says there was a guy there named Charlie, right? And Charlie alerted him. He went to his house in Brentwood and alerted him that there's some crazy shit going on at Nicole's house.
What's Charlie's last name? OJ? I don't really know. The Jews don't really remember things like that. I'm a first name basis type player.
Yeah. So that's the weird part. And I'm going to read a couple excerpts, right? And
Yeah.
it says Simpson's friend Charlie was the one who alerted him to go to Nicole's house that day. He says, I quote, "I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but he told me you wouldn't believe what's going on there. And I thought, whatever's going on there's got to stop. So according to Simpson, both he and Charlie got into his white Bronco and drove to Nicole's house."
Which is like 1 fucking second away.
Yeah.
It's like literally, it's drove across the street. That's like just walk. Like,
drive
it's
to my
right
neighbor's
there.
house.
Like, I know, it's literally drove into my driveway.
So he says they parked in the nearby alleyway, and Simpson pulled out a knife from under his seat, and he believes that Charlie took it.
Oh, okay.
Okay? He talked about blood and stuff, that there was a scene at the crime, and it reminded him, as things got heated, I just remember Nicole fell, hurt herself, and this guy came out of nowhere and started doing a karate thing. Ron. So Ron was a black belt. Third
he was.
degree. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said, describing the hypothetical moment, he kept saying, "This is hypothetical."
He was like, I just brute forced it. Like, he tried to do some karate shit. I just ran him over.
And so OJ says, "And I said, well, you think you could kick my ass?" And I remember I grabbed the knife.
And I remember.
Hypothetical.
And I hypothetically remember. I remember hypothetically.
And I remember I grabbed the knife. I do remember that portion, taking a knife from Charlie. And to be honest, after that, I don't remember, except I'm standing there and there's all kind of stuff around.
What?
All kind of stuff, but like corpses.
This is I
Then he
wish I
says-
was as good as him when I got in an argument with my wife.
Oh my
How
God.
the hell does he get away with everything? And I'm responsible, but I'm not. Like I knew about it, but I didn't. But hypothetically, I would remember this kind of stuff.
Yeah, my wife's like, you did this. Well, hypothetically, I remember. But
I'm gonna try to pull that one next time.
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if I didn't take out the trash, then this was what,
I didn't do it, but I'm responsible.
So he says, I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I don't.
Why would he hate to say it?
And he says, I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without everybody being covered in blood.
Everyone was covered. What? There was blood
wait,
everywhere.
wait, say that again. Say that
Okay.
again.
I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without being covered in blood. Meaning that whoever murdered them would have been covered in blood.
Yeah, it's called you changed your clothes. You went to your house, which is a fucking like a hop, skip, and a jump away, bro.
But he's saying that there's no evidence that I was not covered in any blood. That's
true.
And the way they were killed, he's saying it would have been everywhere.
Well, yeah, some beheaded. I mean, there's going to be arterial spray fucking all over the place. Like,
Exactly.
True.
but the fact is, he's literally admitting.
but what about the
he's
stabbing,
literally
the
admitting in
other
that
guy?
even without the hypothetical part that he went there, he was doing some karate shit, and then I'd blacked out.
I know. And that's the problem is in the book, there's so many vague things. Who's this Charlie guy?
And also, why would he come over? You wouldn't believe what's going down over there.
Yeah.
There's a waiter over at your girl's house, dog. He brought our glasses. This is fucking
Well,
crazy.
I don't know if you
Let's
remember.
fuck 'em up.
I don't know if you remember, but in the original crime scene, they found candles everywhere in her house. Now they don't know why.
Maybe she was trying to get a
about
little,
to-
like,
yeah,
a
she
little
was
bubble,
about to get
little
down.
bubble bath.
I know. So
She was
there's
about to get down with the
there's
waiter.
theories. No, there's theories of that. There's theories of that.
Good for her.
Or
honestly.
there's also we're three dudes, so we don't know the idea. We're not gonna take a bubble bath with candles, but girls might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Solo,
girls
by
like,
themselves.
They want to.
You don't know. I don't know.
The fresh
You know what I mean?
scent. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
fine.
for our 7 female listeners,
Yeah.
send-
Let us
send
know.
that-
How many candles is the appropriate amount of candles alive?
Do you ever have candles outside of the bathroom? I guess that's the question.
Good question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what
right?
you're saying. If you're gonna take a bath, like you're a chick, right? You're gonna turn on some candles, but all over your house.
Maybe not.
That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
not.
Probably not.
Maybe she just knew.
So solo, it's just the confines of your bathroom.
I would think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
Yeah.
Okay.
and even that doesn't make
But
sense.
not
you know
solo.
How difficult it is to light all
For
those
chicks, it makes
stupid
sense.
Well,
fucking
yeah,
candles?
we're not the right. We're not the right.
The
folks.
demographic for the candles.
We're not the right folks. So then there was a passage in his book where he talks about removing his glove before taking the knife from Charlie. Right? And so then he spoke about it and he says, I have no conscious memory of doing that, of removing the glove, but obviously I must have because they found the glove there.
First of all, those weren't driving gloves, were they? Were they like racing gloves?
They're high-end leather gloves.
But who wears that
Were
to
they
go?
winter gloves or like snow gloves?
They were
It's LA,
They're
so
like,
it's not-
yeah. But my thing is like, why would you? Let's get in the Bronco and go to the house that's a mile away. Let me put my fucking driving
Hold on,
gloves
hold on.
on.
Hold on. Before we take off, let me put on my driving glove.
My hand doesn't touch the fucking peasant steering wheel.
It's kind
the
of weird
Bronco?
because back then it wasn't like a collectible.
No,
You know
it was
what
just
I
like
mean? It was
a
a
car.
Bronco.
Right,
It was
right.
just the Bronco. Yeah.
Whatever.
I gotta pick up.
So OJ went on to describe in detail the process of getting rid of the evidence.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
In detail.
So Simpson recalled having to dispose of the bloody clothes following the hypothetical killing.
I love I recall. Why is he using the word recall?
I hate that.
You're recalling a fake thing.
He says, and you had left your keys and wallet in your pants pocket and you had to go back and get it. Simpson, this is an interview about the book. He says, Simpson's pause. He says, to be honest, I know that to be true, yes. And then Reagan, the interviewer, immediately followed up by asking him whether he believed in heaven and hell and whether he thought he would see his late wife again someday.
Okay, these people suck at interviewing.
I know. Yes, he replied confidently. Hey, look, I've cursed her. I've been to her gravesite. And why? What the hell? Look at these kids. Look at Sydney with no mother. I've done that. I've done that.
What do you say? Like, I've cursed her, or like a voodoo, like
Right.
Just reading what he said.
or is he
I don't know,
like,
you know what I mean?
fuck?
So I mean, essentially,
You ruined my life.
I know, it's like you made me hurt you.
You responsible this time, not me.
So essentially, that is if I did it. I mean, that, a majority of the book he's going on and on about his relationship with Nicole and how they loved each other and how she wanted to get with him even after abusing her and being charged with abuse, with spousal abuse.
It's called Stockholm syndrome. It's like
You think so?
You become sympathetic with your captor.
You think?
I think that.
I think he's lying.
I think that she.
You know what I mean?
That they were in love?
No,
That what?
No, I think that
he keeps saying that she wanted to get back with me and she was trying and she was
I
obsessed
don't know.
with me.
Oh.
No,
You know what I mean?
I thought you
Hell
were
no.
talking about like because it happened so many
Oh, why
times
she
and
stayed.
she
Yeah.
stayed.
Yeah.
Because I think she was afraid, and he had all this power and control, and then she thought
Yeah.
that she had no outlets for help, and she couldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'm just gonna have to take it. I'm fucked.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she had kids. She's probably
That's-
worried about
yeah,
the
that's
kids.
another
Like,
thing.
is he
That's
going to
true.
turn on the kids if I leave? He's going to take it out on them.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Not after the last thing.
And I mean, a lot of stuff has come out about Nicole, and it seems like she was a bit of a party animal.
I'm not saying she's a saint, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, she didn't deserve anything that
No.
we're talking
Oh,
about.
God,
no,
no,
not at all.
no.
But I am just saying that in the book he really just shits on her the whole book.
he tries to make her look like
course.
Yes.
he wants to be the victim.
Yes,
Of course.
yes,
You know,
and
when you
she
do
was
something
obsessed
wrong, you're
with
always
him,
like them.
and he could never have killed her because he loves her so much.
I highly doubt that.
But hypothetically, that's how
I
he
mean,
would have done it.
hypothetically, if I were to
damn.
dispose of the evidence,
Yeah. So now here's the weird part. Okay, he's saying. So here's the theory. And here's my theory. I don't know if it's my theory. I heard it a couple times around the
you were told.
around the blogs.
I was told.
Is that Charlie was some sort of alter ego of himself?
Ooh, that's a great. Like he literally created a persona.
Well, or that's his justification of how he goes evil.
Oh, like Charlie's like angry juice.
Angry juice.
Charlie's angry.
Angry. Yeah, he's like the Hulk.
Like
and then
Chucky.
there's Bruce Banner, and then there, you know what I mean? You have like Dr. Jekyll.
So
and
are
Mr. Hyde.
you saying he's using that to kind of like justify his hypotheticalness or whatever,
Yes.
or are you just saying it unconsciously happens that he has?
Oh
this
no,
alter
no,
ego?
it's his just fire.
Yeah. Or he's just making it up, and I can't say that I killed her.
Or
So here's my gay,
Okay,
and it's me.
hear
In
me out.
rage. I don't know. You
Hear
know what I
me
mean?
out.
I'm kind of just
That's
chatting about.
fucking-
I mean, that's really the end of the book. It doesn't really shed any new, I guess, light. I guess it does show what he is presenting to us as the possibility of what happened. So now, okay, so we're done with the book, really. But why would he put forward this in any way? Like, why would he put this forward?
well, before you said that they got the rights and that they were getting the money, I was like, okay, well, yeah, he obviously
wants
needs
money.
He just needs some money. He doesn't need attention, not especially this kind of attention.
I think he's a narcissist. I think he's just a fucking.
So years
he
went
just
by and
wanna,
he's like, now
rub it in
he's-
everybody's face how he would get away with it. Like
double-
if he did it,
He's all into the double jeopardy. He's never going to get charged again. Kind of.
Oh, he
thing.
knows. He knows he can't go to prison for it. He knows, and I think it's the only people like that. And you'll see it too. You'll see like how like, I'll give you an example. Like Madonna. Obviously, Madonna's different because she's obviously a superstar, but she kind of died out for a little bit, and then like she comes back and she's doing the weird Vanity Fair shit with like the demonic shit. Like she's just trying to be relevant. I feel like maybe obviously for money, but also it's just trying to be relevant again. He was the king of the world, fucking Heisman, fucking Hall of Fame, and then he was, I like being famous. Some people like being
yeah,
famous.
but what's the play? He's just gonna get famous and then he's gonna start getting endorsements? No,
I mean,
nobody's gonna.
Look at him today.
He's living his
No,
he's living
not.
his
He's
fucking
not.
best life right now.
He's not getting endorsements.
He's
is
getting
he?
free. He's getting free meals at country clubs.
I don't know. How's he hiding the money now?
Maybe still through his kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
We'll
he's
take
got-
that up in a bit.
what
We'll
money?
take that in a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
gonna
What
get-
money? Yeah, he's
He's still broke.
living on that pension.
I know, but he's still,
pension.
those pension affords
Yeah.
him a couple margaritas.
So do you think that what his story and If I Did It brought any new maybe that's how it happened? Or do you think he made up everything? You know what I mean?
I think he added. I
Or
think
was
he
it
He did not
actually
make
a
up everything.
was it actually what happened?
I think he probably put in some truth.
No, both.
But
But
that-
I say no
yeah.
to both. Go ahead.
I think he put in some truth, but then just tried to make it even more confusing than it already was.
Yeah,
Like he's just literally just trying to
Sprinkling in
Yeah.
bullshit.
like this Charlie bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that's just
I think
adding,
the Charlie thing is
adding
bullshit.
confusion so that it's kind of I'm gonna hide in the truth. You
Yeah,
know, hide in the
I can
confusion.
finally get
hide
my
the truth in the confusion.
Yeah.
finally get his confession off, but he's still. But there's all these other things, and so people are like, maybe he is innocent
Right.
because he can't even make up this.
But
he
he
can't
can-
he can't even confess right. It's just like even his confessions. all
It's so
fucked up.
How
weird.
does he
He-
hypothetically recall? This is just
That's what he
this
doesn't.
still
He,
piss me
he doesn't
off.
understand the definition of recall.
I know, what a slimy, right?
Piss
It's
me
actually
off.
evil.
Yeah.
It's evil. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna hypothetically recall some shit. I promise you.
I hypothetically
I'm gonna.
recall. Yeah.
I'm gonna like someone's gonna.
That's going to be the new line.
Yeah.
I'm going to hypothetically
I'm
recall.
gonna fuck something up at work. I'm like, well, I hypothetically recall you telling me to do that, but in the reality, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Okay, so we're going to fast forward a little bit. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this before, but he was involved in a robbery in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But did he like rob? Sorry, you're probably getting
Yeah,
to
I'm
it
going
here.
to tell you the whole
Yeah.
story, right?
Tell us the
So
story.
I'll tell you the story. It's not like a long story, really, but
It's a short story.
essentially, and we go back to the beginning, which is all his shit was sold.
Yeah, in
Auctioned
the,
off.
auctioned
in the,
off.
in the
Raise some money.
bankruptcy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bankruptcy.
That's right. And in an effort
To pay his
That's
legal
right.
bills.
Now, what's interesting is all our shit, like, I have a football in my garage. It's worth $6.
It's probably worth. It's actually probably worth nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Facebook Marketplace, $1.99.
It's just free. Just pick up.
Yeah. But you got to realize he was a superstar. And so everything in his garage from his playing days
Oh yeah, it's all worth
is
money.
worth tons of money.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely.
So it became an asset on his balance sheet.
Every possession, pretty much.
Pretty
right?
much every possession.
This is my
right?
pair of underwear.
Now,
Yeah.
but here's OJ's argument. OJ thinks that it's sentimental. So your pictures of your kids is sentimental. That's you. That's worth. How much would you pay for your picture of your newborn daughter?
Oh,
The
dude,
last
I
one,
st-
let's
I
say.
That's it. The last one.
I'd steal it. I'd totally rob
So
somebody
his
for that
argument.
shit.
So his argument is that it's more valuable to him because it's his. It's the football that he got the first touchdown on.
Oh, I thought you meant
His argument. He doesn't have an
No,
argument.
I
There's
know.
a
No,
fucking
I'm just
legal-
telling you.
They
There's a
sold it.
legal stance.
I
there.
know. I'm just telling you what his argument is.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's like, no, you don't understand. I know that they already paid money for it, but it's more important to me. I love that.
You don't deserve it.
Like,
Like,
look
I
at-
deserve
yeah.
it.
Like,
Like,
your money is more important to me, so I'm gonna take it because I care more about your money.
So here's what he did.
Give it to me.
Is he heard that a sports memorabilia dealer was in Vegas who had a bunch of OJ stuff, and he heard that he was trying to sell it. and
Fucking fire sale.
he set up. I don't want to call it a coup, but like he set up almost like a sting, where he had a guy pretend that he was a buyer, and he wasn't OJ.
I got cash.
But it was somebody who was super into OJ memorabilia, and they wanted to meet him in the hotel and see all the stuff on the bed and buy all the shit from him.
yeah.
First things first, folks. Don't sell shit at hotels and like invite people into your bedroom.
Essentially, what happened is he went in there, and he went in with a guy, not a bouncer, but a muscle guy, a security guy, and he went in and he barged his way into a tiny room.
This is OJ, right?
Yeah, OJ, at the Palace Station Hotel in Vegas. And I don't know if you've been to a Vegas cheap hotel room. They're very
they're
tiny.
tiny.
They're small.
Very tiny. Okay.
Because you don't really spend a lot of time in there.
That's true. That's true.
So imagine 9 6-foot dudes
Like in a room
in a
that's
room.
the size of like this
right?
table.
Yeah. And so one of the guys, which is on OJ's team, brought a gun. And OJ pumped him up at the beginning and said, "This is my shit."
Get that gun ready, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and he was
Ride or
like,
die.
out of his team, he found out that he was a licensed conceal and carry guy.
Yeah.
So
and
he's
and
like-
Ve- and
he's
Vegas
like-
is super loosey goosey on that.
Yeah, so he was
Doesn't
okay,
matter.
good. So you're the one who's going to bring the gun in. You're going to be the muscle. and blah blah blah.
Well, just because you can carry doesn't mean you can flash it around and
Right.
threaten people.
No, that's right.
It's like,
Yeah, that's
licensed.
Yeah, you're licensed.
Licensed to threaten with a gun.
So you come with me and you fucking
You shoot him.
Flash
You're
it.
licensed motherfucker.
So they entered the room. They entered the hotel room, and Simpson said, "Don't let anybody leave." Then the other guy pulled the gun. So
Instantly.
so you have Simpson's guy holding a gun, and then Simpson saying, "Don't leave the room." Okay?
to the cellar.
To the cellar.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, good. So then Simpson said, "Grab it. Grab all the stuff." So they started putting all the stuff in a bag that was all on the table. Now, half of it was OJ memorabilia.
The other half's like
Half
other
of it
shit.
was like Pete Rose autographs.
Oh, dude, I want
a
that.
bunch of other
Yeah.
stuff.
I love
right?
Pete Rose.
So it also then no longer became his own stuff.
Now it's like grand larceny.
Now he's stealing grand theft. You know what I mean? And all that sort of thing. Okay, good. Joe Montana stuff, and they just put it into pillowcases. And all in all, it was a 6-minute thing. It happened in 6 minutes. And then he left. Woohoo, that was crazy. Oh,
It's like,
Yeah.
Needless to say, we have like a witness who's it was OJ who did it.
and little did OJ know, somebody had a recorder recording the whole room.
Oh shit.
It's literally it's
So
like
this is
he
not-
probably announces himself. I am Orenthal James Simpson. Give me my memorabilia.
This is not a witness thing. This
It's
is
like on camera.
On camera.
Yeah.
And video or
It's
audio.
probably even in the hallways they've got cameras
Yeah,
too.
that's
So it's
true,
like
that's
him
true.
leaving with goons, and he's like probably smiling.
Yes. So he denied everything.
They're like,
I'm responsible for it, but I wasn't
Yes.
carrying the pillowcase.
Now, I recall hypothetically I wasn't responsible.
Look, I went to have a conversation. Those large gentlemen followed me into the room. I did not instruct anyone to steal it.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's basically what happened. I mean,
So
I watched the whole documentary
got
on it.
arrested, right? Then he
That's
got
what
he went to
I'm
So
jail.
he got arrested for this, right? And so then he went to court, and at first it was okay. This is an assault charge or whatever. But then the judge they found recordings of it,
And they're like, nope.
and so then you got OJ telling the guy ahead of time on record saying, "Hey, you bring the gun in, you be the muscle." Then they walk in, he pulls the gun, and he says, "Don't leave the room."
Wait. So the recording, I thought you said the recording was in the room.
Audio recording
Oh.
of
okay.
both. Everything's recorded.
Everything.
And
Oh,
it's
shit.
Vegas.
I know, and it's everything's recorded anyways.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
walking to the hallways, walking this.
Oh
They
my
come out with
God.
fucking pillowcases full of
Yes.
shit. Like, fucking,
Of all the places to do this, you do it in Vegas.
it's like might as well do it on live television.
I would. I don't even pick my nose in Vegas.
I know, it's like they're watching.
The eye in the sky.
Yeah, no.
I know, it's like I win like 3 hands in a row. And I'm like start sweating.
out.
I'm like fuck, they're on to me. Like, they're
I know, right?
You win 3 and you think they're gonna take you
I
out
know.
in the back somewhere,
He's
like
won.
beat you up.
He's won $100. Kill him.
Kick him out.
Okay, so in October 3rd, 2008, this is the transcript, the verdict, the sentencing by Judge Jackie Glass. And she was a no bullshit, no holds bar, chick, basically.
It sounds hardcore. Jackie Glass sounds like a fucking superhero.
Like
So
this, Jackie.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read most of the parts. And she just,
laid into
she
him.
gets
She's like,
into
first
it.
things
Yes.
first. OJ, fuck
Drilled
you.
into him. Yeah. First of all, you guilty for Nicole.
Before we get started,
I mean, pretty
read it.
So earlier in this case at a bail hearing, I said to Mr. Simpson, I didn't know if he was arrogant or ignorant or if he was both. And during the trial and through this proceeding, I got that answer. It's both. Now, there's still questions about whose stuff it is. I think that's still in dispute. You thought it was yours. Your counsel said that over and over again to me during the trial and now during the sentencing, as well as you. The tapes, however, in this case indicate to me that you didn't want all of those items to fall into the hands of the Goldmans.
Oh, so wow, that's even shadier.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get paid.
Yeah. You were heard on the tape making reference to them, the Goldmans, as gold diggers. So you put your group together. You went into Palace Station Hotel to get those items back. And what you didn't know, and also Mr. Stewart, who's another guy who's part of his crew,
Yeah.
you didn't know was it was planning to be taped. The event was taped. Phone calls were taped. Conversations were taped. They had videotape of you going in, videotape of you going out, and the party afterwards where you attended was taped. Everything in this case
The
was
shit
taped.
you took right before
Yeah.
is done.
Everything in this case was taped. And it's your own words, Mr. Simpson, your own words that can be heard throughout those events that have brought you to here, to this seat in my courtroom. Because we heard it all. And what came out on the tapes said to me and to the jury that the evidence in this case was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. How often, as a judge, do I sit here and I listen to a trial and hear everything laid out for me to be able to hear? It's very rare.
In your own words.
Yeah. The event in question, the room at the hotel, where I went to that room, and it was a little bitty room. There were a lot of big guys in that little bitty room. And when I heard the tape, that was not a, oh, just give me my stuff back. I want my stuff. That was, nobody leave this room. That was
we're jacking you.
This
Yes.
is a stick up.
Yes. That was actually a very violent event. And I don't care what Beardsley says now or what Fermong, which these are the other guys. I know what Beardsley says immediately afterwards when he called the police. We heard that too, that it was a violent event. Guns were brought. At least one gun was drawn. The potential for harm to occur in that room was tremendous. And I don't know how fortunate you consider yourself to be at this moment, but really, truly, if the gun had gone off and bullets started flying, not only could one of you in the room have been hurt, but some poor tourist walking down the hallway or a hotel worker could have been hurt. That is why we have rules in the state of Nevada and say you can't take back your own property by force, anybody else's property by force. You can't do it. There's no self-help. You cannot do it, but you did do it.
I mean, shit, other states you can? What the fuck? I thought that was like a national rule. That was like, well, good for her,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Okay, so then after the event, all of a sudden the realization hits you and there are phone calls made. In those phone calls, you say, there was no gun. There was no gun. There was no gun. Mr. Simpson made those phone calls saying there was no gun.
Dude, how'd they get these phone calls taped? Damn,
Well,
they got
why?
fucking
Yeah, I know. They had everything.
They had everything.
Everything.
Damn.
I know. It's technology
like
moved
wild.
forward. Yeah. Well, why in the heck would he be calling anybody to say that there was no gun?
These calls a random person. Hello, there's no gun.
Yeah. Except for the fact that he realized later there was a gun. And oops, I might be in trouble now.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
there's no gun.
And then again, at the party, the laughter, the joking. Did you see the look on his face? Ha ha ha. Isn't this funny? You knew what was going on there. You knew. I am actually surprised that I heard from you, Mr. Simpson. I believe that there wasn't going to be a statement from you. So he did do a statement and he said, I'm sorry. He was almost crying.
Oh, please.
He was
Come on now.
he
Alligator
was-
tears.
He was saying, I thought it was my stuff and I came and I went back there for my stuff. And I didn't mean no harm. And it didn't mean no harm to you.
He's sorry he got caught.
Yeah,
thought it was
yes.
And he was using his acting
Yes.
skills from back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, Norberg.
Yeah.
I have to tell you now, it was much more than stupidity. It's rare that I've seen somebody talking to me at a sentencing about a men's criminal intent. It doesn't matter. You went to the room, you took guns, meaning you and the group, you used force, you took property, whether it was yours or somebody else's. In this state, that amounts to robbery with the use of a deadly weapon, whether it's you having the gun or Clinton having the gun or Mr. Alexander having the gun.
But one thing that's not super clear to me, they keep referencing that property is his. It's not his. Like, didn't it get auctioned off?
He was saying
he,
that
he's
no,
like, he believes it's still his.
I
know.
believe that, your
that's-
house is my house,
That's
Sean.
his defense. Yeah, that's his
no, but I mean,
That's what I believe.
No, but it would be a picture of you.
No, but we were talking about like a football, weren't we?
Yeah, but it's a signed
I
autograph
know, but
of him.
it was sold for cash.
So it's not just saying. It's not
either
just
way,
saying.
yes.
I know, but it's not just saying it's his house. It's like
Okay,
a
fine,
picture of
fine.
you signed, and you're like, "That's mine."
Yeah,
And
but
it-
that was like
I would say, okay, yeah, it's
if it
his.
was my house before and then it went to foreclosure and he bought it.
It's a little different when it's literally a picture of you.
No, it's not.
Or a football with
not.
your
Okay,
signature
imagine-
on it.
no,
that literally
Eric,
could be like.
it's actually the house thing that Jorge's saying is actually more. I raised my kids in that house. I lived in the house for 20 years. It got foreclosed on. All my fucking memories are in
What
that
do you mean?
house. My blood, sweat, and tears are in that. Oh,
I'm
it
just
was a football.
I'm just saying, no, his hand. Yeah, I guess. All
Yeah,
right,
you know what?
yeah.
You know how many shits I took in that
I'll
house?
give it to you. I'll give it to you. There's got to be DNA somewhere. There's got to be.
I pissed all over these walls.
Yeah.
There's got to be DNA. Check the
So she says, it doesn't matter. You went to the room. You took the
doesn't matter.
guns.
That's the thing.
Meaning you and the group. You used force. You took property. She does say earlier, she's like, I don't know who owns the stuff. Right? Remember she was saying...
The buyer, the
guy
seller.
who's-
I know, but
Yeah,
nobody
like the
has proof.
seller.
It's kind of like black market. You don't know who owns it. Like, there's no proof.
I thought it went
Okay,
to
fine.
auction. I thought it was an auction.
I know, but,
Yeah, but we don't have
we
proof
don't know.
that
She didn't
seller
have proof.
that was there.
Oh, okay.
He just had it.
Sure.
You know what I
Semantics.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, semantics. Fucking details.
Yeah.
Like,
When I first started this trial and I talked to the jury when we had the whole panel in, I stated to the group that if they were here because they wanted to punish Mr. Simpson for what happened previously, then this was not the case for them. And I meant that. As the judge in this case, I'm not here to sentence Mr. Simpson for what happened in his life previously in the criminal justice system. As a judge who presides in this courtroom every day and over trials, hundreds of trials during the 6 years I have been here, I have great respect for the criminal system. I am part of it, and as a judge who has taken jury verdicts for years, I respect the verdicts of my juries. I have to respect what happened in the case 13 years ago. The jury decided. There are many people that disagreed with that verdict, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the state brought charges, a trial was conducted, and evidence was heard, testimony received, the jury deliberated, and they reached a verdict. And I have to respect the verdict as well. There's nothing more that's going to happen here other than the sentence for you, Mr. Stewart. And the sentence for you, Mr. Simpson, is based on the evidence that occurred in this case. I'm not here to try and cause any retribution or any payback for anything else. I want to be perfectly clear to everybody because if I did, then I wouldn't be doing my job as a judge who presides over a courtroom in this jurisdiction.
I'm sorry. I just
I don't
think
know if
that's
I believe her, but
I
go
know.
ahead.
I just think it's why is it even necessary to say that? He's literally.
That's what I'm saying.
You
I
have
don't know if I
all the
believe
evidence
her.
on the universe. It's so unnecessary. It's like, you're
the
literally
crazy part.
admitting to you
So-
on camera.
I know. So
Doing
let me read what she sent to you, and then we'll see if we believe that paragraph of what she said. Okay?
Okay.
So Simpson was found guilty on all 12 charges.
Damn.
He was handcuffed, reprimanded 33 years
In prison?
to prison.
I mean, he obviously didn't serve that.
no.
Oh, I'm
Okay, so I just want to play out a scenario. Jorge goes to Vegas. He goes to the Flamingo.
Why can't it be like the fucking
what
like,
is this?
No,
Is
because-
this
MGM
the-
Grand?
is this
Why
the
do I gotta go
50s?
to Flamingo?
No, because he went to.
I
he
can't
went,
afford the MGM. I gotta go to Flamingo.
Sorry, Caesar's is out of your price range, brother. You go to the Flamingo?
I'm not a peasant.
You ever been to Vegas?
No.
peasant.
It
of
has
course
nothing
not.
to do with Jorge. It has to do with the fact that he went to a place called Palace Station.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Never
you heard of it?
True.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I'm just trying to pick a
And out of the way
Random.
spot.
side.
He goes to the
maybe-
Golden Nugget.
Yes,
Tiny room.
Yes, $79.99. You know
With
what I
a
mean?
tiny room.
Tiny room.
Free
yeah.
buffet.
Yes. Okay. So Jorge goes, and he's trying to get some shit back that is his, that he thinks is his.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sombreros.
Okay, and he goes with Sean, and Sean's got to conceal, right?
Alright.
He goes in there.
Like, Sean, I'm gonna ask you to do something. You can't ask me any questions. We're gonna fuck some
Ride,
people
ride or
up.
die,
Ride or
baby.
die.
Ride or die.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you AC Callington.
I'm like, you're buying the tickets, though, right?
No, so he walks in, and he goes on the cameras, and he walks in, and he meets the guy. You guys walk into the room, and you, instead of going, I'm gonna buy this shit, you say, give it to me. I'm gonna take it. And he pulls out the gun,
You ain't getting out of here.
right? And then you start stuffing all the shit in the pillowcases. Then you walk out, you go to a party. Game's over, right? That's it.
Yeah.
You get arrested. What do you get?
As far as like the
Sentencing.
sentencing?
No, just
Do you get 33 years?
No, I definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely don't get 33
You don't
years.
get 33 years.
No,
Now-
You get 4.
no. Wait, this is
Well, here's the other thing. Like when you pull out a gun, it goes
I
up
know.
in a whole another level.
Totally.
No, but
I
here's
don't.
the-
I don't know what the law is there. Like when you pull out a gun.
Partial. But there was also, they considered it kidnapping
of course,
because he said you can't leave the room.
yeah. And it's
Robbery?
robbery, and it's the deadly
Assault.
weapon. Yeah.
Deadly weapon.
So that's why.
Then they keep going. you
That's
know what
why I
mean?
think
Yeah.
that-
I'm not
That's
getting
why I think
33,
it-
but maybe I'll get 5.
You're
8,
right. Jorge.
I'm just
No,
saying,
Jorge would have got
that's-
60 years. He got a life.
All I'm saying is justice is supposed to be blind.
True.
Right?
So
Her paragraph here is saying it had nothing to do with 13 years earlier.
Well, okay. Well, here.
So
do
he
this.
got the max of all the maxes.
No,
That's all
but
I'm
yeah,
saying.
I didn't get max, but they were putting people away for like having a quarter a weed for like 10. They put them away from 10 years.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
I'm like,
No, you're
is
right.
that really worth?
You're
like,
right.
like, I
You're
mean,
right.
come on, like
You're right.
that's a little
You're right.
crazy.
You're right. You're right.
So I'm saying,
I'm
like,
just
the
trying to-
system is broken,
And
that's what I'm saying.
maybe
The system's broken.
It's definitely broken, but like in her defense, I mean, he went there with full intent, with
Totally.
a gun, blah,
And it
blah,
could have
like, full
ended
out.
up with somebody getting shot.
yes.
I do think it is a little weird. What makes me think she did because she made that statement.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary. There's so
I
much
know.
evidence. Every evidence possible.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm not doing this because of what he
True.
did. And
True.
why even say that? Like, no one would think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's on camera.
Yeah.
He's on video. He's on
True.
audio.
No,
phone calls.
People would think that. I would think that if I was judging her and, hey, you gave this guy a full sentencing.
Full.
Yeah, and like you know,
So she said that because of the
she
amount
knew
of
what she
years.
was gonna
She
do.
knew she was going to give him the max.
you know, drop the
She
hammer
knew
on
what she was
him.
gonna do.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
that's why she did it.
But that being said, I
Max
still
Max.
think, like, yeah.
She pressed it all
Yeah.
the way to the ceiling. She pressed
Maybe-
it all the
maybe
way to
she
the
could have
ceiling.
left that out and just given the full sentence anyway.
No, I think
I'm not mad at her.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at her.
I do-
No, I'm
I
not
do-
mad at her.
I do think she pumped it up. I
Yeah.
do think she juiced it up.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
maybe that wasn't totally true. The paragraph
It's you wouldn't
about it.
It's like
You know,
no,
that's
no,
all.
it's
Yeah.
it's like
It's a hypothetical.
I
you
know.
know?
I know.
She's just saying hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
when the juice is on the run.
Yeah,
shit, I barely remember anything.
can't squeeze the juice when the juice is gone.
Can't squeeze the juice when the juice is good. So
Okay.
fucked up.
So he was convicted. He went to prison.
But he only served like what?
So he served 9 years.
Wow.
He served 9 years.
Longer than I thought.
On
Oh,
October
no, it's
1st,
actually longer than I thought. Yeah.
October 1st, 2017, he was released.
The juice is loose.
So then the juice moved to Florida.
Well, he was already living here, no?
You know, but he was also living in
After the
Vegas.
bankruptcy.
He was living in Vegas too,
Oh,
and I don't know. Yeah,
So-
but he
so, like,
officially,
officially,
moved
yeah.
there, and now he's in Orlando area.
Oh,
Yeah.
never gone there.
That'd be weird if you run into him.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Those of you guys don't know, we're like in the Tampa Bay area.
I might trip him.
Like it's around here. Hulk Hogan lives here,
Yeah.
and we run into him.
Oh,
right?
dude, I've ran into him multiple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Multiple
So
times.
imagine if you ran into OJ. though.
OJ, but Hulk is not OJ.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
I
I'm
still
just
like
saying.
Hulk is a dreamboat in comparison.
Seriously,
So,
right?
so you're like shopping in Publix and you run into OJ. What do you do?
I don't know.
Just like walk by and drop like
100%.
I
just
don't know.
like mumble like killer.
I feel like, dude,
Fuck you, OJ.
I do
Guilty.
feel like I would be like that guy, like
Yeah.
I'd be like, I hate you.
It'd be a little.
Eric's like, my son wants to say
passive-aggressive.
something to you. I
Yeah.
hate you, Mr.
Although, but it wouldn't do anything. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, right,
He gets
Eric.
it all the time.
You know what would
He gets
really
it all the
Imagine like
time.
how much he goes through.
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Still,
Eric would
probably.
just text us and be like, I just saw it. And he would take a picture.
No, I
like
would take a
candid
video.
picture.
I would
100%.
not post it on any social media. I would send it to you guys.
I know.
I'd go
that's
live
what I
on like
do.
Instagram, and be like, "Look at what I just ran into! Like, look at the guy I found in public."
Or his clickbait madness. Like, assaulted by OJ in public.
You'd
Okay,
be like
so-
egging him on just to like
I know, right?
get it. Hit me.
Okay, so remember at the beginning we went over a poll of how
Yeah,
many people
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as of 2017, 83% of Americans believe that he was guilty.
both black
Yeah.
and white.
Just 83%.
Yeah, but is it
All the
black or
things.
white? I mean, at the
It's just
beginning you
all
said
things.
black, and then you said a
Well,
white.
that's the only
You know, two
poll
different
I've-
votes.
That's the only poll I was able
Be
to
curious,
to
though,
get. It
right?
would be curious. It would be curious.
But the point is, everybody.
But the point is that it happened and it was low. Lower.
Yeah.
And then over time, now more people believe that he just did it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
make
that
sense?
I'm sure
Of
that
course.
if I
Yeah.
did it, but didn't like help the cause.
Yeah. I know.
You know, like
His whole life. Yeah, seriously.
no, seriously.
Yeah.
The hypotheticals did not assist.
so
so
we're
there
gonna
you go.
we're gonna
That's
we're gonna
it.
put up our own poll.
Yeah. Oh, for
on
sure.
Spotify, you guys
I
will
think
be
it's-
able to see.
no.
We should do it on this one. I mean, this
This
is,
one? Not-
we just talked about the poll.
Okay, that's true.
Right?
All right, we're gonna do
I
it
don't
in
know.
this one. I like it.
Yeah, we'll do it. Obviously, probably do it after episode 4, though. when we get in the
That's what he was just
get in the
saying.
conspiracy.
I'm saying do it with this one because we're talking about the poll right now.
He wasn't listening.
I was texting at the time. Sorry, I was getting a very important communication.
I love it.
Wait, why don't we? Oh wait, we do OJ?
All right, let's do it, but on
Crazy,
4.
man.
Yeah, when the juice getting tasty, the juice don't know what's happening.
You squeeze it too hard.
Squeeze juice. I got no juice left for you.
All right, there you go.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see.
Episode 3.
What about the next one?
So episode 4 is
Next Tuesday.
Episode 4 is all the conspiracies and the kind of finale. I do have like I put together what are bullet points of why he did it, and then a couple things of
Like 10
Why
why,
it
he
wasn't
did
proved.
it and like why maybe not.
well, no, like
10 to 1.
no, the things in the trial, like why
Yeah, what are they fucking?
what they
like,
couldn't prove.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Like, what are the holes?
What caused the reasonable doubt?
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
And then there's about 4 conspiracies that are worth talking about. There's one that's really stupid, but the 3 other ones are
gonna go
semi
over all
okay.
of them.
Yeah, I think
that's
it's probably good to do because I truly think the reasonable doubt thing is smart. Like you can't just you can't take emotion and stuff into these trials because you get like Salem witch trial shit. You're like, well, she didn't want to date me, witch, burn her, like, kill her. But like they just,
Very
I think
true.
they just fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
very
they
true.
did.
One of these days, I'd love to learn about the double jeopardy thing.
Well, they did it because I don't know why. I don't remember. Actually,
Yeah,
I
it was-
used to know, but I don't remember why
Every time
they
we talk
instituted
about
that
that, it
system.
reminds me of that movie.
Oh,
It's called Double Jeopardy. There's a
Ashley
movie
Judd,
called Double.
Ashley Judd,
Oh,
Tommy
yeah.
Lee Jones.
Yeah,
It's
it's
called Double
It's called Double Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
But then
He played, man,
doesn't she kill him though? Because
Yeah.
then she can't be charged for it. Cause
Yeah, so then she kills him
Yeah,
again.
she kills him for real.
Yes. She's so hot in that.
Could be true. Yeah.
Well, tune in next time,
Yes.
guys. Next episode.
Okay, guys, thanks a bunch.
All right, guys. Nighty night. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast. It is Sean, Eric, and Jorge again.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, y'all? We're gonna do episode number 4.
The grand finale.
Yeah, part 4, O.J. Simpson saga.
I just love that word, saga.
Yeah.
This sounds like epic.
Yeah.
The saga.
I recall. I'm not sure.
No, it's a hypothetically recall.
Hypothetically recall that I may or may not have done this.
And Charlie,
But if I did, let me tell you how I did it.
Yeah. So the last episodes, obviously, go back. Don't listen to part 4
no, that'd be foolish.
without anything else. We had part 1, part 2, part 3. We went over the story of OJ,
The trial,
the murders.
Yeah, the murder is what actually happened.
Yes.
the book,
Yeah, the flea,
book. Yes, and the civil case.
the robbery.
The robbery.
Yeah.
Yes.
he got
so there's a
33
lot.
years, but he served
9. Yes, and we
9.
left off at he was released in 2017,
Yep.
living his best life in
Orlando.
That's right.
Damn it.
So just as a recap, I just wanted to remind everybody. So in '95, he lost the civil court from the Goldmans and the Browns, and he was ordered to pay $33 million, right?
Many millions.
Yeah. So before he moved to Miami and to Orlando, he did pay $500,000 or so in just stuff from
Nice.
being sold. So
A meager $500K out of
Yes.
$33 million.
So now, when you lose a case and you don't pay, there is interest. There's an interest involved.
So like, what is today's
Yeah.
total amount? It's
Yeah.
like
He owes
78
135 mil.
right?
So it's a very small amount. But to this day, he now owes $60 million.
Which that shit'll never get paid.
No.
He'll never be able to accumulate that much money.
So these are some of the things that he makes now that are protected because of the state of Florida and because of his NFL ties. Okay, so he became eligible for the NFL pension, which pays him about $10,000 per month for the rest of his life.
So it's 120K a year.
There you go.
Ish.
Right?
That's 10 times 12, bro.
Well, he said about. I don't know.
Okay.
Additionally, he's part of the Screen Actors Guild.
Because
Oh,
of-
really?
I thought you had to still make movies to
Norbert.
be part of that.
I don't know the requirements to join it, but he also gets a pension from the Screen Actors
What's
Guild.
the pension for that?
$1,700 a month.
That's. I should join the
That's
Screen
pretty
Actors
good.
Guild. I should join
It's
the Screen
not
Actors
nothing.
Guild. I know.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
take
nothing.
$1,700
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's what he's making. That's protected on a monthly, including his home that he would live in Florida.
Yeah. So he's
Can't make you sell your home.
Yeah, that's right.
he's
So-
making about $130 a year for doing nothing.
Yeah, for doing nothing.
Yeah.
So then everything else that he does or wants to do in life, he has to do it secretly, and he has to do it to hide it from the Goldmans.
Yeah, well, I was wondering, like, when he, like, say he gets like a part-time job, like, do they just like stipend his paychecks? They just like, we're taking 50% of everything.
He's
Yeah.
not
How does that work?
part-time job.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's a hypothetically.
Hypothetically recalling.
Hypothetically call that. Look,
No, but
he's responsible.
But I do wonder,
I
like,
think-
how the hell does he make money? Like, does he take some? He doesn't
That's
take
his
endorsements.
money.
I've never seen. No, but like, what does he do? I've never seen him.
What does he
like,
do
make any
outside of
commercials.
just the free?
I don't know.
Well, no one's gonna buy. If you're in a fucking Hertz commercial, you're never
100%.
shopping there.
100%. That's what I'm saying. I've
Here-
never seen.
I would assume that he gets paid for appearances. At
like
things.
showing up at the golf course at
I would assume.
the Orlando golf.
We'll
course.
give you free lunch.
Yeah,
if
you know,
show-
like what's his name? Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, but he does like. It's a little different.
It is a little different.
Yeah,
but-
because he wasn't on a trial for murder. He was just like.
But he did.
And
He
does
did
he still owe?
He did owe millions of dollars.
But he's paid it back though.
Has he?
Jordan Belfort, I'm pretty sure he makes
Really?
because he makes millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
Like
Is paying
today,
it back, or he already paid it back?
Belfort's restitution agreement requires him to pay 50% of his income towards restitution to the 1,500 clients he defrauded until 2009,
Okay.
with a total of $110 million in restitution further mandated.
Further.
So he probably got paid for the movie.
So
he got
his
paid for
agreement
book.
was different because his agreement was just 50% of whatever he makes.
Yeah,
which
so-
is actually a better deal.
Yeah,
I mean, if you were to talk about, I know this sounds shallow, but
yeah.
as far as deals go,
Well, yeah,
because
it's-
you could still you'd be like, okay,
so
well,
just
I make
straight up
I make
math.
$2 million. I pay $1 million back.
yeah, okay, yeah.
It does
compared
say-
to everything.
It does say, according to some estimates, he may have paid back over $15 million since being released from prison.
I see.
So he's paid back substantially more than OJ.
yeah, okay. So OJ is
I'm just
currently
saying
at 500,000 paid back.
And it seems like he makes money. I don't know.
I don't know. It's all
at
it's
least-
that Twitter life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do it for the gram.
I know, right? You never know. You never know. He could be living. Maybe he's living poorly.
Maybe he's got an
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
I
I'm
don't.
just saying it seems.
I don't
but-
know the answer.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are going to touch into it, and I don't like it. But anyways, we're going to touch into it a little bit later about what he's doing today.
Right now.
Yesterday.
2023.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But before we did that, I want to go into obviously the conspiracies. I
Yeah,
wanna go into
that's the whole purpose of this
yeah,
podcast.
I wanted to go into what are the theories and what do you guys think? What are the possible things that may have happened? Okay, if you still believe he did it, totally fine. But maybe there were some different parts of the story that we don't know that maybe you have a theory on. You know what I mean? So the first thing I was like, well, first off, let's figure out where the prosecution went wrong. Right? Like what were the holes?
Everywhere.
Step one.
Yeah.
The whole case.
Yeah.
The whole case. Like, everything.
Okay, so and the first thing I think occurred is that at that time they didn't fully have the weight of the importance of DNA,
Yeah.
right?
I think it was probably in its like bare bones infancy.
Yeah,
at the
this
time,
is
like-
not forensic files time period. This is not.
Well,
this
even
is
in
not-
forensic files, what they do is they run DNA later. Shit that happened,
Yes.
and then we went back, but it's too late
There you
now
go.
because even if they did do it, it
There
doesn't
you go.
matter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So just a couple points on the DNA because remember they found blood at the scene
In
that was-
the Bronco too.
yeah. So at the scene it was Ron, Nicole,
And
and
unidentified-
OJ's
yeah.
blood
Yeah.
at the scene.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Then all three of them had blood in the Bronco, like you're saying,
Yeah.
and then along
the
the
house.
steps, in the house, in the closet, in the driveway,
It's everywhere.
all that stuff. Yeah, on the gloves,
All over the place.
all over the place. Okay, so Marsha Clark said that there was a 1 in 4 billion chance that the murderer could have been anybody else because of DNA.
That is. That's okay. So
Because you know how DNA is very specific.
Yes.
1 in 4 billion. I mean, at that time, it's either him or it's.
Or no one.
It's him or nobody. Literally, it's like the population population of the Earth at the time was like 5 billion.
But see, at that time, I think that at the time they were like, DNA is like that magic bullshit. Yeah,
that
like it's
magic
not real.
sorcery.
Yes. What kind of black magic is this?
But also, they don't think they realize like you have higher odds of winning the lottery while being struck by lightning
at the same time.
than this to not be OJ's blood. Like that's how the probabilities are that crazy.
So that's what I thought was one thing. They didn't really take the weight of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it should have.
Was it even presented?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
They
But at
just-
the time, like I say, is just imagine you're hearing DNA for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't understand. And they don't realize that it's so specific.
Yes. Yes.
Because literally, I'm saying like your odds of winning the Powerball are like I think it's like 1 in 380 million,
Yeah. It's insane.
and this is 1 out of 4 billion.
Yeah. And honestly, I bet the only place that anybody ever heard of DNA at that time was from Jurassic Park movie.
Oh yeah, it's in the
Remember?
amber. Yeah,
Remember
it's in the mosquito.
I'm the DNA guy.
the little DNA worm, man. He's like, "Look."
I took a frog DNA and put it together.
My favorite part is like,
Yeah. Yeah, and
the shaving
got
cream.
fucking-
I know.
System failed. System go.
Hold on to your
System
butts.
fails.
That's the best line in cinema history. Hold on to your butts.
So, anyways, I thought that was a big point.
No,
in
totally.
the whole,
Yeah.
and just the possibility. The next one is the glove.
That was soaked in blood.
It was just a bad decision to have OJ try the gloves on. Do you know what I mean? Because they already had his DNA in the gloves. So you don't need to prove anything further.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter.
a 1
It doesn't matter.
in 4 billion
Billion
chance.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So then they're like, okay, so then the gloves are tried on, and then visually you go, oh, it doesn't fit. And then you go, okay, well, DNA doesn't matter.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
the
literally
logic.
Back then, it makes sense.
So like we have your fingerprints on the gun, but the gun doesn't really
Yes.
fit in my hand really nice.
Yes.
No, fucking fingerprints are bullshit. It doesn't really fit.
So, and that's the whole glove don't fit. You must have quit. You know, the jingle.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like we were onto something there. Like the jingle took hold.
Oh, the
Remember
jingle-
we were
no.
talking about it?
Yeah,
on,
because
like 2
remember,
episodes
and we did
ago?
the O'Reilly.
Yeah, and it just became like this song that everybody just
Dude, jingles
grasped
are.
to.
That's why they keep doing them because they fucking work.
Sticks in your head.
If you
and,
rhyme
you
anything,
can't get it out.
you rhyme anything, people remember that shit.
O'Reilly.
Auto parts.
Auto parts.
Ow!
Okay, the next
Can't forget that.
the next big thing was they just never found the knife.
That's true. And that's it. There's actually a stat, but there is a real stat that the odds of getting a conviction for a murder without the murder weapon
very
it
low.
dramatically drops.
Really?
Like, I think it drops by like 60% without having the murder weapon.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So what do you think? Okay, the scenario of OJ did it, right?
Yeah.
What did he do with the knife? You know his timeline. You know where he was at all moments, all the way leading up to the next day, right? Remember, he was in his room. He took a shower. The limo driver. He flew to Chicago. So he must have dumped it.
Of course. He must have dumped it somewhere. but
Where?
Where? Like,
Chicago? He didn't take
No.
it on the plane?
yeah, exactly. You're not going to take it on the plane.
Maybe. It's 95. This is pre.
Exactly. That's
Maybe-
a very
maybe
good
you
point.
could.
That's a very good point.
Sean, do you think he got
Maybe
to...
it's like in his limo somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he could have. I think he just dipped it on the way to the airport. Maybe on the highway. Probably just flicked it off the high. Like no one would ever.
Who knows?
No one would ever
Maybe
think
he
about
put
it.
it in his bag.
Yeah, put it in his
Put it in his
bag.
bag, and then he got out of the limo.
Yeah, throw it in the trash can. Boom, done.
And then it's just at an airport.
Yeah.
LAX. Biggest airport on the planet.
Literally
One
at
of
the
the-
time.
one of the-
At the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
before Atlanta.
Yeah. So in addition to the weapon, he even said it. So somebody commits those murders of that
Magnitude.
of that magnitude, they would be covered in blood. So his clothes never found.
Well, see, that's the thing is,
So it's the knife and the clothes.
yeah, because there would be blood. Like if you cut someone's head, obviously the main there's 2 main arteries that go on either side of the throat, which obviously pump blood to the brain. They call it arterial spray because obviously arterial spray because it's obviously an artery. But dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you would bleed
Right.
out
Insane.
Less than a
instantly.
minute.
It would be 4 liters of blood everywhere, and 4 liters is a lot of blood.
Yeah.
It's a fucking shitload.
It's
of
not
You're
blood.
dead.
droplets.
No, it's spray. It's fucking.
And so that's the hole in the prosecution, because if there's leaders, where are the leaders on the clothes on the killer?
Well, I understand that is the hole.
Yeah. Obviously, he showered.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing there.
Water rinses away the
Showered.
blood.
Yes.
Yeah, but where's the clothes?
And then the clothes.
The clothes,
I mean,
obviously.
Clothes and the
thing,
knife.
same thing.
So he could have done
got-
it the same moment, same time. He's got a bag.
Yeah, boom.
He's got a dirty bag.
And just
he
like
just-
pop in the trash
dumps
cans and it's easy. Go to LAX, put in a trash can. No one's like checking the fucking trash there.
Yeah.
No, hell
Yeah,
no.
that's true. There's a funny theory. It's not really a conspiracy theory, but if you watch some of the videos when OJ returned to Brentwood, Kardashian
Right.
grabs a bag, and it's considered to be OJ's suitcase. And he's on video because all the paparazzi were watching him, and he was just walking around with his bag, and nobody ever figured out where the bag went.
Ooh.
So the theory
Interesting.
is that
he had
Kardashian had the
on it.
bag,
Yeah.
I don't.
and he got rid of it. But Kardashian, I feel like, is the good guy.
I don't. Yeah, I think
You
that
know?
I don't think that he would like make himself complicit in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, being his lawyer and he has the client privilege, and I'm sure that OJ would tell him things that obviously wouldn't. But when you do that, he's actually making himself complicit in the murder.
And part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
becomes
an accessory.
he becomes an accessory
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that murder.
Yeah.
I just don't think he would do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think so
agree.
either. So he
Okay,
got
so-
he got rid of it on the way to Chicago.
Chicago.
That's what I think. I think that's
Okay.
that's the most plausible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't get rid of it at your own house.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
yeah.
They're gonna
I wouldn't
find it.
even do it with the limo driver.
Oh no. I
Because
think
it's got to be a bag. It's not just the knife.
Oh no, it's clothes.
It's pants, shirt, blah, 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 blah.
clearly not shoes though.
Yeah, no.
You gotta keep those babies.
No, he dumped the shoes.
I thought you said it was on.
No, the picture was before where it showed him owning the shoes.
Okay, I thought it was after. I was like,
yeah.
gotta keep the
so
kicks,
it's the
baby.
shoes too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it had to be a bag.
It had a bag.
It was a bag.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's a big. The other part is OJ didn't really have any wounds. Now he had a cut on his
Except for
hand.
that, yeah.
He had a cut on his hand. But think about it. Okay, and then let's think about it. Goldman was a claimed third-degree
belt.
black belt or whatever.
I understand.
Put up 0 fight.
I mean,
we don't know that.
We
it
don't
was
know.
zero.
We don't know. But enough to no wounds
first of all,
on OJ.
Well,
First of all, Goldman was what, like maybe like $150.
Yeah, he was pretty small.
soaking wet.
Maybe 160.
So,
Maybe.
like, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have like great military training, but you put like not military, sorry, karate training.
Karate.
You're in karate.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
a big-
karate's not
yeah.
a super combat sport. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So like
that's a very
you
good
take
point.
you take a man enraged, and who's giant, fucking strong as an ox.
And if the idea is that he came mid the killing, then he's already adrenaline up.
And
you know
he's
what I mean?
and he's got a knife, and this guy's probably scared. He's not. You go in
Yeah.
his blood. Fuck. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not gonna be like
Yeah.
like a karate
And then
kids.
remember the chokehold?
Oh yeah.
Remember the chokehold and cut?
Yeah, he got stabbed like 30 fucking times.
Yeah. So then
Right,
maybe
so-
there was
so
just
if there
no
was a
time.
chokehold,
There was
how-
no time for
Yeah,
karate.
how's he gonna?
Yeah, how's he gonna karate
how's
his
he
way
gonna-
out of that?
How's he
Like-
gonna inflict any wounds on him?
Yeah.
Being
Okay.
being in front of him.
All right.
And also, OJ literally made a living off of being hit by extraordinarily large men at high speed.
Right.
Yeah, so if there was any kind of wound, it would have been like, okay, maybe he punched him in the ribs or something,
so-
right? But how is that
You're
going
not
to
gonna
show
see
up?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ron had bruises on his hands, but OJ had one bruise on his body and the cut on his finger.
Well, see, I don't expect Nicole to put up. I mean, there's no
Right.
resistance
No.
because he's just gonna overwhelm her.
Also, it's somebody you know.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to expect that.
Right.
Your husband. You're
Yeah.
not
Your
going to.
ex-husband,
They expect him to like,
Yeah.
oh, stab me 50 times and cut my head
so
off.
she was probably stabbed before she knew what was happening. To be honest.
yeah,
You know
but
what
it's but like let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Ron's not like fucking John Jones.
Yeah.
It's not like, he's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
time
Yeah.
to die,
Yeah. Yeah.
OJ. Like, I'm gonna
we
fucking
would
kill you now.
hope. You know what I
I
mean?
would
Yeah,
wish because
yeah. We would hope
OJ
he
would
could.
because OJ would be
know?
dead and
Yeah.
John he'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what happened.
Okay. All right. And the cut is debatable. We don't know.
But it's also it doesn't seem like it was on.
But it was pretty big.
But it's on the outside of his hand,
Yeah.
so it's a weird place to be cut if you're
I know.
holding a knife. You
True.
would think maybe if the knife slipped, it cuts the inside
So
of
it's
your
almost
hand.
like nobody got a hold of that knife other than OJ.
Yeah, but it
know
just
what I
seems
mean?
it does seem like an awkward place
No,
for a cut.
It's
On the
definitely
outs-
awkward,
on the
but it could
outside of
happen.
it.
If you're choking someone, right, and you're stabbing them, like
You might get cut
maybe you slip
somewhere.
a little bit, like
I guess you could slip. I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
It's
it's
definitely
not, It's not a
possible.
typical place.
Yeah, it's not
You would
typical.
think it would be on the inside
Right.
part.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then the other obviously major hole is the detectives that worked on the case were
It's idiots.
absolute racists too. Yeah. So I mean, that's just a major. There's not really a lot to talk about it because, we already went over it a lot. But that's a big thorn in the side of the prosecution is racist witness and racist people who were conducting the investigation.
And I think that was
they
a
should
big.
have known that.
Yeah, and that was. I don't want to say it's bad luck, but it was pretty much just bad luck.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the
That
worst.
definitely, like,
it's the worst possible.
derailed the whole.
Yeah.
Well, not the whole thing, but yeah, it was definitely part of what derailed.
Well, the fact that the lead detective on the case, who was at both scenes,
Right.
was the most racist dude, like
Yes.
on the fucking place, like the Grand Wizard of like the clan. It's
Yeah.
like, it's just terror. It just it instantly makes the entire investigation
not credible.
not
Yeah.
credible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instantly, like
It
that.
brought it down the path of conspiracy theory.
Exactly, 100%. It was a plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't know why it's not like OJ was some visceral figure in the black community. It's not like it's like MLK and they're framing him for murder. That would make sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does put a lot of. It doesn't look good at all.
Yeah.
I
Questions,
admit
I guess.
that it does not look
just
good.
doesn't look good. Okay, cool. So those are like what I considered to be the big how they lost. How the prosecution lost. But those were the major points of the case. I mean, there's more things, there's little things, but the overall, if they had
Those were,
those
like, the
things,
major things,
the
for
major
sure.
things, yeah.
I do think that's like they just fucked it.
It's like
It is frustrating.
It's
isn't
like
it?
I am like
Yeah.
with just watching Forensic Files and CSI, I could have open and shut case this shit. Like, dude, with no formal legal training. I could have slam dunked this motherfucker.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about some conspiracy theories now.
let's get into it.
Finally, it took us like
I
4
know.
hours to get
I
here.
know, it took
It took us so
4 hours,
long.
4 weeks just to get to this point.
So long. Okay, so the one that keeps coming up over and over and over, and it's got some interest. It piqued my interest a little bit, and that's OJ's son did it.
Oh yeah,
You heard of this?
I heard about that.
Ooh, I guess that might explain the DNA part.
If it
1 in
handles
4
the
billion.
DNA.
That's he's got 13 alleles in common with
No,
him.
that can't explain it because everybody has their own.
No, but meaning since it was 1 in 4 billion, like because he does,
It's gonna be close.
He does have half.
It's gonna
of
be
his,
close. Okay,
like
fine.
obviously this is
1 in 4 billion close.
Just hear me out because he does have half of his DNA alleles are the same as OJ's.
That's right.
So maybe at
And
this
and
time,
back then it wasn't.
It wasn't as
like-
science.
and it was as perfect as it is
Right.
now. Like
Yes.
now it's I can literally take and you also needed, for example, back then they didn't have PCR, which is
What's that?
PCR is called polymerase chain reaction, and pretty much what they do is when DNA first came out, you had to have a certain amount of sample in order
okay.
to do it. So now I can have one fucking cell, and so what you do is you put the sample in this little bead, the PCR bead, and it literally replicates the DNA to a usable amount. So you can literally take a fucking tiny little thing, and it will replicate it millions of times, and you can have a usable sample.
but back then you needed X amount.
And if you didn't have X amount, you ain't getting
You just
fucking
had a
DNA.
partial,
Yeah, it's like
you
sorry,
know,
we ain't
partial.
running
And it wasn't
Yeah,
as
picture.
accurate or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
But continue.
Okay.
But you have, you have OJ's son who's kind of similar in stature, similar.
And how old was his son at this time?
Good question.
I know if he was like 12, I'm like, nah, he did not do it. Like,
Yeah. Also worth noting, this is son from his first marriage, right?
Yeah.
oh yeah, with
and
Paula or whatever her name was.
That's right. No,
I
remember it was
forget.
Marguerite.
Oh yeah, Marjorie.
Marguerite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marguerite. Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. So Jason was born to the first marriage.
Right.
Yes, Jason was born from the first marriage. He was born in 1970,
Which would make him
which would make him 23,
23, 24, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so definitely
Totally capable of
Possible.
physically could do it. Now, here is the story, and this is from somebody named Bill Deere, and he was a private detective, and he wrote a book and it was called OJ is guilty, but not of murder.
Ooh.
And his theory is that Jason was obsessed with Nicole. Stepmom, kind of weird.
Like, weird, like
hot
porn
stepmom.
vibes.
Yeah, some weird whatever, right?
Oh,
and he
that
killed
kind of
her.
obsessed. I thought you were gonna say.
Oh,
like-
because she
he hated her.
No, she like refused him. He
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man,
that's
he-
right. I thought-
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he did the candles. He like lit the candles in there. He's like, she comes home. She's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I know you've been looking at me, girl.
Oh my god.
So
She's like, leave, sir.
Okay, so here's the theory. Remember they went to the recital? The daughter's recital the night before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So they went to the recital the night before, and then after the recital, they put together a dinner, of which OJ skipped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And OJ went to have a hamburger with Kato.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Kato who lived in the college.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
the
yeah,
actor.
yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah.
the grifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, good. So his theory is that they went to the recital and then they went to dinner together. And then she skipped the family dinner he had planned with OJ and went to her own dinner at the Goldman restaurant. Where the guy was the
right,
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah.
So he was super mad and in a rage. And then he went and saw her and she was going to sleep with somebody or had the candles out.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, and then
And then she's like, "You're fucking up." You know, he raged out. And he's like, "You're fucking up our family. You're a slut."
I love his
and
like,
then and then he killed her. OJ walked in, cleaned it up,
oh. Okay.
and that's essentially the theory. And that's why his OJ's at the scene. He's not at the scene. He's got a couple things on him.
And
There's
maybe the-
blood
And maybe,
everywhere.
Maybe that also explains why
Yes.
he tells in the book, like, look, I'm just saying if whoever did it
Charlie.
would have all this blood on him. And
But my only flaw.
It's all circumstantial. There's
only-
no evidence.
The only
You know
flaw
what I
in
mean?
that, would he be that angry to almost
I
behead
know,
her?
I know, right? But
Like,
he also
it's
says
just-
that he
it's
has
so much rage. Like,
he also says that he has a large history of violent mental illness.
I mean, that's so arbitrary.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you know what I mean? That's his.
I mean, in that
he
sense,
wrote a whole
so-
book about it.
in that
like, it's a
sense-
whole book. I
but
can't even write
yeah.
a book about my life.
No, but in that sense, so does OJ. He has a large history of violently beating his wife.
that's right.
Like
That's right.
repeatedly.
He is a charged
yeah, like
person. He's convicted
of beating his wife.
beating his wife. That's true.
But I
Very
didn't use
true.
my hands.
Anyways, that's
I'm responsible.
I'm responsible, but I
I'm
didn't touch her.
responsible, but I didn't touch her.
so that's a big theory.
I mean, it's actually a good theory.
Like it's not bad.
It's
I
not.
guess.
It's not
You
like
know what I
super
mean?
far fetched.
Yeah.
No.
I just think that like that my biggest point with that whole thing was just like, why would he be that angry?
Yeah. To do that.
I could see OJ being that angry because he thinks that she's fucking the waiter,
Right.
Yeah.
And then he
Right.
goes full psycho.
Plus
Yeah.
his history.
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus his history, but the son being that pissed over that,
Yeah.
that's what,
I don't
that's
buy
my
that.
only
I don't
flaw.
buy that.
Otherwise,
Okay.
it's actually really good. That's a really good theory.
Okay.
It's a good,
All
good
right.
theory.
There's also a rumor that goes around that she slept with Marcus Allen. Remember the running back?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a whole.
She's got a type, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And Marcus Allen was like the new OJ.
Yeah.
I thought-
Oh, yeah.
Marcus Allen was still playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's still getting the real chicks,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah,
pension
yeah,
chicks.
yeah,
Who do you pay for? The Raiders, I think, or no?
And the Chiefs.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Marcus,
Yeah.
Marcus Allen was good though.
Yeah,
I
I do remember that.
I only know present football. That's all I focus on. Fantasy.
I mean, I gotta check now, just real quick. You're right, dude.
Good job, Jorge. Wow. Way to pull that one out of the
He
memory
was
bank.
huge, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
back
he
in
was
the day,
big.
he was
Yeah.
definitely huge. Like superstar.
Big time. 11 with the Raiders, 6 with Kansas City.
Damn, good long career for a running back,
Yeah,
too.
we're
We were
right.
both right, yeah.
17 years, that's crazy.
We're gonna edit that in there.
Yeah.
16, bam, bam. Sean, I don't know, Britt. I don't know the history of the NFL. We're gonna keep that in there. I don't know.
And this is why, Eric,
put us.
Put us, yeah.
and this is why Eric is the editor.
Yeah.
We're like super rich. We're like, why don't you get an editor? I don't need one.
Eric's like, trust me on this. I've got this.
No amount of money.
Well, anyways.
All right, there you go.
Next.
Okay, so the next one is weird and wild. So in 2012, another conspiracy made the rounds, and it was from a documentary, and it was called My Brother the Serial Killer. And the brother of a serial killer named Glenn Rogers, he maintained that Glenn confessed to killing them while he was on death row in Florida.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Here we go. We're experts at this. Death row
confessional on a DB Cooper.
There's several episodes that we've
multiple
done.
murders, multiple confessions. All of
Everybody
them.
always wants to take credit for it.
Everyone
know.
see,
You
I'm
know? Especially
telling
when
you.
they're already rotting in jail, like waiting to be
Yes,
killed. I
It's
did it.
7 days away.
Yeah, they just want, they just want the glory. I don't buy
last-
that.
And this is
I
why
don't even want to hear the rest of it. Like, I don't buy it.
and this is why I think OJ did the book. Everyone, it's this weird desperation for relevance.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, of course I killed her. How'd you kill her? With a gun? I mean, a knife, a boot. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read.
God,
I'm gonna read what the story is. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not gonna listen.
Okay, so the Rogers family claims that Glenn called home a few weeks before the murder to say that he was out partying with Nicole.
In Brentwood, because he's just a rando, and she's like, "Party with me."
Yeah.
He has receipts that prove he was working in LA at the time.
I have receipts.
That's it, right?
Okay, cool. So we're like 8 million other people working.
So they also stated that after being found guilty of the murder of Tina Marie Cribbs, Rogers told them that he'd been hired by OJ to steal expensive earrings from Nicole Brown's condo, and if she got in the way, kill her.
I mean, I'm not
So
saying.
that's the theory. That's what he said on his death row.
And what's
confession.
this guy's name?
Clay Rogers.
Clay.
Clay Rogers is the brother, and the serial killer is named Glenn Rogers.
Oh, I
and
was
he
like-
was a serial
I
killer.
was like, what's his name? Charlie? Charlie Rogers? Might be onto something here.
Glenn Rogers was the serial killer. Now, here's the problem with it, right? Is he claimed to have murdered 70 people.
Okay, this guy's he's lost it. This guy's
But like claimed, or was he
No, but
charged for
he was
this?
only charged for much less.
Like
much
3.
less. Much less.
one.
So it's all circumstantial. And
It's
there's
one of those
no-
stupid
You
psychos
can't-
in prison,
yeah,
like
I can't-
just want to take
I
credit
can't-
for everything.
Yeah, I can't.
The only time you can never trust that when they're like, "Here's where the bodies are buried."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they find him. They're like, "Oh shit, he's telling
Yes.
the truth." But like 90% of the time, it's like fucking bullshit.
yeah.
He just wants to be like known and famous.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Although
I don't put a.
we find out later that OJ has a tendency to hire people to go take stuff out of rooms, and you know what I mean. Like he does hire people to go steal shit.
He hired muscle. He went there
Yeah.
himself to take that.
That's
shit.
true. That's true.
That's true. He was
Also,
there.
why would he be? Yeah, take the earrings and kill her.
Yeah, just in
She
case.
gets in the way, kill her.
Make sure she's dead.
Yeah.
At that point,
give me the earrings, though.
I don't know what his financial situation is. At that point,
Oh, at that point he was rich.
he was.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
killing
like,
it.
why did he need?
Look,
Why did he need the earrings?
I bought her a pair of Jordans. You got to get those back. I'm gonna need those.
Go pawn it. And give me the $300.
Give me 300 cash.
Jordan's,
Cash.
Jordan's gonna be really good. I guarantee it. All right, well that's that one. Okay, so here's the outrageous one. You ready for the outrageous one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
OJ did it because he was being mind controlled by the CIA.
Oh my god.
MK Ultra.
And why did the CIA want her killed?
Conspiracy theorists say that the football star had been subject of the CIA's MK Ultra experiment, right? Which is, if you don't know the MK Ultra experiment, it was a. We'll do an episode.
We should do an episode.
We're
Yeah,
gonna do
it's
it.
pretty
It's
much
a
LSD.
CIA, yeah,
fucking-
is a CIA controlled thing where they were trying to get people to do things and see how far they could go by giving people drugs to
So
do
it's
it.
not even about her. It's about, can we control this guy?
Oh, maybe it's. Oh, can we make someone kill their wife?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
maybe it's an experiment. Like, I wonder what we could get him to do.
So adherents to this theory say that at the time of the murders, OJ was one of those people being controlled by the CIA or the Illuminati, and in hopes to start the race war and the race riots.
But once again,
Very similar to the conspiracy of the Manson murders and the Manson.
yeah,
you know the cult,
I
the
do
cult,
know that
the-
pretty much Manson was one of the
Yes.
MK Ultra. But
Yes.
granted, Manson's actually fucking insane. Like it makes more sense for him because he's like lost. He's
already insane.
He fully lost it.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
You give him some
Whereas-
LSD and like set him loose.
Yeah.
But,
But
like-
zero evidence
But it's also like
of this.
Right.
most of the people that you
But
hear,
if you're good at your CIA job, there would be zero.
but even but even on the MK Ultra thing, it's like there was the people that were involved with it. There was always the residual effects of the LSD, and they were fucked up. They were all fucked up afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's known to be fucked up. They can't
Never
remember.
ending.
Yeah, there's for the rest of their lives. Whereas OJ's sipping fucking Mai Tais.
I know.
Eating fucking
Yeah.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
talking about the latest fucking Heat game.
I know,
And, you know what I mean? Honestly, he's doing like commentary on his Twitter.
So that's what I'm saying. He just doesn't show any residual effects.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
I see that.
that- otherwise, why him? Like,
it does seem
why-
seem far fetched.
It's just yeah, OJ.
Now,
perfect candidate.
Now, have you heard we're gonna do episodes on this, which is Robert Kennedy getting killed by Sirhan Sirhan.
Oh yeah,
And Sirhan claims that he blacked out and he
Yeah.
has no memory.
yeah.
And that's a political assassination. That's a little bit different.
That's a little more of the CIA's
You know what I mean?
alley.
That
that's,
seems
that's
more
a little more
like-
CIA on it.
yeah, because that's a hefty goal that was accomplished.
Yeah, not like kill your wife, OJ.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Nobody wins.
And no offense to Nicole, but Nicole wasn't anybody really politically.
She wasn't running for president.
Yeah, or anything other than really just Nicole living her good life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, there you go. All right, next one. Then another one is that OJ didn't do it, and it was a case of mistaken identity. So one of the lawyers, one of OJ's lawyers was named F. Lee Bailey. And he was part of the Dream Team, okay? And he said that he thought he wrote a 20,000 word essay on his website, and it said it was a less dramatic theory of who was responsible because the Dream Team scrapped a number of potential witnesses who could have testified in his defense. According to Bailey, the defense feared that calling more witnesses would lead to a mistrial.
Oh, so he could be tried again.
Yeah. So one such witness was a neighbor named Tom Lang, who would have testified that he saw Nicole Brown Simpson talking to two strange men outside her condo the night of the murders.
They're like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Who knows? In an interview with Associated Press, Bailey said that he suspects the two men were drug dealers who killed Nicole in a case of mistaken identity.
Oh, they thought like she was somebody else, and like where's our fucking cash?
Yeah, he swears that he will go to his grave defending Simpson for the charges against him. He said, "So long as I am alive, there will be one person, aside from Simpson himself, who knows from the evidence that he did not kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald
Or
Goldman."
she could have been trying to buy some drugs and then, or she could have been regularly buying drugs from these guys and then they were like, hey, fuck, you owe us some money. Like,
True. I just don't know why this guy's gonna go to his grave being OJ didn't do it because I saw her talking to two guys.
I know. That's
Like if he would have
well,
saw
he wasn't called.
No, but
he wasn't
no,
called
no,
to
but the
do
thing
it.
is, like, he-
and if you were him, you probably wouldn't want to, speak out about it. Like this guy is one of the most hated guys. You're gonna. I wouldn't want to be in the spotlight.
No,
if I was him.
I'm not saying why he didn't testify. I'm saying like they didn't actually call him to.
They didn't call him.
I'm
That's
saying
That's what I'm
like
saying, so they didn't call him to.
no, I'm
but-
saying like why is he like I'll go to my grave defending OJ?
No,
But it
he's
was
talking about the lawyer. The lawyer.
The
said
lawyer said that.
oh okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was the guy who just saw
No,
her
the
talking to two
witness.
dudes,
No,
and I'm
no,
like,
yeah,
why
yeah,
is this
yeah.
guy gonna go to his
No,
grave?
no,
I'm
no.
like. You just saw her talking to two random dudes, bro. You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like watch an attack happen.
No, the lawyer's saying like, look, that we had this witness,
I see.
and we didn't want to put him on there in case there was a mistrial or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Okay, I understand.
And the witness, like, I understand why he didn't come forward. I wouldn't.
Dude, fuck no. I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing.
Fuck it.
But I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
It could have been anybody. It could have been her.
It'd be different.
Boyfriends.
It'd be
It could've
different if
been
there was a
her-
witness to the
you know what I
attack.
mean?
So where did the theory about they were drug dealers come from?
That's just what he said because she was doing drugs.
Because they're black.
yeah.
This guy's
You know
racist.
what I mean?
Mistaken identity.
Actually, if I was an investigative reporter or whatever, I would want to know what the toxicology report on
That's
Nicole
great.
was.
That's right.
Yeah.
On Nicole.
Yeah.
You
just-
know what I mean?
And that would make
if
it
they
make
even
more
did
sense.
one.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they might. Not, they
they
probably
might.
didn't because they're
Yeah.
probably
Probably
like,
didn't.
well,
They probably didn't.
her head's cut off. So
Yeah.
That was like right in line with the DNA shit. Like, that's some new shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're not testing
She's
for
dead.
that.
What is this toxicology? This is bullshit.
So there's that one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
just one witness. The problem with that one is there's nothing else there except for one witness who never testified.
Who didn't really see anything special.
You just saw her talking to two guys.
And,
I don't know who the two guys are.
And how does that explain the footprint? How does that explain the
OJ's blood being there?
The glove?
None of it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
Okay, that one's fucked.
Yeah. I don't
Next.
like that one. Also, it could have been OJ and AC Cowling.
I know he's
Charlie.
He's looking at the back of their
Could've
heads.
been
And he's
OJ
like,
and
who the- he's
Charlie,
like,
yeah.
That doesn't look like OJ's back of his head.
Yeah, it could have been OJ and his son.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And maybe they hid an argument that they did have because
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
Maybe that's why they didn't call him to the stand.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't testify, please. Shut up.
So then the last real one that has any weight to it is the CTE.
Oh, that OJ had CT?
What is that?
CTE is the concussion situation with the NFL.
It's
And CTE is
It's encephalopathy.
there you go. So it's chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
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 And for those of us that may not know,
This
just
is-
hypothetically, like people don't know, like what does that mean?
So it's okay. So in the NFL, there was a lot of research done on players getting concussions and their brain swelling.
Yeah, it's like you have multiple traumatic brain injuries. And
Yes, and they would start to develop depression, rage.
Like Junior Seau. Like
Junior Seau killed
Yeah,
himself.
killed himself. Like
Yeah,
fucking
So it starts to
out of nowhere. Like literally out of
affect
blue.
your mental and
yeah,
whatever.
totally.
Yeah,
And so
It's a real thing. It's actually a real thing.
Yeah, and so the idea is that you play football for 20 years.
Yeah.
You have concussions, 5, 6,
And
7,
back in,
some
and,
sort of head
and
injury.
back when
Yes.
he played, there was no concussion protocol.
No, nothing.
It's
nothing.
like, oh, you get something woozy?
Yeah.
Like, you're playing. Like, you better get back the fuck in there.
Yeah, if anything, they had like paper helmets.
Right.
Like paper. But, I mean, I think that's probably the most plausible out of all of them.
Yeah, or at least
I'm-
it contributed to him raging.
Of course, I'm not saying it doesn't justify his actions, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that could have definitely been a contributing factor. He just saw it and he's like, fucking snaps. And he's like, fuck it, you're all dead. I'm killing you now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I think I believe that one.
yeah.
Which still leads to him doing it.
Here's
Oh, 100%. He's still,
Yeah.
he done did it.
here's the problem with CTE is the only way to actually fully diagnose this
Yeah.
is when you're dead.
Yeah, and
you
they
do an
autopsy your brain.
So there's no way for the defense to even
It's impossible
talk
until
about
he
that,
dies.
prove that anything.
And there's no watch my finger.
Yeah.
There's no
There's no test.
there's no test.
And they literally have to cut your brain open. And they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So he was fucked up. Okay, proven.
We'll find out in the future.
Yeah.
This one holds up.
Eventually.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are the theories. Those are the side theories. Those are, different ideas, different, you know what I mean? What could have happened? I don't know.
I mean, I do think the sun one was interesting.
Yeah.
I never really knew about that. I think that's definitely interesting. I don't believe it necessarily.
Yeah.
Right. I also didn't know about it, but I doing some research for this, then that's when I found out. I was like, okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
Possible, but
It's
it still
reasonable.
leaves it's
No, not at all. Not even close.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Like,
Yeah.
I would never have, you have that much rage for your stepmom. You're like, I think I'll behead her.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then I'll kill this
No, but
waiter.
what if she was cheating, or not cheating, but what if he was trying to get them back together?
That's still
and
not.
then-
But
and
dude,
then
what
she's sleeping
24-year-olds? I'm gonna get him back with my dad,
Yeah.
and then when she
Yeah,
does it, I'll kill her.
Also, it's the stepmom.
I know
It's not the
That's right.
actual
It's not
mom.
the actual mom.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
if
I'm saying.
anything, you would try to get
He
your
has,
mom.
he has no connection. It's
Yeah.
like it's so
Yeah,
loose.
that's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's so
Well, if you had nothing to do with it, Jason, and you're out there, sorry that you're even involved, but it's just a theory.
We're just doing our job, Jason.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a theory.
And
All right, well, that's,
and Jason also let his dad open shell companies in his name. So I'm like, you're not that innocent, buddy. Let's be honest. Like,
Walk away from the family. That's your,
Just-
my best advice is to walk away.
yeah, your dad sucks.
away from
Get out of there.
Yeah.
So there you go, O.J. Simpson saga.
I mean, where do we stand here?
So, and I'll just tell you real quick, present day, what is O.J. doing today?
Right now.
So O.J., what he's doing today is he lives in Orlando, or at least
And then
Around
somewhere
there,
in the
vicinity.
Orlando to Miami range. You know what I mean?
big range.
And
It's like a 2.5 hour range, bro.
he's got about 1 million followers on Twitter, and he's got a couple 100,000 on TikTok, and he's doing.
Is he pretty active on social media?
Yeah, on Twitter especially. So he's doing like updates on, especially during the NFL season. He like will go, oh, how are the Bills doing, and and talk about Brady retiring, and you know what I mean, and so that whole thing. So he's living his life. I don't, I feel bad for the Goldmans.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. So
They're still waiting on $32.5 million.
Yeah.
To come their way.
Yeah,
So.
exact 60.
Oh, my bad. 60
60 now. Yeah.
60.
Dude, that's not even inflation.
It's just like
The interest is
interest.
horrible. It must be like
It's like-
0.5% or something. Yeah, because inflation was bigger than that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
100%.
From
Yeah.
96.
Yeah, you got to think you're adding 3 to 5% a year
Probably like
for 20 years.
100% inflation.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah. So here we are. We're done. We spent 4 hours on this. O.J. Simpson.
what do you think?
We spent longer than the jury.
Like
Confirmed.
Oh my God, we did.
We actually-
we're about the same amount of time.
no, we spent way longer because we
Yeah. Oh, everything.
we've been
Everything else,
yeah,
too. Yeah.
we spent a lot longer than Jay.
You guys just get the edited version.
Yeah, that's true.
Trust me, we might release the unedited version for Patreon members.
Oh gosh.
But anyways, what do you think, Eric?
I think he did it. Yeah, I think he did it, and I think all the holes that exist are just parts that we don't know what happened. It's like so
That's
there are
it.
things that don't make sense, like where's the knife and where's the cut, and it's because we don't have all of the story.
Exactly. For all we know, he could have cut himself throwing the knife away.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Or he could have he could have surprised them, and they were stabbed before they even could fight back.
Oh yeah, he
you
does.
know what I mean?
He does the guy first.
Yeah,
boom, boom, and then she's freaking
and
the
so
fuck
nobody,
out.
there's no defense wounds because it was all surprises.
Yeah.
Crazy strong guy, and then he walked away and took a shower, and he could have literally burned the clothes.
Oh, easily.
There's an hour window of we don't know what he was doing.
More than that, no?
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half, yeah.
Maybe even more. And then he goes to
Because
Chicago.
that's what I'm saying. So then when he went to Chicago, there was a way bigger.
Oh
window.
yeah, that's a 9 hours.
Oh yeah, and then
that
before
part.
they even called him, yeah,
I'm just saying, if you didn't want to get on the plane with all that shit,
you had an hour and a half to get rid of it before you got on the plane.
on the way
in
to
the
airport.
shower,
or at the airport.
and all
Yeah,
that
they
stuff.
they weren't like they weren't hitting the shower with fucking luminol back then to like look for blood.
And it's
Yeah.
pretty obvious. I mean, remember when Cato said he heard an earthquake? It's because OJ was walking behind there and he hit the AC unit on accident. That the AC that juts out.
Yeah, and Cato's
an
stuck-
AC unit,
like
Yeah.
the window
you know how,
unit.
yeah, the window unit, and it just sticks out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just fucking banged into it.
And Cato's like
He's
stoned.
out
And he's
of
like,
it.
"Oh my god, fucking
Yeah.
earthquake, bro!"
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. You know what I mean? And then he's a liar. He became a really good liar for his whole life.
Oh, he's
The thing
a
is, like-
great liar.
And he learned how to keep the face of everything's fine, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love you, buddy.
See, the thing about
love
OJ,
you.
he's actually
Yeah.
he's
good.
He's good at that.
no,
which is crazy.
he's
like-
better than a liar because he's actually not lying. He's just not
Yeah.
saying anything.
Yeah.
He's just really good at not saying anything, and then people don't ask him additional follow-up questions.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
He just
So
gives
he's
some
like-
answer
He's
that says
so
nothing.
nice.
He's,
and
he's
I
like
don't know.
not lying, but not telling the truth. He's
just-
figured
he's-
out how to be in the middle.
I know he's just
which is
saying
crazy.
nothing. He's saying nothing at all.
And I mean, I don't want to. He was a great football player.
But yeah, a
Fine.
lot of them.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that means nothing to me.
And nobody
Yeah.
really says it much. But I think he's stupid. I think he's a stupid person.
I mean, clearly not.
Does that
He
make
got
sense?
away with murder.
No, I mean,
What does that mean?
That means I think he's a low IQ, stupid
Individual?
individual. Yeah,
Okay, well, what makes you say that?
just because of how he acts, and he's just.
because he has no.
He definitely
he-
acts
he
stupid, but
thinks-
hey,
no, but
is
he
he
thinks-
acting like that on
I know, but
purpose?
he thinks it's okay to then write a book called "If I Did It."
Well, see, that's
He's
why.
just so. What's the word? It's like inept.
Well, it's not inept. It's just having he has zero empathy. Like that's
That's
why. That's
right.
what leads
That's
me
what
to
I
believe
think,
to the
yeah.
CTE thing that he's actually just like a psychopath.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath
Yeah.
because he's like.
Okay,
It's funny.
I can go with that,
It's
yeah.
funny
That's
to him.
right.
Yeah.
It almost seems like he's always fucking smiling and laughing
Mm-hmm.
about it and about life
Yeah.
or whatever.
This-
Like everything.
There's videos of him like making jokes about stabbing people.
Yeah, it was. He got
You know?
he got interviewed, and then he wanted to play a joke on her, and she opens her door, and he's like, like putting stab, and he's like laughing. He's like, like it's funny. He's a sociopath. I think he's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't actually have remorse because he doesn't see what he did wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Like, she deserved it. Fuck it. Like, why should I feel bad?
And so he's just going to hold it to the grave?
He already admitted he did it. That's
But
why he
he-
wrote a
but-
book.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's a good point.
He wrote
That's
a
his
book.
confession?
If I did.
I know.
How was that not a confession, Aaron?
No, I know. I agree with you.
I mean,
agree
my
with you.
God.
He hypothetically recalled.
I hypothetically
hypothetically
recall
recalled doing
murdering her. Like, Jesus.
God.
I wonder if it's in some sick way, it's a way to feel better about
I think it
finally
is.
telling somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you get it off your chest.
Imagine holding that in for
Yes,
sure. Like it's definitely
yeah.
a way for him to
in a weird
in a weird,
In a weird, I
shitty
think that
way.
because I think he's just a gross dude. I think he's
Yeah.
an actual just gross human.
Yeah.
And I think he did that in a way because it was a game to him. And he's like, oh, great. Now I can do this. I can make some money, but it'd still be fun for me.
Yeah.
I like to write this book. It'd be fun for me.
Yeah, but did he make money from that? No, because they went to the
eventually
Well,
he didn't.
well,
He thought he was going to.
He
at
thought
the
he was
beginning.
going to, but then he
Yeah.
got fucked by the
Thought he was
Goldman.
going
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Shell company.
Good on the Goldmans for sticking.
I
to
know.
it for 30 years. They
Dude,
just,
yeah. Dude,
They
stay
don't.
strong,
they,
baby.
they're not forgetting this.
I'm
fuck
gonna be-
that.
yeah.
No, if you're a father, like,
Oh yeah.
no, you're never.
I
Gonna
would have
forget
like
that.
Google alerts on him.
Oh, dude,
Like,
100%.
just
Yes.
following him.
Oh,
and
I'd be a
shit.
follower. I'd be stalking
Yeah.
that shit. I'd be stalking that motherfucker. I'd be in Orlando. I'd
No,
move to Orlando.
you be in jail because
Oh, he'd be dead. I would have killed him. I would have fucking murdered him.
yeah.
And then kill myself because I can't survive in jail.
Yeah. So I don't know.
100%.
So-
I ain't beating nobody's bitch.
They ain't taking me to jail, motherfucker.
I think. I think he did it, and I think. So I think what happened is he was in a raging whatever with her, and he went over there, and she was gonna have a date. I think there was some sort of date scenario
Yeah.
going on, and maybe that person never showed up, or they left already.
And then homie showed up just to bring the glasses back.
Yeah,
He
and
had
she
wrong
just
place, wrong
raged,
time.
And
Yeah.
then he raged, and then he did it, and then killed them both, and then just walked away. And you know he's crazy. In my opinion, you know he's crazy. Exactly what you're saying. He walked away from the scene. Remember that? Remember?
Yeah.
They did an analysis of his footsteps.
And
and he walked.
His gait.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
His
yeah,
gait.
yeah.
Yeah, he walked.
Yes, he walked.
He didn't run.
He didn't run.
He like moseyed.
And he didn't skip. He didn't hurry.
He moseyed back.
He walked away. Yeah, he walked away. So yeah, I think. Anyways, and then I think the prosecution fucked up the case.
Just royally. They fucking ruined it, dude.
I think it's my theory is kind of close to yours, but
Yeah.
like not that she was going to be with somebody else, but that she was she was there. She was going to get together with the.
With OJ?
No.
with the waiter.
Ron?
With the waiter. Ron.
Oh, with
Ron.
Ron, yeah, okay.
exactly.
Yeah?
and then OJ knew about it, and that's when he
That
showed
would
up.
be a clean explanation.
Yeah.
right.
He knew it was happening, and so he was waiting.
Yeah.
And waiting for him to get there so he could catch
So
him.
when
in
he found out-
catch him in the act.
Yeah, he found out, he got enraged, so he goes over there and he's fuck this shit.
You gonna pick
he
this
has
little
a
guy
history
over
of-
me?
He has a history of being,
True.
this person that gets enraged and beating his wife.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Yeah.
he just, he just went over the top, and
Yeah.
then he's just fucking, and it just kept going over.
Here's what I think that I'm a little different from both of you.
But just to
back to right,
acknowledge
back to right.
his, I get it.
Yeah,
It
That would
does
make sense.
It makes
There's
sense.
nothing that says it didn't happen.
Well,
That there's
Yeah.
nothing that says that. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
just saying like it.
and
It
then
would make
just
sense.
to finish off, like the prosecution fucked it up.
Yeah.
They just totally,
Yeah.
screwed it up.
Yeah.
Every which way possible that they could.
Yeah.
And he got away with it.
Yeah.
And
And,
then-
money
and then-
shows that he spent $5 million on his defense.
Which back in the day is like $1 billion.
Yeah. So it just kind of shows.
So, like,
No, I'm just saying,
it's
like,
so much money.
I'm just
It's
saying,
so
like,
much
but
money.
if you're him, you're gonna.
No,
spend
I know,
whatever
but
it
I'm just
takes to
saying
get
that
off.
helped.
Yeah, that definitely helped.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You have competent lawyers on your
yeah,
side.
yeah. The
I
money
thought you were
involved.
trying to say something like that.
No.
Proves whatever.
No, no,
Anyways,
yeah.
No, yeah, 100%. Like
So-
he had the dream team.
Yeah, the
You
dream.
know?
It was a dream team.
Yeah, actual, yeah.
So now you're gonna. Let's look at it.
So the aliens came down now from the pyramids, and the
Yeah.
pyramids came down now.
So the employees. It's an inside joke between me and Eric. So, anyways, no, I think that I think that OJ was watching the house. I think OJ suspected that she was sleeping with somebody else. I think it was wrong place, wrong time for Ron. I think he came over to
Okay.
return. I think it was an innocent thing.
Yeah.
I think he knew her and they were friendly. but I don't think she was fucking him.
Just enough to do a favor.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he just came over. I think
they were
OJ
fucking.
I think OJ was watching the spot because I think he was just psycho jealous.
Yeah.
And then sees Ron get there and he's, I knew it. And it's like, it validates all of his psychosis.
Okay.
And then he goes and he's like, confronts them. And I think there's no defensive wounds because I think Ron was probably like, hey man, like, that's not what you look like. I'm not here.
I have nothing to do with this.
with this.
Dropping off
I'm just
some
dropping my thing.
glasses.
And he's okay, yeah, and then fucking dead. And then he goes and gets her because it said, there was something about the stairs, but she fell, and then
She had no dirt on her feet, so meaning she didn't really
never
walk
went outside.
out and
I think she maybe tried to get. Anyways, that's what I think happened with that. But my other little conspiracy
part
thing
on it?
that I didn't bring up until this point in time, I think that the prosecutors fucked it up on purpose
Wow. Why?
because of what would happen with the whole Rodney King thing, and then the fact that there was riots because they didn't prosecute. They didn't prosecute
Like the DA, basically?
Yeah, the DA didn't prosecute the cops that beat the shit out of Rodney King. So this was their way of like making amends, because it's virtually impossible to fuck that case up. Like how do it's too? How do you fuck
You're
up
just
everything
so surprised
about
that
this
they
kid?
messed it up.
No, it's not that they made one mistake. They made
Are you talking about the Rodney King case or the?
no. I'm
the
talking about OJ.
OJ case. Okay, yeah.
You can't because you realize that the DA won't even prosecute. Most of the times, they won't prosecute crimes that they don't think they can win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to fuck up their record.
Yeah.
So, and they had an alley-oop
Like a
slam
fucking
dunk, like
slam
highlight
dunk.
reel,
They had a wonderful
like
case.
easy peasy.
Yeah,
And they
silver
fucked
platter.
and they fuck up all these things. So I think it was, hey, like we got to do something to chill the city down.
Yeah.
Give them a win. We're gonna have to fuck this up,
Really?
and we're gonna have to blow.
But
it.
weren't they already chill by then?
Fuck no.
You said it
2
was
years,
like
3 years.
3 years
went by.
later.
Yeah.
Like think about the. I'm just saying. Think about the George Floyd riots. What
Yeah.
What those last? Maybe let's say give it a year.
Months, 6
Just
months
let's just say a
even.
year.
No, but
max.
look how that changed. Look how that changed the United States, though.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just
see,
saying.
and still like that. So they want to be. Oh,
Okay.
look, we give a shit. Oh, we're not
So,
racist.
But wait, so I can formulate it. So what you're saying is the DA
Blew the case on purpose.
blew the case
On
because they felt they messed up on the King case.
Yep.
So then it made
because
it made the right.
look,
Is that what you're saying?
it's-
and they didn't want to like
and they didn't want to
restart
because
this.
they convict it, with what was happening. It was a fucking powder keg. If they convict OJ, then they were probably like looking like it's gonna be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah. I think you give the DA too much credit.
But I like your theory.
I mean-
I like your theory.
I think they just messed up. You know what I mean?
but
Like
how do
they-
you mess up everything?
I know. I don't know how they. I don't know. Yeah. I
How
know.
do you mess up?
I know
everything?
they did. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
I do like your theory.
If they made one mistake, I get it. 2 mistakes, fine.
But all
like,
the mistakes.
the whole case is a mistake.
There's not really anything that was
It's
done
like
right.
literally, it's like we have a picture of OJ holding the knife. Like, oh, we lost the picture. Fuck.
You know what's crazy too? It wasn't like they put rookies up.
No,
These are veteran
that's my point.
prosecutors.
It's like
strange.
that's
strange.
You understand? They don't try cases that they don't think they can win, and you can't fuck something up that bad. That's what I'm saying. There's the concept of there aren't really no coincidences.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It can't be coincidence. It's not Murphy's Law. Everything that goes wrong will go wrong. Because, like, if that was the case, the fucking Earth would explode.
Yeah.
Because that's what could go wrong. An asteroid could hit us. We'd die.
Yeah.
So I that's what I think happened. That's my take.
All right.
It's my hot take.
Okay, but we all are on the same. We're all on the same OJ.
Oh, 100% killed her.
Yes.
100%, without a shadow of a doubt.
Maybe with some other circumstances thrown
There's
in.
another thing. Is like,
Right.
I do think someone helped OJ on the cleanup.
So there you go.
I do think
so
someone helped
maybe
OJ on the
AC,
cleanup. I
maybe
think AC.
Kato,
Yeah.
Maybe the
Not
son.
Kato. I think Kato was
maybe
too.
Charlie.
Yeah. Who was Charlie?
I think
A drug dealer?
I think
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Somebody
yeah.
definitely helped him in the cleanup,
Yeah.
like with his own shit. But other than that,
Or at
he-
least
he
they
100% killed her.
knew something.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they weren't there, but yeah, you're right. Maybe the cleanup. 'Cause
Yeah. Like, hey,
so much blood.
Take my shirt, take my pants, take this bag. Maybe they didn't even tell him what it was.
Yes.
Take the bag and just go like.
Let me just get on the plane.
Go dump it in Sacramento.
Burn it.
Like
Burn it. Let's go burn it. Yeah, burn it. Burn it, McDonald's.
Don't ask any more questions.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Here's 8K.
Yeah.
and a mustache.
Sounds like an AC Collins kind of job.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
like,
I
here's
mean?
$200.
Yes. Don't ask questions, just take it.
You got it.
You got it,
I'll be
brother.
right back with the Broncos. Pick you up.
No offense, AC. But AC, here's my question for you.
Full offense.
Is why the only reason I can think that you took OJ on the chase is if he had a gun to your head. Otherwise, why would you do it?
I don't think he had a
Do you know
gun.
what I mean? I know.
No, he wanted to help him because they were friends,
Yeah.
and he, and
Help him what? Run?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it
100%.
was. Because of the disguises and all that stuff. Yeah, and the money.
He's ride or die.
he was
How
he was
about
he
that?
was
He
How
was
many
ride or
times have we
die,
said that?
probably like 4 or 5, and then you did
No,
the
but
little
it's like it's your homie for
Yeah.
ever,
whole
right?
life,
Like since like high
Forever.
school. We
high-
said?
until-
Yeah, high school. Yeah, they were high school stars.
So he's your friend from high school,
Yeah.
and
And he made it big. He probably took you with took you to the club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like one of the crew.
exactly.
Started from the bottom.
He ain't no snitch.
He ain't no snitch. I ain't no snitch. Fuck the cop. Fuck the police.
Yeah,
I wonder if they remain friends. Probably.
probably.
I don't know. If I was AC, I'd be like, we ain't friends no more, motherfucker.
Yeah. Now this was your last favorite. Card?
Yeah, like we're done.
Yeah, this is your
Don't
last
call my mom anymore.
Yeah. Burning the bag was the last one.
That's it. The last straw.
No more. Yeah. Yeah. Melting down the knife.
The bag that burnt the camel's back.
Well, there's one other thing that just kind of bugs me. So here we are now. We're in 2023, and he's still out there.
Yep.
He's still living his life. And so I understand and I get it. He was acquitted by
Legal
the U.S.
system.
court,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But here's what I do feel like I'm obligated to say on behalf of the Goldmans and Nicole and all that is we don't need to follow him.
Yeah, we don't need to support him.
He's free. Well, I'm not gonna go. We're not gonna go arrest him. Like,
Right,
he's
it is
free.
what it is.
He won the case. But should he have 1 million followers on Twitter?
Fuck no.
No,
That's insanity.
no, he shouldn't. Right?
That
$250,000 on TikTok.
All his
No.
followers doesn't mean that they're supporters.
I know,
they
but
could
all
just
of
be
them-
like fucking like trying to watch the train wreck.
All
Like-
of them are
they're
wa-
just like
No,
curious.
I know.
I mean,
You're right.
kind of like Eric said on the flat Earth thing. He's like, well,
Yeah, exactly.
20%.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know.
20%
No,
of
you're
followers
right.
actually
You're right, but the people on Flat Earth didn't butcher somebody.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a really
They
good point.
didn't cut somebody's head off.
Yeah, but I'm
and
just saying, like,
stab
in
a
the same way
24-year-old.
That's a
some
really good
people, follow Biden or Trump or whatever. Like some of these people that you're just like, I just
not
want to
the
see what this
same.
idiot says or whatever.
Biden and Trump didn't cut somebody's head off.
It's true. It is a little different. It's a little different. Your point isn't wrong, but it's a little different.
I
with the
actually
guy-
looked it up.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan follows OJ Simpson on Twitter.
So does Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast follows OJ
The
Simpson. on
world's
Twitter. I
biggest
love both of
YouTuber
them. I
on
love both
planet
of them.
Earth.
I think they're great, well-intentioned people and super famous in their own right and doing great. But they don't need to follow him.
I think it's so unnecessary. Yeah.
They don't need to, right? It's like
I mean,
watching a
But
car
what you're
accident.
really trying to say is you don't need to support him.
You don't need to support
Yes.
him. Yeah. And obviously somebody's going to say, oh, well, coming from the guy who's doing a podcast on him. Yeah, but we're talking about him cutting people's heads off.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I,
we're not here trying to support him.
Yes, exactly. So that's all I'm saying. I will freaking tag Joe Rogan and Mr. Beast and tell them not, but that's the point is, let's.
I agree
And I'm going to tag OJ.
because it is
I'm just
like
kidding.
despite maybe that you follow somebody you don't want to support them, but the way that social media works
Yeah.
is if someone that big is following it, it is flowing views
Yeah.
to you.
That's right.
If you're, especially
That's right.
if you're somebody
if,
like
if Joe
big like
Rogan
that.
followed our podcast, we would be fucking huge.
Yeah, that's right.
instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also, these are just our opinions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're just
So there you
we're
go.
three guys, three high school diplomas.
But we're
Just
just
saying.
This is interesting because this is our first one where everybody's still alive.
yeah,
Most of the stuff we do are historical.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And so this is just
Or theoretical.
yeah. So, all right, there you go. I hope you learned something.
Yeah.
I hope you got an opinion of your own.
Yeah, and you know what's cool is like a lot of you guys email us in and give us your opinion. So
Yeah.
we love that.
Absolutely.
And if you have
Do
a different
that. Do
theory,
it.
we'll make a little addendum to the next episode that we do. Obviously, it won't be OJ, but we'll give you a little shout out of your theory if it's legit. If it's like
Yeah.
a stupid one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
But if it's a legit one,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll fucking say it
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
I promise.
Yeah.
I'll put it on blast, and then we'll go into the next episode.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And I have one more thing to say, which is to OJ. And if he didn't do it, then wouldn't you put every resource you have into finding a legitimate person who did do it?
If you loved your wife so much, you loved her so much, wouldn't you want to find the killer?
Ex-wife.
Well, he said he couldn't have killed her because he loved her so much.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's nothing. There's no action. There's no theory.
Like,
there's nothing.
that shows that he's trying to.
He's not trying at all. Zero effort.
In 30 years.
The opposite, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, the opposite. So that's all I'm saying. I will give you, the door is open for you to go, okay, I'm going to prove my innocence.
I'm going to
find out who did it. And so go out there and fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
I like that. All right, guys.
Catch you on the
Nighty-night.
next episode.
Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.